Ito yung ano, hindi rinig. Sila Mustasyo. Wait.
They ascend.
Yeah.
Today, our Battle Royale
Yeah.
squad grand finals. This
Yeah,
action is going to
rinig
be
na.
brought to you by your very own Neptune, the gentleman Garcia, and of course myself.
Ready na magbalabak. Wala sila.
People call me the Mustachio. Some
Di
people
nakapasok
call
sila,
me the
Lich?
Suave, but whatever
Kami,
you want to
Chewy?
call me, I'm just
How much
bloody
price na
glad to
ito?
be back,
$10K
man.
ata, guys.
I mean, I'm really happy to be back right now on
Hindi to lang, guys.
UAJ. I'm really excited as well to see which of the team out of Malaysia, Singapore, and Philippines in this community's Gladiators who will be taking that championship. Again, our team is to ascend, and we've seen a lot of teams who ascended from the qualifiers into this stage of the grand finals.
Absolutely, and it has not been an
Dale.
easy road at all, especially for MY as well as
Mustache,
SG,
nakakamiss,
because
no?
the Philippines, man,
Mustache.
they are hot, right? We have always known the Philippines. You guys absolutely admire,
mahaba yung ano
absolutely
niya, no?
love
Talagang
Garena Call of
tinitrim
Duty
niya.
Mobile, and they have beaten the living life out of every other single region, every single other team. But just take a quick
Rex
peek
Wu,
here at the
iba
tournament
yun, iba
schedule.
yun.
We had the qualifier stage run through the 25th of June all the way down to the 28th, and then the group stage as soon as we kicked off July
Malinaw
down
naman,
to the
guys.
4th of July. And
Malinaw
now
naman.
this is the playoffs. Today is July the 10th. It is the
Haba ng
playoffs
dila,
for
no? Parang tik-tik.
our Battle Royale squads.
Gagatas ulit tayo, pre. Sana mag-champion Pilipino.
Did manage to get here out of 121 squads. We went into the qualifiers.
Sidugo yan.
Took down
Ilang
a lot
prize
of them.
pool?
We had
Oh, yeah.
20
Ilan ba
squads
total neto?
for each group.
4K? $4,000?
We are now
May global
seeing
dyan.
16
Asian lang.
teams in
May
this
Malaysian.
company are going to play
May ano,
6
10K
rounds of
dollars.
Battle Royale.
Yeah, absolutely. It has not been an easy journey for them at all. We
Parang
had
Ferg
a
din,
lot
parang
of
Ferg.
them sign up for the competition, right? And
Si
if you guys have been
Shoutcaster, si
following
Neptune,
Community
tsaka si ano.
Gladiators for
Ewan
a
ko lang
while
kung in-game, baka
already,
sira
in
ka
the
eh.
past we just used to have CP. Now
Ivy
we've
na
got
to,
good
Ivy na to, guys.
cold
Ay,
hard
pala
cash
eh.
on the table, split between
Ay,
the
yun
multiplayer
pala
1v1 as well as squads. We also have got money for BR solo as well as BR squads. So for today, we'll just be
Tama nga
focusing
si,
on
ano,
BR squads.
Mami
The
Chewy,
first place
4K
takes away
dollars.
2,000 US dollars. This is not 2,000 pesos, eh? This is 2,000 USD. Second place, 1,200. Third place gets 800 USD. And of course, this is only available for the podium finishes. So out of the 16 squads, Neptune, 3 teams are going to end the day very, very happy.
Well, exactly.
Sinong papababan?
More of, a motivation as well as something that would help the squad to increase
Oh, yeah.
the
Wala,
odds
pinagsama
of them
lahat.
participating in
Total of
World
price
Championship.
lang pala siya.
Not
Pero
just
okay na rin kaysa wala. Dati talaga, guys, wala.
Yes, they would have more motivation. They would have more
Parang-
energy. And of course, as you mentioned, more
7 years walang patur na si
teams
Kodem.
as well as the
At least meron ngayon.
They have
Yeah.
management.
Look, this is something that I don't know. I haven't been given the authority
Balik
to
na
say
kompi.
this,
Soon,
but
guys,
I know
babalik
this
tayo,
for a
kompi.
fact that the players or all of the community out
Sorry.
there
Hindi,
who
iba
want
rin
to
kasi
make
pera dun, pre.
jumping into Garena Call of Duty Mobile esports a
Iba
little
rin
bit
kasi
more of a serious
pera sa
play,
ano.
you actually have great
Kaya Second
viability of
Junior,
doing so, right? We just ended the
mas
Garena
palo kasi talaga sa
Philippines. We
Ferg,
had
pre, kasi
tons
ano
of
eh.
cash to walk away with there. I mean,
Ayun ang
you know,
dollars
you
eh.
guys saw that LAN event for yourself. Now we have got this
Pero
community
ako, man.
gladiators as well with cold hard
What
cash
time
on
start?
the table.
Start na
And
to
it's
ngayon.
not going to be the final tournament
delay lang
that we've got
siguro.
lined up for you guys for this year. Things are only going to get bigger. Things are going to get a tad bit better. So you guys better be well prepared, right? And for the teams who are walking away with this good cold hard cash that's laid out here on the table, Neptune, I agree with you. They're going to just be
Malaga
able
naman,
to
nagpapaturo
equip
na pa rin
themselves
si
a tad
Garena,
bit
guys,
better
eh, no?
to take their gameplay up a few notches. I think we've seen a few
Bias
of the
ko.
squads do that already. But one
Ano
thing
tayo
that,
ngayon,
you know,
guys?
kind of
Poison
breaks my heart a
Ivy
little bit.
kasi
With TSG, we
yun yung
saw the
nag-endorse
team
sa atin
kind of
para
split
mapag-watch
up very
party.
recently.
Bawal
Their
mag-watch
players have
party
kind
ng
of
ano eh.
moved on to
Hindi ka
different teams.
na-endorse.
They have not quit playing Call of Duty Mobile. They're now just
That's
playing
cool.
under different rosters. And I say this breaks
Sa
my heart
naka-live, meron
because
sa
we did
TikTok,
see
meron sa
their
Blue Up.
performance in Garena September Cup last year. Rigid TSG were your champions. They beat down Blackfire,
Ay,
Leap,
wala
and a
nang
bunch of other
Rigid
squads as well.
TSG,
And then
Mustasyo.
Garena Elite Philippines, you also did see them
Let's
become
go,
the
boss,
runner-up, right?
Saikyo.
I guess they just could not complete the run. But as far as community
Let's
gladiators
go.
go, as far as the
Katabi mo
Garena
ba?
September
Huwag
Cup
mo
goes,
susumbong.
Rigid TSG was the dominator. But in the recent competition at Garena Elite Philippines, it was Leap May main that jumped up to be your main squad. Is it going to be the same team out there today? Is it
Start
going to be the same
na
good old
ata
dominance?
ngayon eh.
Or do we see somebody new rise up the ranks?
Ano sa ba?
I'm looking for the
Baka
ladder.
6'10".
I'm looking for ladder
May
right
4K
now.
meron,
Someone
bro.
new will be jumping in and moving up
Yes.
the ranks. And this gives more opportunity. Again, we
Barurot
are
barurot
playing
kay Sek
with
to,
the
guys.
COD community. COD
Ito na yung
community right now.
greatest
It's,
comeback ba ng
I
ano?
would say this is somewhat of a
GZ,
grassroots
IBGZ.
wherein
Top
everyone is
3 ko
welcome.
pre.
Everyone who
Yes.
have that dream of being a champion
Yes.
is
4K
welcome.
IB
And with
Lip
this,
Unbound.
this will
Yan ang
help, like, elevate not only your team, but
Nabibisyong
the
ko
brand
eh.
that you're trying to bring. And
Pwede sana yung ADMT ano eh, sila Lich eh, kaso di ata sila nakapasok eh.
it's because of how they are carrying
Sakto
that
sana yun, no? Champion sila, tapos nag second place.
So, more chances
Yep.
for
Kumbaga,
you,
nandun na yung ano
for
nila eh,
all
momentum
the
nila eh.
players out there
Nag-start na ba?
to be able to be part
Siguro.
of more
Pasok pa
tournaments
sila, Lich?
like Community
Ay,
and
nakapasok pala.
Yeah, you have to
Hindi
take
ko nakita yung
advantage of the
picture.
competition as it is right now. Because you see, for the MP side, we already have our
Yan,
pro
may-
team,
yan.
right? For the longest of time, for many
Top
years.
4
on the
meron ako,
Garena
top 4.
Masters. Now, all those players that qualify to the playoffs of Garena Masters are banned.
Wala
from
ng
going to
RGD,
the
IB na,
Gladiators.
guys.
The same has not been
Kapatid
done
mo si
for
Zenpo,
Battle
hindi.
Royale just yet. So, if you see a few more additions coming
Sira,
up, I
wala
would
talaga
really
yan si
suggest you
Sekban.
guys to jump on in there, try your luck.
Yun pala eh.
Because very
Medyo malaki
soon,
chance ng
we
ADMT guys,
are
kasi
not gonna
momentum din
allow
sila
the
eh.
big boys to join here already, and that's just purely an
Shoutout
assumption.
sa'yo,
Looking
Nick.
at how
Napabasa ko yung mga
we
gaya.
are
Ba't padila?
growing
Ayoko
the
pala pasahin yan, pre.
scene in MYSC as well as the Philippines.
Away no?
Mainly the
Kaso buti
Philippines.
kalbo
You
eh.
guys seem to be whooping everybody out of the competition.
Sabi
Well,
ko
yeah, it's
si
sort of,
Salsa.
how they also do this
Salsa
script.
Lar.
And even before tournaments just
Yeah.
like this, like we do,
Jersey
like,
na.
they
Suot ka na ba,
utilize
Martas?
teams out there
Nasa
that
maramihan
do
ata
not
eh.
fit. And
Ano,
there's
di ko
also
wala sa maramihan.
participation. It's just the adaptation of the team. And we know
Magkamukha
for a
talaga
fact
kayo ni
that every region
Expose.
have
Sino si
a
Expose?
different flavor, a different strategy all throughout.
Nag-umpisa na siguro, delay lang.
Has always been part of that is because that strategy
Delay lang
is
man.
one thing that works. So I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen in this community gladiator.
Ito yung rounds,
And
ito yung
we
rounds.
have
Sakto yung
6
tanong mo, bro.
matches,
Sakto yung tanong
2
mo.
maps, and
6
well,
rounds, man.
more
Matagal-tagal na
winners to
bakbakan to, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Isolated, blackout.
Kaya
you guys know
repost yun na,
exactly what
repost
it
yun na
is.
yung live,
We'll run
pre.
through all 6 games before we crown the top 3 teams. Game after
Sino,
game, I do
sino,
expect
Pablo?
to see a big
Ba't
shift.
ka
I'm
mukha mo
not
si Joshua
expecting to see
Garcia?
a straight out
Med-
dominance
medyo
from
ano kasi,
any squads out there,
medyo
only
hawig eh.
because
Doon
I
ako
want to see a
napaglihi.
lot of fun
Bata
all
pa lang kasi
throughout
ako.
the day, right? I mean, I don't want to see anybody
Gawa
score
pa rin,
just yet.
bobola pa
But
rin si
do
Nix
they
ah.
stand a chance
Eh, start
of
na, guys.
walking away with some good
Bawal medic
good
dito guys
money
ah. Bawal
on the table?
medic,
We'll have to wait
bawal
and see,
hacker.
man, because as we bring the flight right through, it's going to be the frigid wetlands that ends up on our screens first stop.
Parang
Sanitary
lag
black
naman
market,
nung
pretty
ano.
much everywhere on the map is wide open, but it's all about the
Papalakin
high tier
natin,
loot
guys.
zones as well that we need some of these teams to
Dapat
aim for
walang
as well.
space.
Alasida, I mean, high tier
Para
loot
masulit.
zone right now, and from what we're seeing, going
Mawalan
to,
nga ngayon, guys,
potentially
kill
have
season.
hot drop.
Sana walang
And
ano,
this
walang
is TMW right
mawalan
now.
ng wifi
No
dahil
hot
sa
drop.
ulan.
It's more of their teammates right now within the area, and we didn't see much of those within that vicinity. I was expecting that there would be someone
Ano
in
ba
there,
naman
and
tong...
I do agree.
Parang
why
hindi
they
siya
are dropping
smooth, bro.
different parts of the map. Because we're talking about 16 teams.
Halos
and
Pinoy ata lahat
Isolated,
nakapasok, bro.
Isolated
Hindi
is
nila
a
pinakita yung
smaller
mga
map
teams, no?
compared
Bago
to
mag-start.
Blackout.
Sana pinakita
But
nila.
it's still big, but on the
Daw
other
may post
side,
naman
we're
sa
seeing
page.
KM2 right now getting elimination and the trade-off as well.
Bihira.
Absolutely. And Carl not stopping, managing to get the double for himself already. 2 eliminations in hand so far, and
Naka-Infinix
pick up
kasi.
a little bit more.
Naka-Infinix kasi.
Check out some of his action on the other parts of this map, but Sanitarium is gonna keep us glued in for the time.
Hindi ko alam pre, pero
Well,
titingnan
this
natin.
is
Pag medyo hindi ko
insane.
sure yung ano, makikita
Definitely,
natin.
you were trying to loot up in here, and also seeing
Hindi ko
that
pala pwede
we
sabihin,
have-
baka
because
madali
at
ako.
some point, you will be having
Te, ganito
a
lang
little
quality,
bit of,
miski sa akin eh,
side
Japanese eh.
because there's a lot of points already being gathered on the other side of the map. And
Lala.
you're
Check
still
nyo nga kung ganito
in
rin yung
phase
yung
one
graphics sa inyo, I mean
in
yung
Battle Royale. So, one thing that
ano sa
I
inyo, may
would
quality
say
sa
right
live nila
is
mismo.
coming from Sanitarium, it is quite
Check nyo sa blue
near
up
to the
kung
middle
mas
of
okay.
the map. And I'm really looking forward to how the rotation would be. Because for some of the teams, they just go straight ahead. Like, beeline into the middle of each phase of zone. and then that's where they get all those eliminations.
Saan meron?
Yes,
Saan
and
meron,
there is
Boss
also,
Notch?
a place that's
Silipin nga
quite safe
natin.
for you to play in case you do get hot drop by any of the other squads.
Same-
But in terms of
Whitey,
loot,
guys.
if
Silipin natin
you
sa
are
Whitey,
not
guys.
having to share a compound with anybody else, it does provide your
Sige, go.
squad with quite
Silipin
a
ko sa
little
Whitey
bit.
muna, guys.
Now, if you look at the potential of these teams walking away with a lot of money in their pocket, because obviously one part of the game is also going to be the new system that's been added in, the buy
Ayun.
station. Not very new, but new for us old timers.
You mentioned old, I got hit. I got hit real hard when you mentioned old right now. But I do agree. There's a lot of places here that hasn't been, like from last time we saw it, there are a lot of
Malinaw,
changes.
malinaw sa ano.
There's
Hindi pa tayo
developments
Whitey.
that happen. So,
Okay, guys, hindi pa tayo Whitey.
but I know it's just one, but you know how excited players got.
Ang gulo, parang may nagsasalitang iba. Ang gulo nung ano nila. Ay, dito. Dito pala sila, man. May sounds.
More difficult as you go on in. Some players though taken out of the equation very happy.
Ano nga eh, parang ewan ko eh. Parang si Rakaeng na to eh. Pinanis sila si Rakaeng, pre. Isang salita, dalawa yung lumalabas. Sa live ata mismo nila eh.
Trouble right now, and there goes Taco being taken
Ay, baka sa akin.
by a little too quick. But with that ninja, that is a great distraction. Now, for the team, can't really have a team because Rai is just in here waiting for an opportunity. And Liquid is also one of the
Ano yun, ang gulo.
that
Sa akin ba o kanila? Ang bihira talaga. 6 rounds, bro. Ganyan, constant joke. Lahat nagsasalita, no? Literal na shoutcast itong ginagawa nila. Nahihilo ko, pre. Dami nagsasalita sa utak ko.
ADFC actually managed to avoid the initial clash here.
Ang daming nagsasalita sa... Ay, di pa kita yung 4K. Sorry. Dami nagsasalita sa isip ko, pre. Dito 4K, dito 4K, guys. Hindi pwede mawala yung mga idologs. Simula na, simula na. Nahihirapan ako, dami nagsasalita sa tayo ko. Online lang, online lang. Pag minute natin yung shoutcaster, wala yung sounds eh. Kasi ako yung gagawa ng sounds, ng ORP, ng loot, ng barila. Hindi na palagi dito. Ang bira naman. Hoy, dali si Virus! Dali si Lay! Hoy, ano nangyayari? Hindi kayo to. Nice one, Sek. Nice one, Sek. Nice one, Sek. Grabe naman mag-loot. Patay mo man sila. Pag sa YouTube na, sa YT naman, pre. Malinaw, pero yung FPS niya, so parang naka-zero. Pre, gulong-gulo na ako. Gulong-gulo na ako. Garena, please naman.
And Sakura right now being spotted. Not tap just yet. Rubble right now. Or on that high ground.
Sa dami nagsasalita. Dami. Ako na lang mag-ano. Ay, nakatumigil eh. Ay, invisible. Ano? Paano to? 3. May TF pa ako dito, pambihira talaga oh. Ching. Ish. Tum. Psh. Ano ba yun, naglalag? Paano kayo ano yung lag? Diyos ko lang naman manood. At the same time, mas maganda na maglaro, pre. Mas maganda na lang maglaro. Pwede ba yung mag-spectate na lang o mag-host na lang 4K para malinaw? Pambira. Pang! Arisado ko na. Ang daming pwedeng tumulong sa Garena eh. Di ba may mga nagpapatour na yung production nila, ganon? Ba't hindi nila tinanay kausapin, di ba? Kung kukontakin ako ni Garena, men, ako mismo magkakamera dyan mismo sa game. Pag tumatakbo sila, tatakbo din ako. Kakamerahan ko. Wag lang akong barilin, boy. Wag lang akong barilin. Yun lang yung pwede pakiusap natin sa mga players. Mahal DF ko eh, no, boss? Ano na lang, toss coin na lang. Sino magcha-champion? Bawal naka-live mga players, pre. Nag-SB na lang, naglalag po. Alam mo ang problema, guys? Naka-max ata lahat ng quality niya eh. May shadows din, no? Siguro yung FPS niya yun yung naka-low, baliktad. Max dapat yung FPS, as kahit low graphics mo na lang. Ito na yung mga 4K, guys. May placing to, 10 points. Exciting. Nahilo ko. Uy. Ang gandang laban to ah. Top 1 versus top 2. Uy, down 2. Yun lang. Mga madadali ang ADMT natin dito, guys. Oo nga, kasi Kuya Uli kaya, no? Kuya Uli kaya, baka pwede pa sabi, Kuya Uli, pasok ka sa Garena, please. Pambira. Nahihilo ko. Ay, nawala na. Okay na pala yung sounds eh. Hindi na doble-doble audio. At least, naayos. Diba? So ito, para tayo nag 15 FPS. Picture by picture. Picture by picture, bro.
Finding the connections just yet. Okay. He's more of a CCC player. But light being decked up right now. But then, so Marceline is always in there.
Tapos pag live na nag-restart, pag ganun, tigil na natin to.
And that's an SMRS play.
Islam, bilan nyo ng iPad.
And they have high ground as well. So the plan of working
ay, ganda ng laban na ito. Batuhan, man.
Other teams on the other side of this lane. And that's where to get that advantage. But Mirosa, what a hit against GNR Thirst. And there you go. Once a knockdown happened, moving in. Oh man, Zombie's just
mataas yung balhibo ko. Sobrang ano.
And he's gonna find himself one more. To be the right hit front.
Ilang round? 6 rounds, bro.
The Team 7 still does have an opportunity here. Mura.
Airdrop has been delivered.
Garena, please. Last year ganito rin eh. Diba? Mahal ka namin, pero syempre, ano naman. Sabog.
Against
Putang
Tom
galaw.
Peeps. Rewind.
Bilis ang
Didn't
reaction
save
ni
him. Almost being taken down, blown up. But now they have information. They have
Actually, may
treasure as well,
production naman
because
tayo
they
guys sa Pilipino rin na kaya naman yung ganyan, di ba?
Is just the hunter. He's the one who's trying to find an opponent and leaving the rest of the
Walang
annihilation
hiya.
for the rest of the squad.
Nahihilo ko guys.
Fire sale started in one
Pakinggan ko na lang yung mga
Please
nangyayari.
don't
I-imaginein ko na lang.
Tom Peeps,
Okay.
they're all alone, far away from
Okay,
the rest of
ganda,
his team
ganda.
members, but
Oh, pag nakapigit ako guys, so smooth to, try nyo. Smooth nung tunog.
these guys are looking
Smooth lang.
unstoppable
Wala
at this
kayong
point of
may
time.
isip na ano. Ayun, it's no big.
I think they're gonna have a little bit of a field day here with this
Lilipat.
robot as well.
Airdrop has been delivered.
Tumarog eh.
One of those games where
Ito nakasakyan.
everywhere, with or without
Ang smooth pre.
We're just gonna just call it
Airdrop has been delivered.
You know,
Original,
if
original.
you're bored, then it might be boring. So, sorry, AJ, I had to do that. But anyways, look at the rest of the map right now.
Avisado
They're
ka
also
na. Lala
in
bro.
different areas of our ice plate now, and there's not so much
Naman ganyan, Garena.
The scene is collapsed.
Uy,
we were watching.
mga kami niya. Sino naglalaro sa ano?
Right now,
Sa GNR, si Stellar ba? I want to know.
Fire sale.
between ADMT.
Nakamute sa Garena live sa TikTok. Feeling ko dahil ano, dun nanggagaling yung
ADMT is in a lot of trouble
hindi
here.
naglalaro si Stellar.
DNR. This could be a quick end for them
Engaging the
because
enemy.
Sacred
What?
Ivy is on the road, but it's the opposite.
Pero naglaro siya kahapon guys ha. Naglaro si Stellar kahapon.
Sacred Ivy in a lot of trouble. Caught up, got that knock, but not quite back down.
Engaging the enemy.
By DNR. Sachi.
May trabaho yun. Hindi, siste. Kahit may trabaho, may OGT, naglalaro yun bro. Lalo na ganito.
Only top pips remaining. But
Lalo na
Sachi
ganito,
pulls away,
turna.
probably no backup, or
Ganitong
also
exposure.
planning to go in for that dog tag. But it's a 1v1 right now, and we've seen on the other side, Super Jeff is also waiting for that
Oo nga, hindi naman si Kev sa fake news kayo. Hype ngayon. Sabi ko na eh, hindi. Naniniwala ako sa ano ko eh, kaalaman ko eh. Parang kinontrol yung emotion ko eh. Sabi niyo si Kevsap yun eh. Saan main live? Main live to, white team. Meron din sa blue up, meron din sa ano, yung puro Garena. Uy, 4K on top na naman bro, 10 kills na sila bro.
Here for Tom Peeps as he looks to make his way into the safe zone and gets there just in the nick of time.
Enemy eliminated.
Seeing a battle between Leap as well, and Tom Peeps.
Buhay pa,
lead
Ivy.
the
Mga
revenge
buhay
on
pa
the
naman,
Sachi. Now, see if he'll be able to pull away. So, earlier, we only have
Halimaw si Tomas no, bumalik yung ano niya, prime niya pre.
the survival out at sea.
Bumalik yung parang yung kumpiyansa niya sa sarili bro. Diba? Pansin nyo? Yung kumpiyansa ni Tomas nandun na ulit.
Oh, now Travis, GNR, snuffing out one player after the other on the
Oh,
side
bol
of
na eh.
and it looks like another
May
team
bago
is
na ba
about
si
to get
Tom Tom?
annihilated, kicked out of the lobby
Okay.
AAA on the other hand. With Showman putting on a show for us on the high ground. No eliminations on his
Oh,
side just yet.
sanggala.
When are they gonna start
Airdrop
raking this
incoming.
in? They're getting to a point in the lobby where they can't run
Sabi ni
away
Game
from
mahilig
behind
daw.
anymore. They have to
Ang
take
bilis
some
ng
big
comment.
fights in a little bit.
This might be the greatest show right now. Showing us that
Oh, sanggala. Ang lag. Pakak. Nag-invisible na sa sobrang bilis. Eh, tignan nyo. Ano gagawin namin dyan?
they're still alive, but Tom Pips.
Whitey ako nanonood guys. Whitey ako. Uy, grabe. Double kill.
And Super Jeff.
Super Jet na lang nabubuhay guys. Kaso may self-revive siguro sa screener. Oh. Tingnan natin. May tinutuloy siya bro. Hindi siya nakakabuan.
Okay, Super Chef looking to be on a little bit of recovery mission. Rosa
Nagpaano Ivy. Parang sinasabi ng oy, may gawa din kami. May buff din kami. Ganun.
They are looking for the rest of the players on the side of 4K as well. Lead main now gonna fall victim to the GNR players. What a nade coming on through.
Okay,
Uncle finds
Garena.
onto the Hades.
Ako na lang mag-spectate. Pasok ako. Pasok ako next round.
Great nade, Glepsy taken out.
Name sa YT, Garena rin, bro. Search mo rin, Garena ko. Hindi, maayos naman to guys. Maayos to for sure, round 2. Kaya ang gawin nyo, mag-repost kayo ngayon, tapos mag-follow. Para maayos. Para kukontakin ko si Garena. 10 points placing na ito guys.
You can only count to 4 if that's a targeting. And speaking of targeting, it's
Tabugan eh.
Travis.
Nasa ni segue, no? May ads. May ads pare. Ito, isa-send ko na. Follow, tapos like and repost. Ayun na, nagre-reply na si Garena. Hey Garen.
Red not waiting at all for that smoke bomb's gonna lay out. Blocking
Follow
away
dapat.
towards his squad members from the opposite end. But it is gonna be a tad bit difficult if he does not get to higher ground. Red still on this low ground looking for an opportunity to backstab the players.
Buti wala nang smoker eh, no? Pamay smoker, wala na, sumabog na to. Uy, down si Leylay! Down si Slash, magkaibang team na pala yan. Pero down sila pareha. Wala si Stellar guys. 6 rounds lahat total. Buhay pa rin si Jeff, pre. Buhay pa rin si Jeff. Kanina pa mag-isel si Jeff ah. Ay, ang ganda ng pwesto ni Travis dito. Ay, na-down si Jeff, guys.
Because 8 more players still alive and kicking. 2 of them. Travis actually looking for 1, but Team Ivy has got 3 on that high ground. And outside the circle, some damage here.
Apat na ba sila? Tatlo na lang. Finals daw, finals. May FPP, wala ata. O, renta nila yung tour na bus, bro. Please!
Interesting move coming through from Ivy who don't wanna pull themselves out of position.
Ayun dyan ah.
GNR can just take a fight up against AAA, but
Ay.
showing up wrong place, wrong time.
2 versus 3. 2 versus 3 guys. 2 versus
A
3.
little bit closer to the players of Ivy. Can he pull off this backstab?
Cito might be able to now virus. No, he dropped off on the other side. Blue's taking him,
The safe
but
zone is
and
collapsing.
he's the only one who's moving
Grabe
that
si
quickly.
Luke Boy doon, man.
And we'll chase him. That would be a bait and switch. That is happening. That's
Alam
what he has
pwesto
to
nila.
move them.
Alam pwesto
Travis! What Travis the one who goes down first. And Sekre right now goes for that finisher. And Poison Ivy dizzy, giving us
Let's
that
go.
first team on a victory.
Man, Poison Ivy definitely bringing the poison here in the first lobby. You gotta
Tapos na, okay na yan.
respect what they did.
Sakit na ng ulo namin
High ground
manood.
advantage, keeping information on their
10
side,
points,
and they knew that they were
top
pleased
1.
by the players on the side of
Top 2
GNR,
ata 5
and they
points.
played their timing really well
Ang lamang,
in terms of landing
IB.
right on the opposite
May placing
side.
eh, 10
And I think
points.
this is the kind of advantage that you should be taking for your side if you are one of the players out
Parang
there.
may
Like the
nag-ano
high
eh,
ground
no?
with the bird's eye view, definitely an undeniable advantage for a lot of
Rewind
people.
talaga ni Dre ang
Yeah, I
solusyon.
do agree. I mean, even before that battle.
Oo nga eh, mas okay eh. Mas okay nangyayari. Ay, shoutout sa'yo, Idol Malbs. Idol Malbs pala to eh. Kamusta ka na, Idol Malbs?
Poison Ivy on one of the hard rounds away from that final circle. So we've seen a lot of teams has done this, and we know
Balik,
Acscension as well.
rewind si Dre. Masatangad kasi si Dre kay Sek eh, di ba?
Because even with Travis moving
May
up
placing
and
points,
down,
10 points.
They just pull away, use that ridge, even prone, and then they're still in the clear, and that's why they have
Yun yung
more
solusyon,
coverage
ban.
and more chances of getting that victory.
Ganda no na.
GNR wasn't too bad
Sa
at all,
YT,
but I think
malinaw,
it's
pero
definitely more
ang
than
lag.
10 eliminations.
Sa TikTok ba?
12 to their side. We'll have to get the confirmation in a little bit from the leaderboard.
Magkano
But
prize
Poison
pool,
Ivy, I
pre?
agree with you. They had the
4,000.
advantage with the position, and it
Total,
was all
pag
about the
champion ka,
decision making
2K.
as to when do they take that attack. And I really respect the fact that they
IB,
were not
Mami
being
Loons.
too cheeky with their approach, right? They weren't being too aggressive. They were really trying to stay out of cover for the longest of time
Overreact.
before taking the attack up to the opponents. Unlike unlike what
USD,
4 Kings were doing,
USD.
4 Kings, I feel like they were way too aggressive.
Ah,
They
baka
did
nahulog
get
na
a
yung phone
lot
ko,
of
guys, ah.
eliminations, which we have to respect.
2K
Mechanical
USD.
skills, beautiful as usual from the players on the side of 4 Kings, but the survivability in Battle Royale, obviously very important. This time 4 Kings could not pull off a decent game because of that aggression.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one thing that is for sure right now is the
Round to the
moment that
next.
you lose sight of that survivability.
Bakit one ear gaming ka,
you get a
sir?
little bit more aggressive. And we've seen
Wala,
that.
natanggal yung isa nating tenga,
They've
sir.
gotten a lot of elimination from the early parts, but they put
Consistent na to,
themselves
mami.
in
Hindi na naka-rewind si
close,
Zed. Pag nagdadrive sa sasakyan, di na nakaganon yung ano.
That is a
Panalo na to.
approach, at that point. So let's see though, that's something that they can
Pinipilit
pull
kasi ni
away
Zed
from
magsasakyan
the
eh.
next
Hindi
game.
nga abot
We're
eh.
talking about 6 rounds in here, 6 matches, but we'll have
Who
to see
won?
though
IB.
if this might change because the
IBGZ.
next map definitely will
Kanina
give
kain.
us
Saan?
different
Kanino?
strategy. But let's take a look
Oh yeah.
onto the match rankings and well, there you call it.
6
AJ
points.
did
Ang
have
Placey pag top
points
2.
and of elimination as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Poison Ivy, is he right up there
Okay.
on the
Wala
top with
atang ano, guys, wala atang
24,
ibang bansa.
Points in totality
Puro
with
Pinoy
14
to, man.
eliminations. But again, 4 Kings, right? Very
Wala,
aggressive,
no?
taken out of the lobby.
Dati
That
may
makes it
nakakasali
worth it.
pang
This is something that
Malaysian
they have
eh.
to watch out for. But if you really look at the grand scheme of things, they're not too far away from Poison
Kaya
Ivy.
gas
right?
pedal
just
pag
a
ano,
little bit
nakasakyan
more
si Zed.
adjustments, and I think yeah, aggression can definitely put them at the top if
Sana
they do
naman
find
maayos
these fixes.
na. Uy.
And if you really look, there's just been a tad bit of a change here.
DQ.
And if
DQ
you
ang
really look
Poison
at where
Ivy,
the
nasa
teams
14
were
na
in
bigla.
14 stand, KMW Assassin Main, KM2 Infernal. They definitely
Let's
have
go.
to make
Ganito gusto
sure
ko,
they don't
Garena.
get into too much of trouble in this next game.
Well, let's see now. I mean,
What DQ?
that's one thing. Some teams is really looking for trouble.
Kasi
That's
technical
the whole time.
difficulties
I mean,
lang
from
yan.
what they're into, it's more of that tail.
Biglang lumipat,
that
ano yun?
ability on how they're going to pull away from that. Because at some point, even with the revive system that we have right now, the like all the problems that I encounter.
May galit si Garena kaya, no?
But it
Yeah.
means or
Sa
it
Poison
means
Ivy, tinanggalan ng
that we
points.
have one
Ginawang pang
player
14.
who needs to be alive towards that towards their journey in that fight.
Yeah.
But AJ, when it's his first round right there, I'm really sweaty right now from what we see.
Ang gulo nung...
Absolutely, man. The action has been non-stop. We are going to be taking a quick short break here, ladies and gentlemen. When we
Oh,
come back,
mag-break.
it's going to be round 2.
Mag-break
out of
muna
6.
para
We'll
ano,
catch you guys
ayusin muna yung
in a
dapat
little
ayusin. Yung points, nagulo. Tama na kanina, nagulo pa. Dito, watch party daw si Inra. Ang lag. Ito, ang linaw, oh. Parang excited ka na manood eh. Shit, let's go. Pagdating sa game, oh. Wala atang brief si Zek kaya nabot. Kaya pala. Hindi, yung kasi sa Lanturna, kaya din ang lag nun. Hindi ko alam kung dahil sa internet, kasi yung gamit din kasi nilang phone, man. Wala, sponsor talaga, ganun talaga pag sponsor. Kailangan yun yung gamitin mo. Kumbaga doon nang galing yung prize pool, eh. Ano masasabi mo sa Unbound? Nagbago drop point sa... Oy, saan na sila? Drop point nila. Saan ako all in? All in ako sa Poison ID kasi sila nag-endorse sa akin para mag-watch party. Bawal mag-watch party guys eh. Nang hindi ka nag-fill up. Ewan ko kay Garena. Ano pag wala naman akong clan? Isang hamak na streamer lang ako. Uy, gusto ko mag-watch party. San sila sa drop point ng ano? Unbound? Ako sa totoo lang mahirap sa River Town. Nag-register ako, Mami Lums. Nag-register ako. Ang endorser ko, Poison Ivy. Ang ilang round 2 na bro. Si ano ba nag-register? Si Oli? Eh sabi, pag hindi ka maka-register, pwede kang maban sa ano. Makano $2. Meron ng live sa YT, sa TikTok, sa bilang dyan, no? Naaurahan, no? Pakak! Nahirapan, feeling ko nahirapan sila eh. Alam ko, para masabi nahirapan. Ang pansin ko sa Anbon, sila yung ano eh, nag-i-stay sa isang pwesto, hinihintay nila sumugod eh. Dober squad. Ano slot tayo? Sino nanalo? Ivy. Poison Ivy. Mas mag pa yung ads sila eh, no? Tsaka ang dami rin kasabay sa Rivertown. Kasi ang sigip pa, kasi abangan dun eh. Successful. Wala ka ng ulo ni Leech guys, wala ka ng ulo ni Leech. Pakik na natin. Ba't may 10 points ang 8? Hindi, ano na, mali lang yun. Technical difficulties. Ba't technical? $10 points ang play. 10 points. Ang prize pool ng Garena ngayon is 4K USD Champion 2K. Sa may kita points, pinakita kanina eh, kaso nagkamali. Na-undo. Ngayon, ina-hide ko nila. May tanong ako, Garena. Bakit sila yung ads mo eh, ang nakalabas ko eh, Persona 5. At saka yung Mythic. Diba? Sa Garena. Okay, tapos nag-ano ko, no? Nag-try ako. So, nangyari sa ama parang hindi. Wala, lumalakas din kasi na lumalakas yung kalaban nila bro eh. Tibam Bam, thank you Tibam, Atinis, thank you so much. Hello Tibam. Ako lang to, Ate Eunice. Siya yung leading IB. Di ba maulan, Tibam? Kanina lakas ng ulan eh. Saan may kita points, makipapakita ulit yan bago mag-start bro. Sana maayos nila, ang pangit pag-lag, sakit sa ulo bro. Kasi mga ads nila, hindi naman nakalabas ngayon. Nasa draw ba ngayon to, yung mga nakalabas? Sino to? Ah, ito, linabas to. Nakasana ako QC bro. Ilang premyo dyan? 4K USD. Swipe PC tsaka ano. Wala, di nakaline up si Stellar guys. What happened bro? Saan sa QC? Basta malapit ako sa SM North guys. Malapit ako sa SM North. West Avenue to be exact. Malapit doon.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Community Gladiators 2026 Season 2 Ascension, and we just witnessed.
Di nga naglaro mami, nagtataka ako eh. What happened? Hindi si Stellar yun. Hindi si Stellar yan, yung mga ganyan. Pag alam nila may final sa ano, may trabaho, may thesis, uuwi agad yan. Gagawa na niya ng paraan. Lamang ang... Ay, naka-mute.
Apologies, guys. I muted myself because I needed a cough earlier. What a hot game that was
Lamang
for that first
Person ID.
matchup. I feel like things could have been a tad bit faster, but obviously these teams wanted to make sure they don't get
Dati nga ang Garena guys, may 2 days ano to eh. May 2 days tour na to eh. Naalala ko day 1 champion kami day 1 eh. Lamang kami eh nahabol kami day 2. Aray mo.
And a fair strategy to execute out here in the grand finals as well, right? Really test your capability before playing it safe because
inuuto nga ako nung ano mga Miluns, mga viewers noon, sabi si Kevsup daw yun. Naniwala tuloy ako, sabi ko hindi.
Now we've seen them
alam ko iba yung Kevs kay Kevsup
already. They do know the strength of the other squads. Now the biggest problem here is underestimating these teams in terms of their rotations, and I don't feel like the teams out
Dati
here
may
in
salitan
Garena
pa,
Call of
no?
Duty Mobile have really had their
Pero
homework nailed out
feeling
in
ko
terms
kasi,
of rotations just yet, Neptune. It still
masyado
seems
kasing
like they're
mabilis
just
naman ang pangyayari,
running
guys. Dati
wherever the
kasi,
circle
umaabot
leads
pa
them
ng isang
to
buwan
and
nung
just
ano,
fighting whatever
turna
battles that they get thrown on
ng
into.
Garena. Alam niyo ba
Very
dati?
little bit of
Kada
strategizing is
slot,
going into it.
isa lang
But,
ata
you know,
makukuha o
it's not
tatlo
for all the
o
teams.
dalawa,
It
apat,
seemed like
ganun.
Poison Ivy had a very simple rule: keep the high ground to themselves.
I mean, I'm really seeing a lot of a better strategy than compared to the others, and you did point it out that there's a few that's just
6
chasing
PM
the circle, not so much of a strategic approach. It's just more of listening and then
Mas
looking
parang to
for
si
their
Ford,
opponent
guys, kasi
where they start to engage.
ano eh,
And we've seen
ang
that
pera
from
talaga
some
nila dun,
teams,
dollars,
one
bro.
of which we were mentioned before our break was for Kings, because they did engage a
Pero
lot
kaya
of
rin
teams
naman ni
out.
Garena yan.
But
For,
the
ano,
survivability
I mean, kaya
is
rin
not
naman ni
that much.
Garena yan.
Thus, they
Pero
only
okay na to
ended,
kaysa wala, guys.
well,
Okay na
they
to kaysa
ended
wala.
a little bit high, but in terms of how high you want to be that number one, because that has the most points.
Matwala na
Absolutely.
but
And obviously,
matagal na ata
they're
silang
going to be looking for
mga
those
ilang
placement
weeks na
points
rin
as
ata,
well.
ilang
But we
isang
have
month na
always
rin
known
ata.
that Garena Call of
Sila
Duty
yung ano,
Mobile,
alpha
especially
dati.
these teams from the Philippines, the biggest focus is those elimination points. Now, if you go all out a tad bit too early, but you don't walk away with the maximum number of placement points, you are going to be challenged in a big way. And of course,
ganda naman ng
round
icon ng
one
GZ.
is a easy peasy
Pero
game
bakit-
for Team Poison Ivy.
Sana naman ano,
Yeah,
may
exactly.
ano
I mean,
din,
they-
Poison
they
Ivy
made
din.
everyone dizzy. And
Kasi
so,
pag
with
GC,
the
mukha
movement
lang
that
ano
they
eh,
have, with the position
isang
they have,
community
and
lang
even,
eh.
like in how in
Why
how
4K ang hindi
GNR
matitibag na clan?
was approaching
Kasi ang
it. They're
4K,
just waiting for that opportunity on the other side
maliban
of
sa
that
kompe,
ridge.
meron pa silang
And it's just unfortunate
streaming
that
talaga.
they couldn't get high enough to go and take advantage of Poison Ivy.
Ay, thank you, King
let's see
Ray.
though, because our
Nagkakodong
round
ka
number
pala.
two was
Minsan-minsan,
being
pag
blacked
tinatamad
out,
ako
and
mag-Dota.
you know how it is. There's not much of those covers compared to Isolated, and also a lot of potential of the teams to use a sniper, probably all those SMRs or SMRs. that would
Salamat sa mga
land
nag-guard
with
guys. Pa-repost
vehicles
ako ng
like
live,
Volk.
guys.
We
Thank you
know
so
for a
much.
fact that the blackout, this is where to use those vehicles, because compounds are far away from each other.
Exactly. But as you try to get away, are you going to get locked down by a couple of those FHJs? I'm still
Iba kasi yung
wondering
ano ko
if
sa
or not,
peak Dota
some of
talaga.
those eliminations are going to be shown
CS.
here on broadcast, because I've been waiting, man. We
Boss,
did see
na-miss na
some
kita
of
sumali
the
sa mga
grenade
tour
eliminations.
na.
Unfortunately, we could only
Baka
see
soon,
because of the
tingnan natin,
speed
guys, pag
of the matchup. We
ginaganahan
could only
ulit
see
ako.
those
Medyo nakakapagod
eliminations
sa
come on
work
through
talaga eh.
from the elimination feed, right? So this has got to
Kay
be
Father
something
talaga
that
lumobo,
these teams
viewers
focus
ng
on
4K.
into getting
Actually,
a lot of
malaking
those
tulong
lethals.
din
Those
yung
frag
si
grenades
Father,
are going to be
legit,
crucial. We've
sa
seen a
viewers
couple of
ng
those clusters
4K.
come out for the play as well. But there are, of
Kumbaga,
course, not every single team
parang
out there wants to play it
isang
aggressive,
libo rin
right?
na
Some teams
nabigay,
just want to
parang
sneak
gano'n.
towards that
Pero
final
wag
circle,
nating
play survivability for as long as possible.
i-ano
And we did
yung
see
efforts
a
ng
couple of
other
teams walk
4K.
away with that.
Dahil
I
hindi
think
naman
GNR
madami silang
Esports
viewers dahil din
Eternal
sa kanila.
was doing fairly well,
Wala na atang Delta,
but
bro.
unfortunately they got kicked out of the lobby even
Nag-quit Codem
earlier
ka na.
than
Naglalaro pa
4K.
rin naman ako. Sa kompe lang ako hindi naglalaro.
That's tough, really. I mean, it's not so much of something that they can wish for.
Kumbaga,
Ground.
Yeah.
4 Kings right
andun
there.
pa rin
which is
yung
aggressive. There's
efforts
just a lot
nung-
of- I
kaya
think
4K
with,
yan kasi ang laki
the
ng viewers
difference
nila
between
Tokyo,
these
laki ng
two
viewers nila
teams is
Alat,
on
nila
how they
Obsor, nila
group
Dati
with each other.
Sila
Because
talaga
GNR
nagbubuo.
Esports Legacy is one of
This
those
ba na far? Wala nang far, bro.
or Eternals rather, is one of those squads who always stick together.
Wala.
And we've
Meron
seen
atang
how
Delta
well
yung dating
some of
ADMP.
the teams,
Lumipat na sila
individual
ADMP.
players, how those teams can manage
Ba't di ka
themselves
naglalaro
alone.
palo ka naman?
And
Nakakapagod sa
the
work, pre. Ang dami kong
where it's
ginagawa
coming
sa work
from
din eh.
is them being revived even
Alat,
if
balik
you're
ka,
big.
dem, NP
So,
na.
that's
Maganda dyan,
the
babalik si
correct
Alat,
route.
samahan niya si
I mean,
Yato,
if you
no?
have multiple utilities that you can
4K
throw
pa
to
malakas
your
ngayon?
opponent and
For
even
me,
those guns
yes.
on the CQCs,
Sila yung may,
there's more
ano eh,
chances. I would say the odds is 1 to 3.
Last-
So only one of you
kahapon ba o
against
isang
3 of
araw, sila
them
yung champion.
that can be taken down.
Tapos bago yun, meron
Yeah,
silang
I mean, I
streak
think a lot of
na
the teams are
3 or
taking
4.
advantage of the fact that we do have
Four
dog tags in
champs.
the game, right? And with those dog tags, you can definitely
Sinira sa
quickly
unbound
dog
na rin.
walk the rest of your team members back
Four,
into
four
the
champs.
fight to take on the attack up against your opponents once again.
Yeah.
But
Balagbag
you
talaga team
obviously
niya dati
cannot
nila,
underestimate the capability of the
Wala,
teams out
sayang
there.
eh.
We've seen a couple of
Pero,
situations in the
ganun
past as
talagang
well
buhay.
where, for the retrieval of the dog tags, we've seen teams get eliminated way too early within the
Buti
lobby
ka pa
itself.
nag-live
So
nagmamalas.
for the
Iba
time
kasi hindi
being,
na
Poison Ivy,
nawasak
of
kasi
course,
mabilis
reigning
yung
at the
chats nila
top,
bro.
not too far away from GNR
Ang
Esports
alat ng
legacy.
unbound
Well,
ngayon
about 5
Kaya pa ba yan?
points
Kaya pa yan?
behind them. So
6
this
rounds
can
na
be cut
guys.
down just through those eliminations. You
Ayan
also
na,
see
ayan na,
Fox is
ayan.
looking
Uy
for the
pre,
gap, but
nagkakapatayan na
as we
ngayon
check
palang
out, Map
pinakita.
number 2, it's gonna be blackout.
Hello?
And the setup for this
Hello?
game is an easy one. What is
So,
the
ang
easy part of it? Go out there and be
pinapanood
on
pala
the hunt.
natin
See if you
yung
can pull away
shoutcast.
as many of these points as possible
The
for your
safe
squad.
zone is collapsing.
See now, see,
Uy, ang ganda, ang ganda.
spread out throughout this map. And
Pre,
that's
lag
what I'm
pa
talking
din.
about. The moment that we see the squad in a battle, they have the vehicles. And you really need
Yeah.
this. This is one good way to roam around.
Ang
the
hirap
area of
mahalin,
Flag
ang
Tower.
hirap
So
mahalin.
see a few of those who's not roaming around. They're trying to
Simula
take
sa 4K
advantage
now.
of what they have
Actually,
right now to take down their
sige,
opponent.
pinaka,
KM2
pero
against OK, well,
Engaging the enemy.
it's definitely okay because
sige, pinaka. Kumbaga, pick, sige.
pick up.
Pero si Thomas, si Jeff, Kuya The Rose.
The firing range very
Parang lahat
early
sila
on in the
nag-i-step up.
game. Handcap just unable to sustain his
Ang ganda ng combination ni
Against
Super
these
Jeff
players
tsaka
now.
ni Ge.
Okay, two.
Tapos ang ganda
Nice
din
on down
ng
on the ground.
pinapakitang
Donkey's
performance
right
si
behind him.
Thomas.
He's watching
Kumbaga,
all this happen, but
yun
he's
yung
not gonna
Thomas na
interfere in the
nakikita
battle
natin
just
talaga.
yet. It looks like he's gonna be making a
Yung
dog
palusa
tag play in a bit.
solo ng Garena,
Someone's about
palusa
to
duo
visit him
ng
on
Garena,
that
si Thomas.
upper floor.
Has been
Donkey is just sneaking around. Don't want him to give away the
Oh!
footsteps, but he's
Pinus-
popped
Sakit
instantly
talaga
by
ng Chico.
Why Not.
Tumama lang yung
Why
tatlong
Not?
brut-brut nun, patay ka.
Why Not as he takes out the first squad from the game.
Most improved sa... Not totally most improved. Kasi ganun talaga laro ni Thomas dati guys. Legit.
Does have a
Ganun na ganun laro ni Thomas dati guys. Sa totoo lang. Oy Ken, salamat sa roses. Kanasu. Thank you, thank you.
And what we've seen, they might be able to take advantage of this, but it's
Mag-VP lang sana tayo. Ay, hindi ka ba nakapag-register Kuya Oli? Ang dami nga Kuya Oli.
Why Not?
Diyan lang sa Heartbeat, Boss Owa. Salamat sa Heartbeat.
Beautiful defender. Flashes the living life out of his opponent. Takes
Ay,
advantage
salamat
of
sa
a flash
roses. Ang
opponent.
dami naman
But
yan.
now,
Thank you so
Penny
much.
going for the pickup. Not turned into dog leg just yet.
Mas naayusan ka ba sa
Wanna focus on
lineup
Satanic
ng
potentially
South Seattle?
for the pickup, but he also
Mas
understands.
na-okayan ako sa laro
Might
ni
just be
Jeff.
in a little bit of a danger.
Kasi si Yato, yung kinagandaan ng ginawa ng 4K guys.
Why not?
Kasi alam nilang mahihirapan mag-adjust ang smoke. Tingnan nyo, halos lahat ng smoke nahihirapan. Si Bernard, si Boy, si Sekre. Kung nga papansin ko kay Sek, mas palo pa rin siya pag smoke.
They could have taken if Satanic was picked up a little
Saan
bit
galing ko lang si
faster, I
Thomas?
think.
Existence, pinakatanda ko yung luma niya.
But he was just playing it a little
Round
bit
2 na to,
safe there.
point
Why not?
system, may 10 points
Why
pag
not?
top 1, 6 points
Yeah,
pag
why
top
not?
2.
Was Satanic right now. What?
Si Patoy din.
Satanic did go for a rush. And
Nag-13 din
eliminated
si
him.
Thomas guys. Tapos
Probably
na
some pressure of the Why Not in there.
pangalan na ito?
Asking for, let's take advantage of 2v1. And then that's where they will need some fight. But now,
Number 1, IB.
2v2 trap has been triggered right now. And
Go,
here
Punish.
comes Why Not trying to go in for no shots. And
Punish,
finally, they
Kaso lang.
managed to pull it off. Still
O,
have
nag-escalate
one
din kasama niya si
with,
Glad, no?
and a trap also triggered on the
Pero
side.
nag-4K na si
Easily
Thomas
tagged
na,
out.
tapos
So
nag-escalate,
why not?
tama ba?
Not only is he losing HP, but he's also being fried by the zone.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ayun,
Now
ayun
the zone's
na,
gonna
ayun
be
na lang,
just
ayun
a
na.
tad bit extra
Tatuwa na lang tayo
pressure here
dito.
for KM2.
Tayo na lang natin yung result.
MLK is just not in a position to snuff them out just yet.
Tayo natin yung result.
Carl needs to back away. They're waiting to gatekeep the players on the side of KM2 on the other hand.
Pero guys, ano yung
Ivy
pinaka
Hall.
nagustuhan ko sa 4K main?
Yeah, very low on that HP.
Yung, di ba, may times na ang dami na nagbabash sa kanila.
And there might
Talagang
just be a
di
little
na
bit
sila
of pressure
mag-jump,
from
di
the
na
players right
nagkaka-placing,
behind them.
ganyan,
Almost
ganyan.
stepping on
Pang
them.
RG na, ang dami na tatrash na mga ganun.
This is trouble. Why not?
Pero sila pa rin magkasama.
Pulls out the defender wrong
Sila pa rin
timing.
magkasama.
This could be the disadvantage for him. Satanic now moving on fourth.
Di ba?
And he gets the knockdown, but the rest of the players are rushing at him. This could just be the end of KM2, but no! Satanic with a sliver of
Oh, yun nga,
health,
yung grabe
holding
yung
on
comeback
for his dear
potential
life.
nila
I
guys.
mean, that's the first time.
Oh, loyal sa isa't isa, hindi sila naghanap ng, ay, palitan na natin si ganito.
Zone win.
Palitan na natin yung ganyan.
I mean, it's not
Oh, yeah.
just DMW who managed.
Doon lang ang mahirap sa 4K main, once bumalik yung OG, sila yung naka-line up. Yun yung napapansin ko. Kunyari, magagrind sila, no? Kunyari, si Peanut. Magla-live si Peanut, magagrind, Scream, Mini, Elims, kaya. Once na nag-online yung OG, siya maglalaro sa finals. Yun yung parang, kaya nawawalan din ng gana siguro yung mga nagagrind.
As mentioned, that circle, Dragon
Pero
Assault
wala
into
akong 1K
firing
dito, bro.
range. And this is about to get a tad bit messy. Yes,
Ay,
you did
Gizmo,
mention
thank
that
you, Sir
Blackout
Gizmo.
is a huge map,
Ang lag ng live,
which
no
they
guys?
need
Kwentuhan
these
na lang
vehicles
talaga to.
to quickly just
Tayo
find
na
the
natin yung
repositions
points.
on, looking for the
Ayusin
next
na yan,
compound.
please.
But the moment they all find this next compound within the next circle, all of chaos is going to unfold, Neptune. 13 teams
Crap,
still
Miguel.
alive and kicking.
Baka maging overload
And
si
if
Yats.
all of them do
Sayang
manage to
si Yats,
survive
no?
until the next zone,
Hindi
I
dahil
think we're going to have a
mahina
little
si
bit of a
Yats,
party
guys,
on our
ah.
hands.
Let's see now.
Kundi,
It's going to be tough
iba kasi
right
yung
now.
potential
Let's
din
see
ni
who's
Jeff,
going
eh.
to win. Probably who's going to enjoy that party.
Iba yung
But
potential ni Jeff.
for Bike, Carl has
Malaking
a
tulong
mission.
din.
Mission
Kumbaga,
is survive,
swak siya
get
sa
to the next
chemistry ng
phase of
4K.
circle, and probably give it an opportunity for rest of the squad as well to come back in this.
Di
But
makita
it's getting
score.
tougher and
Sorry,
tougher right
Mag-
now.
hindi,
Because
wala na naman.
despite
Oh, yeah.
of this having, or like despite of the team having more chances of surviving or probably getting into the phase, into the safe zone, it's because of how far each phases is and how big the map is. The travel
Nagluluto ba?
would
Actually, yung
really
sakit 4K main.
and we've seen a lot
Lalo
of
na
those
ngayon.
SMRs, FHJs
Bumalik yung
taking
gigil ni
down
Tomas.
opponents. So there's
Uy, down si
really
Bernard.
so much
Speaking
safe
of-
spot for these
Speaking
teams.
of labanan,
Yeah,
bro.
you're right. Now,
Ay, nakano
players
si
on the
Garena
side of Four
Rosa.
Kings.
Naka-DSP.
The roads are
Naka-Despacito.
finding up now from the side of ADMT.
Naka-Despacito, bro.
Taking him out of the equation real quick. Showman. Oh, through his vehicle, but had to rewind as well to avoid engagement with the
Balik mo next year, ha? Rabang
Rosa.
pakbet.
Just
Ba't wala ka dyan? Andyan ako. Ayun ako, si Kuya Rosa.
having that rewind skill
Despacito.
on their squad.
See now, yeah, we can only rewind time to
Ito
round number
siya, bro.
1. Probably they might have changed that result.
Ah, meron
but
problema
there's a
sa live
chance
nila.
for a new battle in Rosa right now. Ready
Alat
and
ng
on
unbound,
this
ah.
point. That's two elimination already for him. Has moved and has been tagged. And on the other side, it's Care, who's making way.
Pre,
taking
ang
down
maganda din sa 4K,
right here.
kahit
And
sino
from what
sumausaw,
I
men.
mentioned earlier, between Four Kings
Na
and
ano
the rest
nila
of the
eh.
squad, Four Kings is one of those who can
Napapatay pa rin
handle
nila eh. Hindi
themselves
yung parang
alone.
nakasawsabang
And
ka
not so
na,
much of a
wala
risk
na.
Because once one of their players, one of their teammates got knocked down and eliminated,
Uh-oh.
there's
Nahilo
still
ko.
more
Gusto ko
chances
magsabi
for
ng
the
mga
rest to
samang
come back.
words.
Yeah, man. Trompibs. I think he got
Samang
taken
sabi ng mga
down
samang
way too
words.
low on his HP, but
Pwede
trying
ba?
his best to play a little bit of recovery here, calling for backup as well. And
Tapos
Super
dati
Jeff
guys,
is on the
sobrang
way
higpit ni Garena. Bawal may
for the
skin.
super takeover
Bawal may
of this
skin yung
compound. Let's see if or not they
character,
get
yung
to
mga
pull this
baril.
off, as Get has been turned into a little bit of a dog tag. The rest of the players on the side of 4K is slowly but safely approaching the situation. Triple A's right in front of them. And Super Jeff on appearance.
sabi ko,
Simidos just stood no chance. Stompeeps with the distraction on that lower ground.
Tsaka alam niyo bakit ang sakit ng
And
4K main
They
yan,
just
guys?
annihilated the play the moment they spotted him.
Masakit to si Jeff mag-AR, pati si Kuya Rosa.
Has been one of
Mas
those crucial
ano
factors
kay
that
Super
brought
Jeff
that
sa
elimination
tutok
in
niya
UNT.
kaysa yung ano niya, malapitan niya.
PSNA
Yung Jack or
says
ano man.
post-script,
Mas
no
masakit si
more.
Super
That's
Jeff
NM
AR.
because that's really tough for him trying to get away on the vehicle, but all of good
Ngayon kasi Hades ang ano eh, sagot eh.
Nah, man, they definitely
Hades ang
didn't.
sagot sa champion,
Now, Super
pre.
Jeff and Rosa going for a very quick reposition.
Si Yato, more
AMT
ano na
on
kasi si
the other
Yato,
hand,
Jack eh, kasi sanay
looking
siya sa smoke eh.
for a little bit of a reposition here and maybe some safe plays. S is on the way back in after getting the dog tag scan.
Bus ba?
Anna just needs to hold the fort for the time being. Oh, Clona's not gonna get picked up here. Dog tag expires. Up now, on the other hand, too far away, and it
Naku,
looks
pangit
like
maubos ang Ivy, guys.
Adamantium
Kasi pag
Esports
ganyan
Fire
naubos
Right
yung
will have
Ivy,
to
ano
play this
nangyayari?
with just two
Uubusin
players
ni-
by the looks of things.
Aray mo, sumabog siya sa trap, bro.
Tougher and tougher with 4 already against 4.
Ang nagki-clean up dyan, ano eh, 4K eh. Asa ni ADMT main, sila Lich. Ang nakikita kong ano ngayon kumakana sa mga past tour na. ADMT tsaka JNR. Kumbaga kaya nilang pigilan. Pero tingnan natin. Si Ring kaya ng AAA.
But the problem is everyone will be geared in
Need ata
towards the
tayo na,
same
Ban.
area. So
Kailangan na
they will
tayo.
hold the compound,
Naka-watch
hold
party
the
ba si Nero?
and
Baka
well
kaya maalat
to
ng ano
provide
naka-watch
that
party si
board,
Nero.
and then that's when they can capitalize on the timing.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the players of the side of GNR,
Wala,
everybody's in a
wala namang
vehicle.
ano. Wala na
They're
ata.
looking for a quick reposition.
Tara.
Nobody's punishing their vehicle players just
Ay,
yet,
sinasabi ko
Kev.
kay Nero
Spotting a
eh.
lone player out in the open, and Ivy Ollie just unable to do much there. Not even switching to a weapon. Just gets snuffed out
Kay Nero
instantly.
eh.
Oh,
Saan
that's
si
the
Stellar?
rewind.
Nasa trabaho pa
And James
ata,
gonna quickly
pre.
reposition here, looking for a little bit of survivability up against
Awit
Kev.
kay Nero.
And GNR does not get another easy point, but
pakita doon kay Nero kung
very
naka-register
aggressive
siya
from
guys
the
kasi
he
si
gets hit by
Garena
his own
bawal hindi
team members
naka-register sa watch
into the
party.
vehicle in style for the GNR player.
Baka maban siya sa mga
I really
other
believe that the teammates can be hit, can be thrown
turnas
back
ng ano,
at this.
ng Garena.
Let's see though. They are looking for a better weapon or more.
Itanong niya lang, itanong niya lang.
vehicle to be used
Kawawa naman
in
si
this
Nero.
fight. But Kev's right
Miski ako,
now,
nagulat ako,
you
may
know,
ganun pala eh.
the rest of the squad of GNR
Sa
is
siste,
pulling away.
sabi,
He says,
ano pa lang
"I'm
daw,
going
pauwi pa
back.
lang daw eh.
I'm going to
Anong thoughts ko sa
annihilate
lip
it. Just
main?
have my back layer if
Lip
I'm in
main,
trouble."
kahit papano,
With
kahit
only
wala
nine
silang
still
mga
remaining,
superstar,
only
men,
also few
kaya nila
more
sumabay,
being taken
nakakatuwa.
down, and BSNA after
Kailangan lang talaga
being
nila mag-step
divided
up.
is now once again being
Dami
taken
alam,
down
dami
from
alam.
the hands of the Four Kings.
Kaya sabihan
And
niya,
by the
uy,
way,
ba't
shout
tumatakbo
out to
itong mga to?
all
Para,
of our
para
Watch
ano
Party
ah?
superstars right now. We've got a bunch of them.
Paano
Leap
palabas yun?
Unbound, Leap Esports, we've got Icy, Cadillo, and
Ano
we've
palabas
got Tom,
yun?
we've got Wagner. We have got a ton of them on all
Lala,
of
no?
our watch parties.
Ano
But the
ka
question
cartoon yun?
is it going to be a party here in Blackout in a little bit? 30 players
good,
still
that's good.
alive and
Naka-register, nice
kicking
one.
them.
Well, let's see now. 9 teams and 30. Well,
Papwit,
few are
minsan,
taken
pag
down
ayaw ka
right
na
now,
umiri,
But
Mhm.
what we've seen, we have witnessed some teams just
kawawa si
try
Aspect siya
to
lagi
play
andyan, tas
onto the
gagawin
edge,
sa
but
aray
Four
mo.
Kings
Sinong
wanna
pinalaro? Sinong hindi
try
si
to
Aspect
sink
pinalaro?
into the middle. And if they'll be able to spot out
Thank you,
a
Ate
good position,
Yuli.
probably a high ground. They tried
Capital A lata.
earlier on the first
Yeah.
round. Prepare.
Oh
Once
my!
Si Glad!
goes in for a takedown.
Eh, yung
And the top
hirap,
picks was a
man.
little
Yung
bit too late
hirap,
from those
man.
shots. Now he needs to find different opponents to eliminate.
I mean, beautiful play by
Actually,
Top Picks here.
nakakainis yung
The
ganun, man.
pacing,
Legit lang.
the timing, beautiful from him. Now he's going to just go
Nakakainis
in
yung ganun.
to close down the,
Kasi
distance here between himself
nararanasan ko rin
and the
naman
rest
yun.
of the opponents.
Like,
NEMT bumping
Alam
into
mo
their
sa team na
own
sub ka, as grind
clan
ka,
members,
hindi
but no
napaparamdam yung ano.
mercy and
Pagdating ng
4Ks
ano,
gas steals away the
pagdating ng
eliminations. Talk
finals,
about a little bit of a
ano,
third party
na mga
action.
ganitong finals, big
ADFC
finals,
doesn't even get to
biglang
prey on each
iba
other.
maglalaro,
Four
diba?
Kings getting the job done.
Yeah, I mean, they're not only getting the job done, they're cleaning
Sakit
house.
yun, guys.
16
Oh, yeah.
elimination
Masakit yun.
already. We still have
Man.
7 teams remaining. And look at that. I mean, compared to the earlier battle,
Wala na
we've
talaga
seen
yung
and
IB, boss.
isolated,
Ah,
they're more in a
bata
tight
pa yung mga
group
yun,
right now.
random.
Not too far
Oh,
from
yeah.
each other, and I guess the communication is much better as well. We're in an isolated, everyone was just aggressive. Like, I go for a 1v2.
Awit naman kay
and
Glad.
then
Glad,
end up
paraya ka
being
naman. Dinosaur ka na,
taken
Glad.
down. Look at the way they're moving this time towards TMW.
Yeah, absolutely. 16 eliminations, like you said, Nep, and they are not
Ayan
slowing
na
down
nga
at
kasi
all.
nasabi
Top
ko.
Picks, another opportunity for him, and Narosa,
Ayan na nga kasi nasabi ko sa
with Top
4K,
Picks, off of
pre.
the grenade. They are cooking anybody they come across. Looks like these
Wala na
boys
eh.
are absolutely hungry.
Yung mga-
Top Picks picks up
mga
another
pumupuksa
one
sa
for
kanila,
the
man.
squad,
Wala
making
na,
it a
clean up na
total
lang.
of 21 eliminations in the second game. We talked about how aggressive Four Kings are, and it looks like
Boss
they
IB,
just want to
Boss IB.
amp it up even
Grabe rin ninja.
further.
Oh, grabe rin
Yeah, I
ninja
do
ngayon.
agree.
Tsaka
I mean, they
ninja
are
main talaga si
bringing
Jet.
a lot of those. And
Iba rin nagagawa,
I mean,
iba
I'm
rin
just putting
kay
myself
si
in
Dre
their
sa
shoes
Anbon,
right
no,
now.
guys?
After
Mhm.
failure of getting that victory in the first round with a lot of elimination, I think this is where they are trying to balance those out. So if they can
Yeah.
beat Poison Ivy, even before the end of this game, in terms of numbers,
Mhm.
then that's where they will have the
Lana.
advantage of taking the #1 spot. And
Yeah.
this is the target for everyone. Just take that #1
Matalino
spot
kasi ang 4K,
every
guys.
round
Pag alam
until
nilang
the end, and you will
yung
be
mga
the
teams
champion.
is
Absolutely, man. Now, in
kayang-kaya
the
na
earlier
nila.
game,
Talagang sagasa na sila lahat,
we
bro.
definitely did see a
Masawsawan man o hindi.
distance that was not impossible for Four Kings to catch up with. 16 points to 24 that Poison Ivy Gizzy pulled away. I think the catch-up is completed right on this match in itself
Hindi
through
na
those
talaga ako.
eliminations.
Mag-warm up na ako.
Question is,
Mag-warm up na
how
ako.
much further can they run away from this squad?
Dito nila ako.
We've got the
Para
players
ma-wipe
inside of
agad, para
GNR
makapag-watch
a
party na
little bit
sila lahat. Ala
split
na.
up on the battlefield.
Gusto ko
Sachi
pa.
too low.
Thank you
And
sa naman
Four
sige,
Kings
oh.
get, well, not think twice to take advantage of that fact. Just spotting and instantly going in for the
Ayan yung
delete
sinasabi ko
as
sa
well.
4
Three more
Kings.
players alive
Yan
and
silang
kicking and
comeback
gets it.
potential.
That's all mine. 10 eliminations for this Wonder Kid already.
Wala
Like now lit
naman,
up by
bro.
Super Jeff. And Four Kings are just not pulling any stops whatsoever. They're going in for the shutdown. Ashi
Woohoo! Hindi, malayo mic
tagged
ko,
up
malayo
from
mic ko, bro.
afar and
Parang
Get
di
just
nagana
not
ng
giving him
static.
any bit of break whatsoever. And Travis managing to
decision
find Roy.
making ni Sek
Roy on the trade as well.
Nagpapatalo sa IB.
And
Uy,
GNR
matalino
managing to
decision
sneak away
making
that
ni Sek,
point
ah.
at the very least.
Legit ba?
Now there's trouble because earlier there's a few of the players
baka naman
in
hindi. Baka
GNR
nagkataon lang
and
siya.
14. But since though they have been deleted, it will be the battle of I would say two giants. in
Overall
this
kills ba yung
competition. So
4K?
Four Kings,
Over,
JNR
ano yan,
looking.
kills nila yan, basta
So
nakikita sa
they
taas.
made help on taking down Tom Beat. So that's one man down.
Labang nga
And
position,
we'll pick
labang
up-
position ng
we'll
ano
pick
dito.
up beat done right
Kaso,
now.
pag
Only
natsambahan ng
Smoke
SMRs
or
to,
Smoke
pre,
Bomber
mababaliktad
able
pa to.
to make that work, but
Ayun lang.
elimination being done by Travis and Luki, making sure that
Dalawa
they
na
don't have to
natitira.
deal with more of 4 Kings later.
Oh, big opportunity here for GNR. Take them out, says GNR. And that's exactly what they do. Luki and Kev's down on the ground. Travis and Red, though, looking for the annihilation onto Narosa. And it looks like GNR are going to find that
Ganda na laban,
backstab.
ganda na
And they pull
laban.
this off in a phenomenal
Palakpak,
fashion.
palakpak,
GNR
guys!
Esports legacy setting up
Mas palo.
themselves for
Palo
success
din.
through this matchup.
And once
ganda laban,
again,
ganda laban.
4 Kings has been denied of getting that victory. But one thing is
Man.
Wala si Steph sa GNR, guys.
the number of eliminations they have
Sino yan?
has already overtaken the total points of
Yep.
of Poison Ivy earlier, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And with that alone, I think that's a good start for them. A good,
Ah!
not really start, a good second.
Ayoko
start
na!
for them. But for GNR Esports Eternal, well, look at that. I mean, it seems like they are on their own.
Ang nangyari, isa na nga lang earphones ko, natapon ko pa.
Right now. They're ascending.
Isa na lang earphones ko, natapon ko pa.
I mean, this is exactly what I was looking for. The kind of chaos, the kind of action. I mean, I was definitely expecting a lot of pressure coming through from Four Kings. But for GNR Esports Legacy to be able to snuff them
Woo!
out, I think, just a slight misplay from Four Kings. They were too spread out. I think
Palakpak
the
eh, no?
confidence
Nice one, nice
became
one.
a
Sabay
little bit
sino
of
yan?
overconfidence there since they were cooking the lobby with so many eliminations. But you also have to look at this from another perspective. Four Kings, they cooked up a ton of eliminations, and therefore they did not need to worry about, not
Parang
walking
pumayat
away with
sila
the
Travis
maximum
eh, no?
number
Parang
of
pumayat
placement
sila
points from
Travis.
that lobby, right?
Yeah.
They went all the way. They did not take that number one spot in the lobby, but they sure as hell will be able to crawl up to the top of the leaderboard after that phenomenal action on Blackout Neb.
Yeah, imagine. I mean, earlier they did get 16 total points, and with additional of
Mhm.
20 plus in just elimination, being second
Oh,
place. and
man.
additional
Tibilugan
assists
si
of that,
Loki.
It's just a huge jump.
Yeah, si Loki, pogi si Loki,
I
boy.
might be looking at this wrong. Everything that they're doing it might have been calculated because the number that they're bringing
Mhm.
in might be close enough. If not, as you called it, might bring them to the number one spot.
Absolutely. So, but it really doesn't matter even if they're not at that number one spot, right? Because they have shown us their capacity, their capability in terms of pulling away elimination points. At the end of the day, if you look at the Philippines really does not like following the rules from a perspective of I have to be on the number one spot to end up in that number one spot by the end of the day. Because if you do the math really well, just these eliminations through stylish plays gets you to the top. And that's exactly what Gare and squad are looking for, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've been watching these players for so many years now. And
Saan
through
pala
all of the
si
years, they've
Stellar?
shown us one thing.
May
that
trabaho
they
daw kasi si
know
Stellar,
how to run
guys.
circles around
Pero-
everybody else as they climb up to the top. It's
Baka okay
GNR
na rin,
Esports
kasi
Legacy
sa
that
ano
got
lang,
the victory here
as a
on game
analyst
2,
lang,
but it
pre,
is
mas
Four
okay kasi
Kings
talaga
that
laro ng
celebrate that
GNR.
number one spot after rising to the top.
So that's 25 total elimination.
Actually, okay
plus
kasi
the
lang,
sixth
si
place,
Sacred din naka-line up
31
eh.
in total, and that one, doing a little bit of quick math right here. 47 together with the 16 that they had from the earlier game.
Kasi
Now,
ano eh,
Yeah.
may ano eh,
Poison Ivy Gizzy.
double-edged
They're
sword
down
talaga si Ste eh.
low, so
Sayang
it
eh.
seems like Four Kings
Na ano sila,
might
na
be
early
able to
sila, na
overtake
early
them.
sila
The
guys.
same goes with GNR.
Pero di pa total yan ah, yan lang sa round.
Absolutely, man. And,
Grabe,
you know,
isang
if
round,
you look down at
31
the bottom,
total.
lead main still haven't really been able to pull away much
Ay,
from
hindi,
these
yan pala
lobbies
ata
at
talaga
all.
yun.
Now they gotta make sure they hop on in and look for
Hindi,
some
hindi,
big points
round lang
here
yan, round,
in the
round.
final 4 games.
25
I
kills
think
siya
they've
kanina
missed
eh.
out too many
Round lang yan,
already.
round lang yan.
Team okay fine, why not? I love their
Round 2
name.
lang, round 2 lang. yan,
Okay,
round
fine, why not? We joined in here. We've gotten into the top 16 already.
Ayun
But
na, ayun
can
na,
we
ayun na,
continue
tama.
to climb or not? They say, you know, it's okay, it's fine with us, you know, even if we don't, it's absolutely all right. But why not try, right? Why
Glad,
not?
magpasab ka na, Glad!
Too many why nots in
Palaroin
there.
mo si Aspect!
AMT main as well. I think Neptune, they have just made a couple of too many mistakes on those rotations.
Kasi hindi ko rin
The gut
nakikita
fights
si
are
Glad
not as
nag-ano,
strong
di
as we
ba?
wanted to see them. But it's just the
Gag-grind.
first 2 games of the day. We've got 4 more lobbies to go. Climbing up the leaderboard is not going to be impossible. But if teams like Poison Ivy Gizzy,
Glad, bigay mo
GNR
na
Esports
muna.
Legacy are not careful,
Bigay mo na
4
muna
Kings are going to
sa
run
nag-grind.
away
Sayang
with
naman.
the grand finals #1 spot if they do not step up their gameplay, because the aggression from these players are just
Pilipinas lahat, bro.
unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, after getting that victory,
IB fan
earlier,
nakapawi pero
we were
parang may
expecting an opening
sa IB ngayon,
out of,
decision
round
making.
number 2. We're expecting
Oh, medyo maalat nga rin
still
talaga
on
mga
top,
tropa
but
nating
the
IB,
lead
pero
was just huge enough
kailangan
for
nilang maano yan,
GNR to,
ma-overcome
I would
yan,
say,
bro.
equivalent to one game, or
Yep.
if we average everyone's points. I'm not talking
Kaya-
about
kaya-
like,
kaya.
GNR Esports Legacies.
May ganyan, may mga laro
Because
talaga, man.
from what we've seen, that is
Once
an
na nakuha nila yan,
upset
kakanana ulit yan,
we have
dire-diretso na ulit
been
yan.
witnessing for the other teams.
Pero sinasabi ko lang,
yeah,
Glad,
absolutely,
please!
man. And you know, this is
Kung
great.
pwedeng
And
maglaro si
first 2 rounds,
Aspect,
Gizzy
palaroin
pulling
mo.
away the first one, and we just saw
Kasi
GNR
syempre, kawawa
Esports Legacy
naman.
pull away the second. So not a single #1 spot for 4 Kings in
Lakas
terms
ng
of
Garena sa
placements from the
palaro
first
ni-
2 games,
lakas-
but
ano, last
they
ng
are
years sa palaro
#1
ni
in
Garena.
many people's hearts, and
Hindi,
they are
ayaw- sa
#1 on the
nakikita ko kasi,
overall
bro, ito,
leaderboard because their players
Eh, si
just know
Stellar,
how to
tropa
cook
naman yan si
on the
Stellar.
battlefield. It's very
Pero
impressive
parang
that
nahihirapan,
4 Kings
nahihirapan
gets to
yung
split
GNR
up,
pag si
play
Stellar
such a
naglalaro eh.
dangerous angle solo on their runs most of the
Round
time,
3
and
na
still
next.
walk away with so many confident elimination points. And still towards the end, they still have got a full squad because of how capable they are
Papapuwit
in
ka
terms
na,
of
Han.
playing recovery on those dog tags. I mean, it's been very impressive so far, 4 Kings.
Actually, sobrang
Yeah,
sakit
I do
ng
agree. I mean,
GNR na
that's
dyan
one
si
reason
Sacred.
as well why we have them mostly in our
Kaya may
main special
talagang
teams.
chemistry
Number
na talaga,
two
guys.
is they are
Kaysa
the worst ranking of
kahit sobrang
farming
lakas
all
tong
those
player,
points.
pero pag
And
diswak sa
it's,
chemistry,
the speed as well. We've seen the
di
speed,
na consistent
not
sila
only the
Secre,
movement,
no?
but
Sa
the speed
ngayon
of
man,
them eliminating
kakabalik
the
ulit
squad.
lang
No, there's
ni
not
Ray
just
sa
the
rewind.
revive system
Mas
that we
okay
have
siguro
in
pag si Dre ang
mobile.
rewind.
There's more potential of them grabbing and farming more points if they leave
Yes.
at least one behind. But they don't want to deal
Ay, yun
with them
din.
early,
hindi nila
later.
ma-adapt
Because
playstyle
from
ni
what
Ste.
we've witnessed,
Ending,
when there's
pag
a
di mo
lot of
na-adapt
squads
yung
surrounding them,
playstyle,
especially
parang
with small circles
nawawala
involved,
yung
that's where
ano
they
niya,
have trouble.
yung
Even in
gameplay.
the 4v4,
Yeah.
they are having
Diba?
trouble. So why give them an opportunity?
Reason pa
Absolutely.
more.
I feel like
Reason
you know,
saan?
they're
Naglalaro
not
ba ako?
farming. They're just going out to annihilate everyone they come across, regardless of who it is. Even in one of those situations, we actually saw a little bit of
Player
I wouldn't say
ba ako?
infighting.
Iki
It
mo?
was 2 separate groups taking on each other, but from the exact same clan,
May
right?
clan ba ako,
But
boy?
it was the point stolen away by Get, if I'm not mistaken, in that situation. That just shows us how dominant the players on the side of 4 Kings are, because he was all alone as the third
May
party
kaklan
in
ba
that
ako? May
situation,
katim ba
and he
ako?
just worried. He
Yeah,
did
talaga,
not
pag
have a
Tolongkis,
single worry
pinapahid
in
na
his
lang
heart
sa
as he
amin.
hopped on in there because of the teamwork and the backup that he knows he'll receive from the rest of the brothers on the side of 4 Kings. So very impressive so far, but this competition
Yung
is not
prediction
just
ko sa
about the 4
champs.
Kings, but they are forcing us to talk about them because of all of these
Ang
phenomenal plays.
prediction
Man.
ko
I
lang,
wonder,
bro.
oh my lord, what kind of a flight path is this?
Well,
Malaki
this
chance ang
is my
4K kasi nandun yung
favorite
ano
kind of
momentum
flight path,
eh.
Because even
Holy
if they
Lord.
have
Nandun yung
a
momentum eh, for
specific
me, ah.
area on the map right now
Pero nandun pa rin
that they
tayo
want
sa
to
ano,
drop into, everyone
andun
will
pa rin
be
tayo sa
forced to
kailangan
go
makabawi
against
ng
each
IB.
other.
Mas
So from
maganda
what I'm
laban nila
seeing,
eh.
they might be forced into farm
Tayo yung
right now.
nag-e-enjoy eh,
Probably a
pag
little bit
ganun
of
eh.
bus station, but most of the squad is
Diba?
heading into northern part of the area, especially with the snowboard.
Gusto ko bumalik yung IB, pre. Gusto ko bumalik yung ano nila.
That they can play with right
Ang ganda ng
now.
laban pag
But,
ganun eh.
those who want to head into dormitory, well, they will be cut short. And they might be meeting up a few of those
Pero kung
contenders
ma-maintain ng GNR to,
heading
guys,
into the
malaki
middle of
chance ng
the map.
GNR.
Absolutely, man. Now, let's see exactly what this game is going to be bringing forth for all of us.
Kasi minsan ang mga kalaban,
The circle
ang kayang
straight away
i-anticipate
going to be
ng
putting
4K
a bunch
min
of
is
these
ano,
squads in a
IB.
fix, leading everybody
Sanay
in
sila na yun
for
yung lagi
some
nilang kalaban
big
sa top.
battles. And ZH
So, pag hindi
Conquerors
masyado
will be
napansin
the
ng GNR,
biggest blessed
iba
ones,
yung gameplay.
splitting here both on Raider base
Malaki chance
as
ang
well
GNR
as the
Legacy.
compound right beside
Finals
it
na to,
for
finals na to.
some
Yun,
extra
di
bit of
nalag,
loot. You gotta
guys.
respect the fact that they are very
Di nabalag.
confident out here on Raider base and Harbor,
Medyo
since
smooth
no
talaga.
other teams have dropped anywhere close to them. And that's the kind of cheese stress you want to
Kaso
see
walang
from some of
tunog
these
yung baril,
squads, right?
no?
Going in here for a
Mahina,
split
nakamute.
drop, when you confidently know nobody else is close enough to you, but they cannot be taking advantage of their positioning and the fact that they are
So si
alone for
GNR
too long. I'm
Kevs.
very sure these rotations are
Dating
going to
far
be
yan
quite
si
swift
Kevs.
from these other
Pero
teams.
hindi yan si
We'll
Kevs
see
up.
now.
Price pool
But
na ito,
GNR,
$4K bro.
Thirst,
$2
Ashi,
kapag
Sachi,
champion.
and Light in there. Now for ATMT, you didn't mention that it's just
Oh.
unfortunate for them because they
Oh,
didn't
oh,
get that
oh,
much of
shopping.
points
Kaya
earlier.
pala
But there were
nahirapan
a
din
lot
ang
of
lip
engagement
main,
that they were
bro.
part of.
Kalaban
And
nila
they're
yung
not really
ADMT dito
capitalizing
sa ano.
on those eliminations just yet. I don't know if it's just
Uy, solo nyo naman
that
sa IB si Rai. Kawawa
but
naman. Si Rai lang yung hindi
because
naka-IB.
it's like everything's running a little bit too fast. Especially
Sali
for
nyo na sa
those teams
community.
like Workings, GNR Esports, even Poison Ivy, who's fired up already in this game.
Lamang is
Not
4K.
not making it easy for some squads to catch up. Especially if you look at the leaderboard on the right-hand side.
Nakata
Speed,
yan na, Jasmine.
bottom half has a long way to go before they catch up on top 5.
Absolutely. And
Kasi Stellar.
it looks
Feeling
like
ko kaya
Ashley's
hindi na,
gonna find
hindi na
an
naglaro.
easy
Ewan ko
one
ah.
off of the game
Possible
2
na
player.
nasa biyahe pa si
again
Stellar.
off to a fantastic start here
O,
for
nagparaya
themselves.
si
But this is
Stellar.
not GNR Legacy. This is GNR Eternal. Another lineup from the GNR clan that just is looking to prove
Pasok na ba,
themselves
Ate Jazz?
out there, but they'll have
Price
to
pool
pick up
$4K.
quite a number of points before they can catch up with the performance of
No, may
Legacy.
nakasa
As you
4K,
can
paldo
see,
sa viewers,
the
dapat.
distance between the
Sobrang
teams
paldo, lalo na
of
si
Four
Get.
Kings and
Ang daming
GNR
perang
and the
dadating
rest
kay
of the
Get, man.
competition is
Dalawang
quite a
effort,
huge
plus
one
may
there.
mga finals pa na
Exactly.
champion
And
din
I'm
sila.
really looking forward
Tapos
to
yung
that
mga
goal
gifters,
recovering out of
viewers,
this because
palo.
it's getting
I
tougher and
love it.
tougher right now as time goes by,
I love
as
it.
a round goes by, and some teams are. I would say that for teams like GNR Esports,
Lalo na
as
si
well
Ge,
as,
guys.
Esports
Maabot
Legacy,
ng
as
ano,
well as Four Kings.
ang
Time is
stable
just
viewers
something
niya ngayon,
that they're
5K.
playing with. For the rest of the
5K.
squad, time is running out. So, and
Kumbaga,
this is a
pinakita
strength.
ni
This
Ge
is a
na hindi lang
threat
for
in this
entertaining.
competition. If this continues,
Yung mga
imagine
nanonood sa
already
kaya kung hindi
40
dahil
points
din
and the rest
sa-
is still on the what,
I mean, like,
20s
entertainment na
on
hindi pa
not
ganun, more
even
on
reaching the 20s, then they
kwento-kwento
might
or
be having
game
this back even if they
highlights.
fail one
Pinakita
round.
niya talaga
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yung laro niya.
M12 Carl.
Yung laro niya nagpadami ng
down on
viewers.
the ground,
Round
bleeding
3.
out, looking for help. Gonna get picked right back up here. And the players on the side of leap right in front of him.
Si Asik
Pain
nagmayamaraya.
is
Uy,
facing
sobrang
some
lakas yun ni Sek,
vehicle
guys.
problems as he hits himself right into a tree. But the situation is definitely dire here for M12 Sin Main. The players are all alone and out in the
Nasa
open up
kotse, nasa
against
kotse,
Leap,
Hasbu.
who are looking to
Purok, nasa
leapfrog
kotse.
over them with these points. And Carl has not been caught out just yet. Hasbu's being very careful here. Carl could definitely walk away with one
Matagal na
elimination
rin
if he's
consistency, Ge.
a
Kumbaga
little
si Ge
careful
ng-
on this engagement, but maybe some
Tumayong
assistance from a
captain.
third party here from T. Okay,
Nung di
fine,
naglalaro
why
si
not?
ano,
And okay,
di
fine,
naglalaro
why not?
si
He's actually going in
Cuenero.
for
Nice
elimination.
one!
But they
Ayun,
are the
Daya,
ones
naka
who are
ano to,
getting
ah.
cooked. Unfortunate.
Ang daya ni Carl,
Do
ah.
they get to turn things around is the big question.
Well,
Nakatima.
as for right now,
Ay,
definitely
ba't ganun yung
they
ano?
might be bound. Leap Unbound
Ba't
is
ganun yung
right
ano
in
ni Hasbu?
position. And there goes Gelong. Not so much that he can do at the
Naka-download,
moment.
guys. So, tignan
Same
nyo,
goes for
nag-i-scope.
Angie. So I guess they would say it's just okay, but they need to move
Naka-scope.
away. Otherwise, Tonki will be eliminated. And that might be the final player of that
Hindi
team.
naka-crossbar. Hindi
And
naka-download yung
Leap
crossbar.
Unbound. So far, out of the two Leap teams that we have one that is leaping a little bit higher.
Parang Krieg, eh, no?
Yeah, I mean, in that situation, it was just okay, fine, and then they chose to run away, right? It was like okay, fine,
Ay, no, may sasaw-saw
we can't
na,
fight
guys,
you.
oh. Ay, no, ang dami na
But
dun,
Leap,
no?
man, what a play! I think on the defense, they got ambushed. And they just handled that situation so well,
Let's
forcing their opponents
go.
out of the equation
Saan
very
na nagtatrap ang
quickly.
Leap main sa
And
ano?
okay,
Sa
fine, why not?
ISO.
Has to just make sure they don't get into such trouble anymore. But the question is, can they bring their team members right
Oo,
back in
dali si
here? Those dog
Clep.
tags are very close
Hindi ko
to the
pwedeng
Leap
bagutin yung
players.
pangalan ni ano? Yung isang member sa Clep. Ay, sa member sa lip.
Arsenal's already being set
Nababan ako
up.
doon.
Hopefully it does land on the ground.
Ay, si
But
Jack.
look at some of the
Sabi ni Jack.
teams. The flight path is following
Wala
the
nang
circle.
kinetic
The
ka.
flight path, or
Binaw
rather,
ka na
the
sa
circle is
lupa.
following the flight path that we have earlier. So that's a skewed flight
Hindi,
path.
yung buong
and
pangalan.
the circle has a huge shift. Those who are hanging in docks right now might be in trouble because the moment they take that zip line towards downtown, some of the teams might be positioning themselves already in that area.
Ba?
And Raider Base is where
Kung
all
tagal naman
those
ng mapa na yan,
weapons
mapa na
is
lang panoodin
available.
namin.
And then once they're looted
Hello?
up, they hang into downtown and a lot of targets
Why?
can be taken out.
Hindi na minimap tawag dyan.
Four Kings looking for the hunt on AAA Alpha.
Hindi,
And it looks like they might just be able to catch up to them.
hindi na
Will
minimap
the Four Kings
yan.
be able to continue their annihilation streak as both squads
Hello?
heading straight in for Sanitarium, and it looks like they have
Panoodin natin yung mini
managed
gameplay.
to very quickly disengage from the opponents.
Mini
Good on them.
gameplay.
Well, see now on how long they will be taking advantage of that better position. Now look at the docks right now.
Ang rules, bawal
I-
hacker, bawal
Yeah,
medic.
there's still a few lands that they can work with. If they have vehicle, they can head into standoff, take that bridge, go into that northern island. But I don't think anyone would be making it that easy, especially with the number of teams that we have in here. But one good thing for team from those teams who
At
have
least hindi
those
lag.
choppers,
At least
who
hindi
have
lag, guys,
vehicles
okay?
that can go across
Ayun!
those islands.
Super Jeep
that
lang
they
pala
can move
magpapalaki.
quite easily. But from what we're
Solid
seeing
ka
right
talaga,
now,
Jeff.
it's a
Solid
4
ka talaga,
Kings
Jeffoy,
once
pinalaki mo.
again. But the only difference
Thank
this
you,
time
Jeffoy.
is they're not
Hashtag thank
aggressive.
you, Jeffoy.
Probably
Dahil
this
sa'yo,
is their
malaki na
weakness,
yung ano
isolated.
namin.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Kala ko
a
di
little
nalalaki yung
surprising.
ano ko eh.
I was expecting more from
Salamat,
Four
Jeffoy.
Kings in this game. But I think they're just looking
W,
to be battle
Jeffoy.
ready, right? And I think at the start of this broadcast, that's one of the things that we talked about, Neptune.
Yeah.
Avoiding the engagements
Cheerleading,
early, looking for the
4K.
loot, making sure you've got the right
Medyo
guns,
malabo ba? Di ba kita
especially
masyado
from the
yung
custom
ano?
airdrop. You
Sa
want to get
points,
your
sorry,
comfort
bro.
weapons before you go out looking for those numbers.
Bastos.
That might be something that the Four Kings players are
Bastos.
focusing on, and I think that is the
Paano
veteran
yung
strategy
yabang ng mga players,
in
guys?
a
Hindi
lobby like this.
naka-crossbar.
Let's see exactly how the rest of them handle the situation. We've got TMW Assassin main. They have not been assassinating anyone so far, so I've got a problem with the name.
Let's see.
Malaria
They're not
is
looking
it.
at-
SMRS.
They're not looking at the
Bagsak
name
si
right
Glad.
now. But you did mention that at this point, Four Kings is
Awit
not
kay
bringing a
Glad.
lot. But
Lumilitaw kapag
our
finals
watch
ng
party
Garena.
is bringing a lot for the Four Kings. Let me give a shout out.
yeah.
This is a long list right here. It's out of Four Kings, we have
Ayun na,
Sid,
bumalik na yung
Upsori,
lag.
Holy Father,
Yay!
Tokyo,
Namiss namin
Remy,
yung lag.
Yato, Neki, Renzu,
Namiss namin yung
Akaza,
lag.
Fright, Winter, Instinct, Vanta, Bulati Gaming, Osus, Imzone, Charlene San Pedro, Doxy, and
Uy, nandiyan pa yung IB,
Eldora.
nandiyan pa
All
yung IB.
those part of Four Kings are on a
Nandiyan pa
watch
yung IB.
party.
Sangala, that is so many, bro. Is Four Kings a family or is Four Kings a nation? Four Kings looks like a country on its own.
Yeah, I mean, they're bringing the kingdom. There's a kingdom of Four
Ay, parang
Kings.
maalat
yeah.
sila Daddy Kayla.
Holy
Sila ano
mama.
ah.
I wonder how many kings the kingdom of 4K has.
I don't know.
Because
Uy,
the
binato
list
niya.
that you just read out to me all
So-
sound like
Oh!
kings.
Well, there are some
Pre,
queens.
napakakunat,
queens.
napakakunat
Some
ni
queens.
Tomas sa mga bomba.
Don't
Hindi
come
siya
after me,
nawawan
alright?
tap. Kanina pa.
Lots of kings, definitely lots of queens out there
Kasi
as
sinali
well.
dyan pa. Saan?
Four kings might
Soft
need
boy.
to rename
Kala ko
their
soft drinks,
brand.
parang nakakami sa soft
The Four Kings
Puro
and
ano,
Queens.
PH ang
But,
nakapasok.
you know, at the end of the day, the clan is insane, man. Not just on the leaderboard, but with so many of their superstars on these watch parties.
yeah.
I wonder if they're having
Unat
fun
ni Tomas.
watching their players stomp on everybody else. But will the stomping continue here? Because in this third game, Four Kings
watch
have
party,
not
di ka
shown
na-mention
us
ng
their
show.
supremacy just
Hindi ako
yet.
sinat out.
But I'm pretty sure they will be showing a little bit of that in a little bit.
I don't know. Probably they were just tired getting and farming all
sinabi?
those elimination
Hindi kasi ako, guys,
earlier.
eh.
That was a lot that they
Yeah.
brought into Blackout. But there's also the
Oh, yeah.
storyline of Isolated because of
Pinakalat.
over familiarity of everyone
Sinabi
in this
pala, guys,
map.
eh.
And
Siguro
everyone just
bigyan din
knows
kayo,
how to
kakanood
get
nyo
in
sa
and
akin.
out of battle. Especially in this kind of circle wherein they were forced
Hindi ba?
to
Ano
move
ba talaga?
away from the usual draw spot. There you have it. Think Four Kings managed to go in
na ako, in
for
live ko na
that
to.
shot through the window,
Daddy J, what up,
through the
Daddy J?
wall, and now will they be able to make it
In live
out
na ako.
of Black
In live na
Market
ako.
unscathed?
Sinabi mo. Ano
Oh
ba
yeah,
talaga?
absolutely. And
Narinig naman
let's
guys
see if or not
Ayan na natin yun.
Four Kings will be able to start picking up those big
Ano ba
numbers
sinabi,
because 3
Bingi?
eliminations in hand so far is definitely not enough if they want to maintain dominance on this day. MLK, Umbra, Mortis, keeping an eye on them. It's the battle between MLK as well as
RKE
Four
na
Kings,
natin.
Tom Peeps. Just making sure he's not
Si
going to get caught
Bernard?
out anytime
Back
soon.
Bernard.
Just making sure he stays well hidden as he takes the vehicle out of the compound. Hasbu, on the other hand, for the side of Leap
Ano
Unbound,
yung klase ni Kuya Nero?
staying safe with that
Oh,
high
oh,
ground.
baka-
MLK, Carl, get.
Parang nakita ko
Don't
yung
be
ganong
sneaky.
gameplay Sino yung gumawa
Look
nun?
at those
Sino yung
shots
gumawa
coming
nun?
on through, but he will not find any of those
Wala pala
connections.
to si
And
Ge.
on 3 eliminations, they'll stay.
Nagagawa ng iba yun, Gay.
He's getting
Tumatama yun eh.
tougher. Tom Peeps.
What a parking.
I mean, he parks
Wala.
better than me.
Nabawasan yung
Oh,
pagka-idol
let's
ko kay
Treated
Ge.
that like his personal garage, and the rewind hit here.
Nabawasan
by
yung
Tom
pagka-idol
Peeps.
ko kay Ge.
Sneaky,
Hindi niya pala
sneaky
kaya
play.
yung ganon, Ge.
And he calls for a little bit of backup. The rest of his brothers are on the way as well. And Four Kings about to light up the battlefield by the looks of it. Conan, on the other hand,
Sige,
will find
pinakamalakas
Roy.
sa player
And that's
ngayon, ba't di
the
nagawa
battle
ni
that's
Ge
going
yun?
on off screen as well.
Awit
As the circle will force a lot of these engagements, whether you like it or not.
Well, let's see. Neroza right now.
Hindi na,
Not so
hindi
much
na
of
nga
work.
lag, hindi naman naka-download
And
Farrell.
Triple
Actually,
A
baka nga
Alpha.
tinanggal nila lahat ng download.
See if the show, man, can give us a great show right now because it seems like they will be
Si
out
JB
of
lang na
showing
nakakagawa.
in this fight. A lot of teams has been forced already in the northern part or the western
Oh,
part
ba't
of
wala
the
na yung
map.
mga yan? Parang hindi ko na nakikita sa
even
final
crossing
chat. Si
of
Jimmy, si
downtown
JB.
was a trouble for them. Standoff was open earlier.
Kasi
A
kung
few
pure
teams
skills
did
ka,
try to take
maglalaro
advantage
ka pa
of
rin
that,
diba?
but now everyone is in the same spot
Diba?
or almost in the same spot. Then this is where we see those body drop even
Hands
more.
up lang, hands up lang.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Those
Diba?
bodies are about to hit the floor a tad bit more here. And as Leap and Bound looking for
Meron
a
4K,
quick
bro, meron
reposition
4K.
out there on the battlefield, they'll have to do this nice and quick because the circle's about to get a tad bit more heated up. Lian, 22 HP. Can you survive? Is the question. Shots from up above. And it looks like Leap Main is about to lose one of their main players here. Conan circles around, puts the rewind instantly. Could have gone in there for the knockdown, but I think he
Kamusta
did
ito?
not
Tamang
expect to
watch
see
party
so
lang,
many
bro.
players right behind those containers.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a bait and switch being done by Leap. Now, will they be able to take a huge leap in getting those eliminations
Ilang kills ang
in?
Leap,
Because
guys?
TMW right now,
Yeah.
Ano ba
despite
ito,
of
may
them
nakaglide?
failing a few instances now, they are
Ooh.
prime and they have better position. The only threat that is against them would be those coming in from afar who have a huge chance of sniping them down. Speaking of snipe, here comes Get right now on the sniper. They have great elevation and a lot of covers as well,
Yeah.
just in case they are in trouble.
TMW
Uy, 10 kills
assassin
na ang
main.
Leap.
Just not assassinating
This
much
is it,
just
that's
yet.
it.
But if you look on the other side, Leap Unbound, 10 eliminations in hand already.
Yung
Just
IB,
collecting
patiin
those
kami ng
numbers to
IB,
climb
parang
up
di
the
na nakikita
leaderboard for
kanina
sure.
pa.
MLK, Watoman down on the ground.
Patingin din kami.
And it looks like the recovery is going to be tough. Four Kings still on
Sabagay,
3
dami kasi
eliminations.
nagreklamo dati, hindi pinapakita
Looks like
yung
it's a little bit of a slower map for them, for sure, like you said, Neb.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not looking good at that point now. There's a huge chance that Rosa might be able to spot him, but unfortunately, timing was off.
naglalaban
MLK,
ng ano.
and I'm loving survivability coming from MLK. I mean, they have been
Yeah.
targeted and hunted
You see?
a lot, not only by
Sayang.
Four Kings, but also a few of those squads, and they are in this spot. They're still
Uy,
surviving.
munti na-
and
At least
little
nakikita na
chance
natin,
for
nakikita
them
na
to
natin
be
yung
taken
ID.
out
Ayun!
easily, but Secret right now, and that might be it. But unfortunately, Nerosa
Buti na
has
lang,
been
maliit si
taken
Sek.
by Triple A's
Buti na lang,
Medusa.
maliit si Sek, guys.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, Narosa just out in
Kung
the
medyo
open there. Got
matangkad
punished
yun,
by
men.
Medus.
Kapul yun.
Let's see if Get can pull back some numbers here for the squadron taken out of the equation.
Kapul yun, man.
Narosa cannot be brought back at this point of time. Super Jeff, Tom Peeps, as well as Get looking for the big numbers though this time round. Can they pull it in for the
Ay,
squad?
natrap,
Tom
Gagi,
Peeps,
hirap
good
na.
rewind.
Oh!
Trying to disengage here from Rinka, but Rinka dropped down. And Amidu's finding Tom Peeps. Get still keeping the squad up here as Amidu's gets traded out by the one and only Get. Now 2 final players here left on the side of
Ano
Four
binabahan
Kings.
niya?
Super Jeff fighting Tom. from afar, and it looks like HRA will be able to
Binamaan
recover.
nung ano?
No, they get
So,
snuffed out
manong
instantly. There's no recovery when it's Super Jeff on the opposite side.
Well, also, third parties
Ay,
happening,
magandang combo
and
to,
they're stealing
guys.
away those
Maganda
eliminations
tong, ano
out
na
of
to,
4
ni Get tsaka
kings.
ni
But
ano,
now, they're
ni
slowly
Super
ranking
Jeff.
up.
Parang
Compared to
sila yung
earlier
nakita
games
kong
in
dynamic
isolated,
duo
this
dyan
is
sa
a
team
little-
nila,
this
men.
is too
Legit
slow
lang.
in terms of those, but position-wise, they have better. If it's
Yun lang, round
if it
one,
wasn't for Tom Peeps and
IVGZ.
Rose being taken out of this, they might have taken a few more. But now they're
Pero
being
ano ba
cautious.
pa rin yung
Poison
toge? Pero
Ivy
para
once
sa akin,
again
ito
the
yung
high ground
dynamic duo sa
domination,
ngayon
and
eh.
this is where they got that victory on game number 1.
Ang laki na nagagawa. Pero
Yeah,
grabe
absolutely,
yung
man.
ginawa ni,
And
ni
it looks
Tom
like
nung ano?
The players here
Finals.
on the side of Assassin Main need to be a tad bit careful.
Ay, ipit na ipit sila doon, guys. Oh.
And Imzone, I love you, bro. Thanks for doing the watch party, Imzone.
Sarap mong preheat
Okay,
niya, no, pre?
there
Tas
you go.
Puputang ka
None
ng
of the
4K
rest
sa
of the-
likod. Ayun. Bawal yung puwet, bawal yung puwet. Hello? Wala nang ano, YouTube.
Thanks for doing the watch party, Imzone. Okay, there you go. None of the rest of the 4K watch party has got an I love you from. And get looking for yet
Power
another
off.
one for the squad.
Power off! Ano ba yan?
But just could not pull away a knock just yet.
Well, let's
Yet.
now
Ayun,
there's
nice
a
one,
lot
slash
of
down one
problems
sila.
right now being dealt with by GNR.
Guys,
But
play nyo.
Leap, MJ, they need to go for a pickup on
Solid
Nard.
si Slash, ah.
Hasbro
Pinatay si ano,
is
ah,
in
si
trouble,
Boyd,
not
ah.
even recovering
Gusto ko
those
yun.
HP just
Ayun,
yet.
bomba.
Even Slash has been taken down. Now, will Leap be
It's
able
Slash.
to
Hindi ka
make
na
this
ano,
work?
RGD.
Not so much of chance with
Hindi ka
most
na
people released right
RGD,
now, so that
Slash.
they can go for a pickup. But look at there, trying to
Man.
capitalize and gun them
Nanggigil siya kay
down
Boyd, eh.
from those smokes.
Yeah, Get
Ang
is
gigil siya kay Boyd, eh.
insane,
Ay,
bro.
kaki,
I mean,
di
he's
nga
just
pala
taking
ako,
all of those
ano.
shots all alone and
Nakaganon
is
siya,
actually
eh.
getting some big knocks off of these players. Now, Leap still in trouble because the Super Get is up against him, and the one and only
Hindi
Super
na-
Jeff
Ay!
is
Nagano si
right
Slash,
behind him as well for that backup. 2 more players left here on the side of 4 Kings. Pulls out the defender. I don't know if that was a tad bit premature, but at least they have a little bit of cover on the right-hand side as well. Super Jeff lining up those nades.
Uy,
Zekray, on the other
uy,
hand,
uy.
Gizzy
Let's
won't
go,
be able to
let's
find a player from the
go.
side of Assassins.
Let's
The DMW
go.
Assassin still not assassinating many players out there.
Let's see if they can assassinate this time around. 5 teams remaining at
Lee
this
yan.
point, and Leap has
Baka
a
si Dugo.
lot of those. But
Pero
even
alam ko, si
higher
Dugo, di
would
ba?
be Poison Ivy, and Lay managed to take down one
Eto
player.
na,
That's
eto
PJ
na,
from
nagagalit
DMW.
na.
How?
Oh,
Conan
oh,
though,
oh, oh,
hiding in
aray
the
ko.
corner, not spotted just yet.
Ah,
So
ganun-ganun
let's
ang ulo
see
ni Bips
if there's a
dun, oh.
chance for them to go for survivability, but Gay goes for snipes. And Poison Ivy
Grabe,
losing
mapupwet.
player, only Secret
Malilikuran sila at
remains.
magigitnaan.
How is Get still getting eliminations? These guys should have been taken out already.
Double
Get and Super Jeff
penetration
split up
to,
on the
bro.
battlefield. Ivy trying to take them out of the equation, and it looks like Poison Ivy, guys, he is
Double
looking for yet
penetration ng
another
Ivy.
lobby victory.
Whoop.
And here comes the clusters, but another defender just a few
Patay
feet
si
behind where the first one was
Awit
for
si Slash
Super
kasi.
Jeff for the super defense, and nobody's able to touch them just yet. But Get,
Pre, para malilikuran pa
will
sila.
he get ambushed? That's the question,
Parang-
and it looks
ewan
like
ko na lang, pag nanalo
nobody
pa 4K
dares
dito,
to
guys,
take
ha?
on 4
Dalawa
Kings
lang
out
sila
of the
laban
open,
sa
even
6.
though they are all alone split up.
Yeah, I mean, that is a threat that we have right here, especially for a Wonder Kid. We've
ito yung
seen
top 3
his
natin, guys, di ba?
prowess.
Top
On the
3,
long
di ba?
range, probably not so
I told
much.
you
But the
guys,
moment that he
na-predict ko
baits
lahat.
them in, and that's where they can deal with them on a CQCs. But, like, the combination of these players right here
Prediction ko
is just
dito,
one distraction and one
maka-clutch
finisher. Now, let's see if that would work. Because
ni Dre.
for side of
Mamamatay
Leap,
lahat, si Dre lang
it
mabubuhay.
is a trouble time.
Sige,
Only
sige,
2
sige.
remains for this squad, but Poison Ivy is even more troublesome later
sige,
on.
sige,
because
sige.
They're still alive, not engaging, waiting for the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, Poison Ivy
Ninja Secret.
looking for yet another lobby victory to climb up the leaderboard. They had 26 points earlier. We did mention that they
Ayun,
had to play
tapos ang
catch up with
prediction
the
ni
4
Adra.
Kings, and with the
Hindi
number of
ako-
eliminations they have gotten here for themselves
Nauna
this
na
time
down.
round, they might be
Ooh.
able to do that. Super Jab
Mali ang
lit up on the
prediction.
battlefield this time round. And Lay will not show any mercy whatsoever. Leap
Si
though,
Dre pala
looking for the
mauna,
victory
mali.
up against Ivy.
Mali niya,
Hasbro
guys.
will light Ray up on the battlefield, and it's now all up to MJ.
Hell, MJ right now, will he be able to do
Yeah.
it? And there you have it! He managed to take down Gay, and once again, the 4 Kings has been denied, and Leap Unbound gets that victory.
Yeah, leap unbound. Very impressive this time around. And you know, this is
Ayoko na!
the situation
Endlife na
when you
tayo,
want to
pre!
look for out there on the battlefield again and again. If you're a team like this, get
Ayoko
to
na
that final
talaga!
circle, pull away those big numbers, and obviously that's going to get you up the leaderboard a tad bit, right? But how do you deny the championship from a team like Four Kings, man? These guys are survivors through the
Pangalawang
truest
beses na
sense.
yan,
They
Tito
have
Badam.
gotten the eliminations on the previous lobbies already, and even though they were low in numbers for the aggression this time around, they were still putting on so much of pressure on teams like Leap. So fingers crossed the other teams do not allow this one to continue, because
Nice
I've got no doubts whatsoever. If they do, Four Kings is going to run away with this
Nice
one,
one.
even without getting a single lobby victory.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just
Absolute.
like they don't want a victory just yet.
Nice
They don't
one.
want a lobby victory just yet. But because of the threat that they are bringing to the table right now, they
Yung round
might
1 ba,
take
pinakita yung
this
picture ng
on
IB?
high-
Parang hindi ko
like
napansin.
their name on higher
Pinakita
part
ba?
of
Pinakita
that
ba?
board. But we've seen the usual suspects, even in the final in the final circle. When we're talking about isolated,
Hindi eh, no?
there's
Hindi
always a
pinakita
threat
eh.
of
Pagkakatanda
closing
ko,
line, taking
hindi
a high
eh.
ground. And look at that.
Kaya
Look at
yun yung
this
tumama
highlight.
sila eh,
Even
hindi
earlier,
pinakita.
They're always on the high ground, always on the lookout of opponents, and made it difficult for some teams to even get close to that final circle. So another threat, but in terms of
Wrong hole
numbers,
na naman
I
si
think
Garena,
isolated
guys.
is the only at this
Wrong
point
hole.
only chance that they're getting to make it work.
Absolutely, man. I mean, what a great
Ang
game
hirap
this
kasi pag
time it
dalawa
was
yung
from
team
Leap,
eh, di ba?
because they definitely needed to leap quite a bit into the upper parts of our leaderboard after two games where we
Humor
didn't really
pala talaga
see
ni
a lot
Garena
of
yun,
points
di
from
ba?
these squads, right? I mean, the brand has got two teams in here within the lobby of 16 squads.
Alala,
But
man.
climbing up obviously was going to
Humor
be
pala ni
difficult when you have
Garena
got the best of the best in MYSGPH out there in these lobbies.
Ang hirap
But they
manalo
did
pala
fairly
dito,
well
man.
this time around, surviving
Mahirap
such
manalo
a
dito, hindi nakikita
massive
yung mukha niya.
map like Blackout. And, you know, this is
Ayun,
what, such a massive map
Dre
like
pala unang
Isolated. This is
babaksak.
something that we
Mali yung
definitely
ano ko,
wanted to
prediction
kind
ko
of
dun.
like drill down into in
Yeah.
terms of which teams can really avoid a lot of these initial engagements,
Yeah.
initial, aggression, and look for the points towards the end. I thought it was going to be a team like Four Kings that pulls it off.
Kaya
But Leap,
kinakabahan
on the other
ako.
hand, showed a
Kinakabahan ako.
very
Hindi ko
different
alam
perspective towards
kung si
this, right?
Mustache
They're
ba
like,
talaga
"No,
to o
Mustache,
si
we are not going to
Neptune."
play this patient. We do not have time. We've already lost two opportunities. We're going to go all
Hindi
out.
ko lang alam,
and
ah.
surprisingly, it worked out like magic for them.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing. If you have motivation,
Feeling ko hindi sila to eh.
First is the motivation of not getting that much, and then later
Yeah.
on, a motivation of moving in closer towards the better opponents right here.
Yes.
And it did happen most of the time in Isolated. So I'm really loving that there's a lot of changes, a lot of adjustments.
Kasalanan
And
ni
not
Dugo ang
only a
lahat
few
eh, no?
teams. Well, earlier it was two teams who's taking it home, but not only a few teams who's taking the top of the board. Because
Mali na
if
naman
I'm
yung
not
pinakita
mistaken,
picture, Ate
the
Bae.
lead that we
Kung
had
saan sa kasi
with
pumupunta, Ate
GNR
Bae?
and the ones following them, I think it's Poison
Si
Ivy was
Doggy tsaka
around
si Reker
20.
pala
But
taki.
out of Isolated, we have the Four Kings is not doing that
wait.
much, but at least they're
No.
getting on those placement points, and some squads who's really catching up. So the gap between them slowly is reducing, and there might be a turnaround that might be happening later on.
Yeah, I'm just a little
Sa Four
surprised
Kings,
that Four
overload
Kings
yung
were just not
pinalabas,
as
no?
spicy
Araw
as their
mo.
play on
Si
Blackout
Lily,
earlier,
papakita daw.
because we did
Don't you
see,
worry, don't you
even in
worry.
the first game, it wasn't their best matchup.
Guys, mga di pa
They just
naka-follow
played
dyan, guys.
recovery
Follow
on
muna
that
kayo.
Blackout
Commercial
map.
break
And
muna.
here,
Follow muna.
back on Isolated, you see a
Mas
little dip in
paripost rin ako
performance
ng
once
live.
again, but they were trying, right? We saw many of those situations where they were finding their shots connecting, they were finding those knocks, but the recovery from
Leading ang
the
4K pa rin
opposite
dito,
squads
bro.
have
Leading pa rin
just
ang
been
4K dito.
phenomenal. And that's what you got to look out for as well. The recovery
Leading pa
gameplay
rin
when
to.
you go up against a team like Four
Na-flex
Kings,
na ni si
or
JM.
even Leap in this
May banner
particular
na
map.
rin, no, man. Let's
How
go.
do you play a little
Ante
bit
mo
of
ngayon, wala
defense?
pa
How
akong
do you
plan ngayon,
get
bro.
away from these engagements? We saw the defender
Pag picture ko
perfection
yung
out
pinakita
of
dito,
the Four Kings
ewan ko
players
na lang.
quite a
Sorry,
number
shout-
of times
shout
already. The
out
smoke
yung
bomber
ano,
has been keeping some of
watch
these guys
party.
safe. It's just those utilities that you have to play to your team's advantage.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you can use your utilities, if you
Let's
can
go, let's
use your
go.
operators,
May
right,
ano na,
your
finals
perfect
na to,
timing. I do
Shin,
agree
finals.
with the defender right here.
BBB Aindra na
Even
to, pre.
from the last
Parang
time
hindi
we
sila magkamali ng
tested, we've
picture.
seen a few of those. Defenders. But this time around,
Ang pinakita
I think
yung mga ano
we're
to,
going back
Joshua
years,
Garcia.
like rewind years
Yeah.
back into the earlier
Oh my.
days, and
Yeah.
now we are seeing
Ano
so
pambato
much
mo
of
dyan?
those
Pambato
usual
ko dito, bro.
operators
Ano,
going
gusto
back.
ko.
But Leap Unbound taking the top of the
Ivy
board.
naman, Ivy
And
naman,
Poison
Ivy.
Ivy still managed to get a lot more of elimination.
Supportahan natin yung mga
Usang,
best
what a
friends.
play, man. 20 eliminations for Poison Ivy. Guys,
Ivy,
Gizzy
Ivy.
this time round.
Mami Jo, andyan ba si Mami Jo?
25
Pakiano
points.
naman
They
si Mami
climb
Jo.
up the leaderboard. Just 5 placement points, but the
Ilang rounds?
eliminations just
6
kept
rounds,
them
pang-apat
super
na tong
spicy
next.
up at the top. But, you know, this is exactly what you need to do if you want to make sure you catch up with Four Kings or potentially even rip away that number
Yes.
one spot from them,
From
right?
10.
And now at the top of the
Eh, ba't
leaderboard,
ganun
we're
yung
definitely going to
placing?
see a
Ba't
little bit of a
36
shift.
points?
But Leap Unbound, this was their recovery game. This was their best showing for the
Hindi,
day.
ang
And I
top 2,
hope
di ba,
this is something
Four
they can
Kings?
continuously show us. GNR Esports
Kasi
legacy this time round,
ang
10
natira,
eliminations,
MJ
2
tsaka
placement
si-
points. I think that's not enough, Neptune,
Sige
but at
eh.
least they're still showing
Diba?
that the aggressive side hasn't gone to sleep just yet.
Tama lang,
Well, let's
tama
see.
lang.
I mean, a lot of teams has been sleeping, especially when we look at the right side of a leaderboard. But switching over to that top of the board, Four Kings still on top,
Sayos pala.
and JNR Esports is slowly catching up. But
Tama,
look
tama, tama.
who managed to pull through. Poison Ivy Gizzy with that a lot of
Guys,
elimination.
isipin
At
nyo,
20
wala
plus
pang
points
wins
is now
ang 4K
reduced to
pero
less than 10.
64 na.
And with that victory, Leap and Bound is also in the running.
Hindi
Yeah,
rin
absolutely,
nag-top
man.
1
And
4K
now
kanina.
I
Top
do
two
have
sila,
a
top
feeling
two.
like this is not going to be the last that we see out of the Leap teams. Obviously, Leap main did very, very well in that lobby. I wanted to see more from them, and they definitely showed us a lot more of what
Yes,
they're
nandito,
capable
Ate
of.
Jess.
But the question is obviously going to be whether or not they can make sure they continuously climb the leaderboard in such a heavy
ganda
lobby
nun.
where you don't
Hirap
have many more
makadami ng
opportunities.
kill for
You've
kalalayan
only
ng
got
kalaban.
3
Actually, nakadami
more
rin sila
games to
kanina eh.
go,
2
and I
rounds.
feel like some heavy point
Promise.
lifting needs to happen out here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're already halfway through the day. Three
Yeah.
of the matches are already
Nangyari
done
sa 4K,
and dusted, and
napaka-dominant
3
ngayon.
more.
Ang ganda ng ano,
ending
ng
of our
chemistry
the
nila kay
entirety of our
Tapos yung gigil ni
day-
Tomas
day-to-day
bumalik.
is quite different because we
Yan, sa
end
Omsi.
in
Yan yung mga
blackout.
OGs.
And looking at the pattern of how the teams are,
Eh, ito, ba't
there's
sumama
just
si-
so much potential for
Wala.
some who can take
Kasi alam mo
advantage,
kasi, focus na
capitalize
dapat
on
sa
that
trabaho si
final
Ste
map
eh.
towards
Yan ang
the
Yes.
even if it get close.
Yep.
I don't want to point
Ganda ng
out the
points
name
na-
anymore because
Ba,
it has
napangailan ba
been
tayo dun?
repetitive already. I want you to show
Pangilan tayo
us.
dyan?
I want the teams to show a different flavor to that later on. I want them to break the pattern because at some point
Tama
those
siya yung
patterns
Paps, nahuli sa
can
rotation
also
for
be their
Kagaya.
downfall because
Ayun,
they
kasi
can't
pag
be
malayo
spotted
drop
because of
point
the rotation as well as
ng-
how they're playing
ano, ng
in
ski
specific
town.
maps.
Madedelay sila.
Absolutely, man.
Pero ang
I feel
kinagandahan
like,
ngayon,
you know,
pinadami yung cash.
you are right. We've
wala
screamed
na rin
out
sumasabay
Four Kings
sa
way too
4K.
many times already. But it's very difficult to
Madami
not
silang
shout out
items
their name
pag
when
ano.
they are so dominant out here on the
trabaho ni Ste.
battlefield.
Hindi ko alam basta
And they've got
may
their
trabaho
whole
si Ste.
kingdom right behind them in support, right? Even if they don't walk away with the championship, I think they've definitely
Arlie,
walked
salamat sa
away
A-Roar.
here
Guys, naman, di pa
many a
nakafollow,
times
guys. Don't forget
as
to
one
follow.
of
Thank
the
you so much.
most popular squads because of the love that they're
Intense
getting
ba, Daji?
from all of their fans all around the world.
Oh.
But this time, Leap jumps into
Alam
the
niyo dati,
conversation. They
ang
have
lagi lumalabas
leapfrogged
yan,
their way
VV,
in here
VV,
on this game number 3 at the
Tas
halfway
VV,
point
VV,
of
tas
our
VV.
day now.
Kami
Well,
magkakalaban.
let's
kaso
see
di pa
now.
namin
We
kaya
have
sa Philippines.
3
Ang last
rounds already done. 3 teams
So
getting
yung
that
tingin ko
victory
mananalo man.
and 3 more to go. Now we're going back to
Kung
blackout
babalik
and let's
yung
see who's going to
gameplay
be
ng
beaten
IB,
black
kung
and
paano
blue
sila
because out of flight
dominant.
path right now, a lot of engagement
IB.
might be starting off.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Pero
it
kung maging
is a
consistent ang
situation
4K,
where the whole
tsaka
map is going to be
dodoble
open
nila
for
yung
the
kills
play
sila,
here
pre,
as the
4K na.
teams
Malalamangan
leap
nila yan.
into battle.
Pero malaki din chance ng GNR, guys. Kasi hindi na
Let's
sanay
see now.
ang
I mean, the league
4K na
is a little too hard right
kasabayan
now,
nila sa
especially
points
if we
ang
have
GNR.
a lot that might be waiting. But
So, pwede
looking
silang
at where
gulatin.
they are heading, that dam would definitely be taken by a lot, especially a state.
Sa blackout
Because
naman,
this is
walang
the area
madedelay
where
dyan kasi
most of those
malayo ang ano dyan.
most of those
Mataas ang
snowboards
paglipad
will
dyan.
be available. But
Kagome,
construction
salamat sa
site
bits, bro.
has been one
Thank
of
you.
us that had that one of the spot we're in ranked games. This is where
Ito, mapa
they
ng ano
go
to, man.
in
Mapa ng
for
IB to. Let's
those
go. Let's go.
early engagement. But I'm quite surprised when it comes to competitive scene. No one wants to risk it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's see if or not
Kayo yung live, Garena mismo.
the risky play here of
Ay, may kalaban.
squads like Leap
MLK.
Main as well as HRA
CH,
Omura
PG,
will pay
TMW.
off. It's a hot drop.
Di ba itong TMW,
And it
global
looks
ano to?
like
Global
Leap might be able to pull away some big points here. MLK in a similar situation. Carl finds why not. And things have gotten a tad bit more
Oh,
heated here
wala
for
sumasabay
KM2 out
ngayon.
there on the battlefield as well.
Well, see, I'm seeing GN just walk just below of one player's off
Siya
KM2.
leading 4K, bro.
Now, I think they heard the footsteps. But the speed, the quickness. Will LJ be able to get away down in the open through the door? Carl points and shoots, but that pillar saves him. Even the corner. What a hide and seek player LJ is. But what can you do with
Ganda ng
more
skin na
players
to,
of
no, guys?
MLK trying to chase you down?
Parang mas maganda na si
Yeah,
Artery ngayon
absolutely,
kaysa
man.
kay...
And if they continue to do this, they're going to be able
Kay
to find
Vivian,
some big
no?
numbers. Lina unable to walk away from that one, and Carl on the chase. More loot. Sliding in to make sure his
Kumbaga, ano na
team
to
member
eh.
does not get everything from the crate.
Forever beauty na to eh.
Sharon like, as you say.
Disband na rin MLK pagka.
Let's see
Bakit
now.
mag-disband?
We have a few players from TMW. Again, TMW Assassins. Though they're not really getting
Sino
that
leading?
much
4K, bro.
assassination happening, but they're slowly moving up into leaderboard. And it's more of balance of both. They do have
Wala,
a
hindi
few of those
naka-download. Hindi
elimination.
naka-download.
I think they're following
Naka-type
leaps
19
and
eh,
bounds
no?
as well. So, the
Lipat
passive
bagong
approach
plan
coming
mga.
from
Pero
them,
same
just
ano sila,
like
same
going
players.
and choosing your battles right there is also
Leading
a
is
good
4K,
play.
bro.
But as we
Yeah.
called it, halfway through, time's running out. I think it's time for them to be aggressive, and TMW might be able to do so. But a gun nade onto scene. I see M12 right now might
na.
be taken out.
I see you out there, and
Wala
it
pala.
looks like I'm going to take
Disband
you
na
out the
ata
moment
ay
I
eh.
see you.
Ate
Beautiful
Jazz.
stuff so far. And it looks like they just need
Oh, buti
to
nga
amp
maayos
up
eh.
the pressure
Ban-medic,
a tad bit
ban-medic,
more
tsaka
because
hacker.
TMW Assassin main, they are not too far away from
Wala,
jumping into the
isa
top
kasi
3,
empanada,
but
no,
they
Ate Jazz?
will need to really
Uy.
bring out the numbers here
Baka-
if they
Ay
want
pala
to
si
make
Aspect,
it in there.
niloloko niyo ako guys eh.
And
Sino hindi naglaro?
25 points
Si
obviously
JM
is going to
nawala.
be decent for them on the
Naglaro ba si
catch-up here
JM
off of
kanina?
this next match if we can see a little bit of an extra
Naglaro ba si JM
performance.
kanina?
Ace sprayed out. Beautiful plays here. As Aspect will get quite a number of tags
sinab.
onto him. And it looks like Gladzilla will not be able to get to his opponent in time. I believe there was a little bit of a switcheroo there. Conan, on the other hand, for the
That's
side of
Glad- that's Glad
TMW,
yung inalis eh,
just
no?
clear of a lot of the initial parts
Sinara
of
ba
the
yun?
game
Hindi-
where
hindi
these
nakapasok si Neron.
rest of the
Bago lang
squad
si
have
Neron, hindi
gotten
siya pwede
into
makalaro dyan.
many scuffles that I don't think
Kailangan
they're
kasi
intending to get
magpasa
into.
ng ano dyan
Yeah,
eh.
I mean, it's getting tough right now
Resume.
to get away, especially with the shift to the circle right here. So a
WJM,
few teams have taken the northern part of
nagparaya,
the drop.
di ba?
Like some will have all those openings right now for the taking, but for M12, it's the timing that they have. And
Baka kailangan magpasa ng
I would say
resume
the
dyan, Ate
tenacity,
Jazz.
the movement coming from TMW. They were in the battle at this point, not really in a great advantage in terms of height, but they are being made
Round
work
four, yes, bro.
finally after a few minutes, a couple of minutes
Baka
of
ano,
them
guys,
on the
di pa nakapollow,
standoff.
follow na
Now
kayo.
let's see if who's will be turning into a ghost, and it goes down. What the Izzy?
Oh.
What a movement with a slide and shoot, and M12 definitely deserving that 5.
Yeah, IC definitely doing great in that particular equation. And now, here comes
Ano pa,
a little
dalawang
bit
rounds pa
of
kasi total
a
of 6 rounds.
awakened version of M12 Sin Main. We've been waiting for them to climb the leaderboard for quite a while
Laban,
already. Currently in the
drag
12th
nila,
spot
ayoko
with just
mapabot
11
ka.
points. But this is a very different version of the squad. Picking up 5
Yun na,
eliminations
sinawsawan na.
very early on in the game. I'm sure they want more. But here comes
Awit
Leap
kay
to play the
Slash.
denial. This time, Leap unbound
Awit.
after winning the previous lobby.
Awit
Looking for
kay
some big
Slash,
points yet again. Slash got
guys.
slashed down in that particular equation. But I think they want more out of this fight.
Well, let's see. We have SC right now.
Grabe,
who
ah,
have
naka-double
their
ka, ah.
position,
Kwitan mo
who
ako.
have them in check, but a little bit of utility, a little bit of nade being thrown onto MJ, and he managed to pull away. Now, will he be able to get in onto the next fight? Hasbu managed to take down a Gion. Now, for M12 and the battle of MLK
Mag-iba. Sabi nila,
together
nag-iba daw
with
eh. Sana
Leap
nag-drop ang
Unbound.
ano? Isang ba na
Three-way
itong round na
fight. There's still no chance of us knowing who's going to
Nice one,
win.
Slash.
No, absolutely
one,
not, man.
Slash.
MLK,
Tumawi.
though, in a situation
nako, dyan yung
where
IB.
White just could not get out of position, and Slash will slash him down in that situation for
si
sure.
Bernard,
Easy pickings.
Lip ka.
And Licked
Tandaan mo,
Ivy
ikaw
out
isang
as
lip.
well. Maybe the players on the side
wait.
of ADMT will not be able to survive this one. If they get lucky, they might be able to. IC still continuously picking up tons of points here for the squad.
Let's see. I mean, I'm really looking forward to how well Leap is getting
Bukas na ba
this
Leap, Ming?
momentum right now. Because from what we've
Ah,
seen
wait,
in
Glad,
those
kailangan
around
ka na,
them,
Glad.
especially as he calls
Glad,
out
kailangan
Izzy
ka na, Glad.
and the rest of M12.
Yun nga lang, hindi
This
sa
might
line
be a
up.
chance
Kailangan
for
mo, I mean,
them to
ma-line
go
up.
in for those annihilation, but Poison Ivy heard those gunshots. They smell blood, and now they're
Ah,
bringing
wait.
the bloodbath. And it's not only M12 that is a target. Even Leap
Ayan.
and Bound
Ito
is
ang
being
gameplay talaga ng IB,
denied.
guys.
And this is a good chance for them
Ito
to
ang
really
gameplay ng
move
IB.
up and
Wala
catch
silang
up on
kakatakutan
who's
kasi
above
sinong
them
team
on the
pa yan.
leaderboard.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oo nga, kailangan
And
na nga si Glad.
Here
Masab.
comes Poison Ivy, Gizzy as well, trying to make everyone dizzy with the moves off of the
Ito yung
ninja,
IB kilala
looking
natin,
for
pre.
the climb onto the leaderboard. Currently in the third spot, they already have their hands on the prize
Hindi
pool
pa,
potentially
hindi
if
pa
they can
tayo
maintain their form from the day. But obviously
buhay
they
pa
want the
yung
number
Leap,
one
guys.
spot for
Buhay pa.
themselves, fighting against GNR Esports Legacy as well as the one and only Four Kings.
Let's see. Four Kings.
Oh, si
There's
Don,
a
si
chance
Papi
for them
Don.
to really move up. Again, get a lot of elimination. Similar to what we've seen in game number 2, where they
Pero
have
bawal sila, guys, sa blackout,
25.
bawal kayo
But
tumagal sa,
from
sa
what we're
zone.
seeing, it's a slow
Para wala
pace
kayong
on
medic.
blackout
So, mas
right
masakit
now. Despite
ang
of the
zone sa
shift the
blackout.
circle, despite of some of the teams who doesn't have much of those utilities and vehicles to work with, well, they are.
Need na
This is a
magre-roster
slow game.
ng
Even
Leap
a
Ming.
three-way battle
Actually,
that we've
ang tagal
seen
na nila
in
nagre-roster,
this area,
bro.
where Poison Ivy just capitalized on M12 as well as some of the players. If I'm
na
saying
mag-change name ng Unbound to Main.
is still no one being taken, or
Yeah.
little teams being taken down. But as I say this, we have ZH right now being hunted. And the first time we're seeing ZH on a battle, and hopefully they fight back.
Yeah, Dre. Sorry, I mean Myrtle going in for the hunt. Oh, sorry. That was just a cosplay. Myrtle's not playing in the game. Very cheeky from our observers. Sekre, Gizzy, on the other hand, looking
Ginagamit na ni
for
Sek yung
more
height
numbers
niya.
here. Ivy
Ginagamit na
just
ni
making
Sek
sure they
yung
put themselves
a height
onto
advantage by
those high
Sekre.
grounds and they lock down the situation because they know there might be some team members coming back in here for those dog tags of those players they just spent out there on the battlefield. Now, this is another team. Team, okay, fine, why not? I really wanted them to perform a little bit more in the day so that I can scream out their names a tad bit more, but all they're doing is closing some doors.
Well, yeah, they're just okay with that, so why not? Why not? I mean, just okay. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Boy,
we've
go,
been
guys,
talking about
nakalimutan
this
yung
for
mag-follow,
years of
baka
casting.
makalimutan yung
Limited
mag-follow.
name is something
Don't
that we
forget.
see often. And if you're
Oh,
going
yeah.
for,
Don't
it's
forget
a
to
fun
ring the
day,
bell.
but too fun. Too fun, too funny, and it's not giving that fire
binantayan.
compared to some of the
Gusto
teams
ba
right here. Speaking of
lip-ming?
fire,
Ay, lip-ano?
battle
But hey,
is, yes.
Segue na naman, sorry.
too funny,
sorry.
but why not?
Kalimutan ko. Ayun, Finoform mo.
But one.
Finoform yung ZH,
Okay,
bro.
fine. I think they'll change their name next time. Sekre will be able to pull one away for the side of Team Ivy.
bitin yung,
Gizzy,
support
they
yung
want more. They want
ninja
more
ni
lobby
Sek.
victories here for themselves. Virus flexing his skin. We're gonna officially dub this skin the Myrtle skin
nandiyan pa 4K.
since she cosplayed it.
Lip Unbound.
Any
di ko
skin
sure
that
eh.
Myrtle cosplays becomes her skin.
Well, yeah, definitely. That will be named after her from now on forward, especially with all the viewers out there. So hopefully Myrtle also jumps in there and
Thank you, Zia.
acknowledge that. But
Ayun, nababasa
as we
ko
look
kagad eh.
at this
Walang bitaw lip,
acknowledgement
may
of where
nangyari.
the next phase of
Actually,
circle would
matagal
be, a
na
lot of trouble
nahihirapan
would
yung
be
lip wing.
afoot
Wala
because
pa ata silang tour na
of those
nakikita ko
areas
sila
with the water
nagtatap.
that they have to
Three,
cross. River Towers
tatlo.
was
Yeah.
those that have a lot of hiding
Meron
spot,
ata isa.
but doesn't have that elevation.
Yung
And I think
puro
it's that
sila
hill
dikit-dikit
right
na
next,
points.
right next to River
Pero
Town
wala
across
sila
the
sa
river
consistency,
that
bro.
can be taken by those who are deadly on this
Kahapon,
map. So
kahapon nagtap siya,
hopefully
pero
they have
parang
their
yun na yung
eyes
pinaka-ano
on that.
nila eh.
Otherwise, they might be taken down.
Absolutely, man. And Luki, what a play here on the side of GNR. Getting the shutdown and quick repositions to look for more. Claps found as well, and Luki claps two players back to back.
Parang
And
bumabalik
he's
yung
definitely
laro
on
ni
a
Loki
roll
Boy,
now.
no?
5 eliminations for the squad. And little by little, GNR Esports Legacy waking up in this lobby as well. Looking to
Hindi na
make
ba
sure
tayo?
they catch
Parang-
up with
parang
Four
di na nga,
Kings
eh,
by
Ban, eh,
the
parang
end of it.
natatakot na sila
Speaking of
masaban.
which, Where are Four Kings? We haven't seen any numbers from them just yet.
Yeah, last time we saw them, it's just what, 1 or 3 elimination.
Parang bumabalik na
I
yung laro ni
don't
Loki eh.
know. Whoever is
Parang
taking
bumabalik
lead
na
There you
yung laro
at
go.
this
ni Loki.
point, 1
Fight
elimination.
champion na to. Ay,
And
champion.
they're
Finals na
just
to.
on their own. They are.
Si Aspect
Yeah.
naglalaro na
As
wala
the
si
song
JM.
goes,
Wala si
where are you
JM.
going to the moon? That is what they're doing right now. Vroom, vroom, skirt, skirt.
So, nung naglaro sila finals,
They're playing bumper car, man.
may hati sila. Hindi
Let's see
naglaro
if
si
they can
Glad.
find a
Replacing
SMR
points
has hit
meron,
from
bro.
within the car. Dude, that'll be a legendary move. Can they pull it off? Come on, Super Jeff. Show us
Ayun na.
some magic here
Ayun na.
with the ninja. Quickly
Ayun na.
repositioning.
Uy,
Yeah!
sayang.
Up close and personal. Burns down his opponent. Kyle stood no situation where he was going to walk away with the victory in that gunfight. And now they're looking for more. Sakura on the
Samantalang,
opposite
Ivy natin
side will be able to hit
kumubos.
down a player.
Kumubos.
Get now with the backstab. Take Sacred
Kidding.
out of the equation. And it looks like Four Kings might be
4K,
able to
4K,
shut down one of their bigger opponents earlier on in this lobby.
Oh, and look at get in there with the Tempest.
Pwede
Just
ata
niggling
iPad, bro.
them and freezing them on that spot. Great shot being done. Great movement being done.
Grabe yun.
But Four Kings right now. So from 1 to 4 real quick. And they annihilated
Grabe yun.
one squad overall. So we're down to 9 teams already. A few more being
Grabe,
targeted
sige,
across
parang di
this
champion ng
river.
AT&T
But I
nung
don't think
isang
the vehicle
araw,
would work
Pinorke
at
lang
this
ni Ge.
point for the Four
Yeah.
Kings. They might get close, but not across because there's only a
Uy,
funnel that
13
might
kills sa
happen
mga
and take
kabayan
them down.
natin, guys.
Absolutely.
Kabayan.
Now, Smooth is
Alam
laid out
nila,
here just to
Pilipino
protect their
eh, no?
vehicle. They know they'll need it for
Ayun,
a little
nauluhan
bit
si
of reposition
Sekre.
later on. Luki
Dali yung
shutting
ano.
down Sekre.
Aroy!
Gizzy from afar.
Saw,
Virus
saw.
getting taken out of the
Oh,
equation
guy.
as well. This does not
ginamit
look
yung height,
good
ginamit yung
for
height.
the team of
Ayun ang
Poison
maganda kapag
Ivy.
maliit eh.
Gizzy,
Oh,
who've
diba?
already gotten one lobby. Oh, what a
Kung si
play
Stellar
there
hindi,
with the
kasya si
ninja.
Stellar dun.
And quickly jumping through that window on the drop from the roof. So reposition
Uy, na-
supremacy
ayun
from
lang.
these pros, but the question is,
Hindi
can they
narinig
survive with
ni
2 players taken out of the
Sekre.
equation already? Virus is on the way back in though after the dog
Ay,
tag scan,
nice.
but they also need to
Nasasawan.
bring Sekre back in. But they've got a little bit of company here before they can get to that. Perhaps
Nasasawan,
GNR
man.
Esports Legacy will
Let's
snuff
go.
them out.
Pag ganito,
See,
nababaliktad
Dom,
to pag
Legacy has been
nasasawsawan.
aggressive, especially in this kind of compound
Uy, grabe naman
gameplay.
si Thurs.
But we'll have to see though, because a little
Pinaramdam
bit
ni
of
Thurs
recovery is
na
needed by
uhaw na siya,
Keeks. I
man.
think he has been shot down on the flank by Poison Ivy as well. But
Kung ako
even
yun,
if
hindi
they
ko rin
know
siguro
exactly
rinig
where
yun.
it's coming from, if they cannot get good position because of the opening area of
Kung ako, hindi ko
surrounding
rinig
that
yun, bro.
compound, then it's just time for them to leave.
Agay,
Even the sniper
umalis.
might not take them down, but a spam on those shots
Sabi
might
niya,
help
alam
them.
ko na to.
GNR, licked.
Alam ko na
Not
to,
quite sure
pag
what's
ganito na
happening.
down man ng
He's
tayo,
doing
tas
a
may
moonwalk
ADM,
right
tas
now,
merong
but
ano,
that
alam
is
na to.
away from the rest of the squad. Sachi and Thirst is the only
Sa
two
Porky Deep,
remaining at
aray
this
mo,
point.
ayan na,
Sachi
sinasabi
couldn't
ko,
even
nakita
move
si
because
Virus.
Four Kings is on the high ground.
Yeah, Virus taken out already. Super Jeff just lighting up
Sabog
his
to, pre.
vehicle,
Sabog
and
to,
now
pre. Ay,
GNR
kulot
players
naman
are
nun.
in a lot of trouble. Trying to blow up the vehicle, but he's not going to get enough shots in time as they quickly drive away from the heat of that battle. 6 eliminations already. 4 Kings. This is their lobby. This is their
Sakto
map.
tutok niya, no?
They're already at the top of the leaderboard. Can they hold on to the lead here in a phenomenal fashion and perhaps guarantee the #1 spot for themselves by the end of game number 4 as they continue to
Esperanza
rake
talaga
up
si
these
Kuya Nero.
points because they look like they're just
Ilang
getting
round?
started, Neb.
Yeah, I mean, definitely,
Ilang
it
round
does
pa?
not
Anim na
look
round
like the
total.
same blackout map they're playing right now. Because earlier they were aggressive. They're just hunting. But they took half of the time that they have until this moment to get those eliminations. So, not quite sure what the plan is. But hopefully those
Pwede ata
chilling like a
Tempest.
villain moments would help them
Ang bawal
to
lang hacker.
calm down and get a better position. If not, get better communication at this point.
Medic.
Get away from whatever has
Prize
happened
pool,
and
$4K.
isolated. And they can deal with AAA Alpha. Rin almost being taken down with a God Nade. And here comes the jump. Going solo though.
Ito yung
Let's see if
sinasabi ko,
Tom
guys.
Pigs
Ito
will be
maganda kay
able to
Tomas
pull
ngayon.
it off on
Nandiyan
the
na yung
flank.
gigil niya. Nandiyan yung kumpiyansa niya sa sarili,
Absolutely
men.
looking strong here for the players on the
Pag
side of
yan
4
laro
Kings.
ni
Top
Tomas,
beats.
alam mong ano eh.
High ground advantage.
Alam mo.
Get gets knocked down. Get taken out of the equation
Alam
too
mo,
early here.
yari na eh, di ba?
How are they going to do without their super kid down in the final circle?
Don't you worry.
Super Jeff in a
Don't
lot of
you
trouble
worry.
here. Clusters all around him. Nerosa bleeding out. The save
Teka,
could be
saan po
pulled on
wala
through
nang ano?
here, but making sure
Wala
that does
nang-
not happen is the players
Grabe
of
si
GNR.
Thurs!
Top beams
Woo!
down as well. Super Jeff, the final one. And
Yun lang,
GNR
Gagi, wala na
personally
palang
taking out the
dog
players of
tag.
Four Kings to make sure they can get
Doon
to
sila
that number one
nalugi,
spot.
bro.
Well, Four Kings took a while before dealing with AAA. The moment they hear those shots, GNR just step in and one take over. Now, with Rosa going solo right now, or Super Jeff rather, going solo right now, the Rosa, Tom Peeps, and Get is already out. Will he be able
Wala
to
na pala,
squeeze
sakto
himself
pagkapatay
in
ni,
and
ano?
probably
Ay, mamaya ka
go
ng
in
jeep.
with circle? But no trigger discipline as well. Then now he might
Okay lang,
be
okay lang,
in
okay
the
lang.
sights of GNR.
Absolutely.
Hindi naman
How
siguro
will
siya
Super
pupush
Jeff
yun,
get out of this sticky situation? The team has not pulled away enough eliminations on their map. Just 6 eliminations on
Wala,
their side
nakita
so
kasi siya,
far.
ano eh.
So by hook or by
Alam na
crook,
nandyan
Super Jeff
siya.
needs to play
Bumaril si
a
Jeff, eh.
super defense now and look for as many placement points as possible for himself and the
Grabe si Thurs,
squad.
guys, ha? Grabe si Thurs,
I mean,
ha?
who's down?
Kaya na pa siya kumakain
GNR
yun. Nabate.
still looking for those big
Huwag niyo kasi
numbers. Super
batiin,
Jeff
pre. Huwag niyo
spots out a player.
pansinin.
But he'll have to quickly reposition on the high ground. He'll have Mother Nature to back him up as well. A tree for the defense. And of course, as the defender of the squad who has been
Huwag
playing the
batiin,
defender
guys.
to such perfection so far, I expect more points from him by the end of this lobby. I'm sure he can sneak a couple away for himself.
Iya, pag
See,
binabansin,
I mean, the timing of those defenders, especially in SMR's moments or named moments, was just pristine. But Super Jeff, there goes an SMRS against the opponents. And AAA right now, Showman, defender, perfect timing. Not to get shot by Rinka, but Rinka will be taken out, eliminated. And Showman will be going down because of the blue. And now that's 3 elimination being taken by the one and only Super Jeff.
Absolutely brilliant. But Super Jeff now, does he have the capability? He does have the self-revive. Maybe he can get right back up here. Trying to crawl to a
Naka-medic ka
safer
na ba siya?
spot.
Clean.
But all alone, what can he do? Come on, Super Jeff. In the bushes, like a wild animal. And he
Ah, si
brings
Rinka.
himself
Ay,
back
Rinka.
into the game. And Four
Ay,
Kings,
Rinka.
oh no,
Di
the
naabot, di siya
circle
nakaana.
does him dirty. And the Four Kings out a tad bit too early to maintain that number 1 spot. GNR Esports Legacy looking for that spot to replace them by the end of this
Magkababa
round.
dyan ba
Oh
yan?
yeah, I mean,
Delikado yan,
before they
boy.
started this game, it's 9 points between them, and there's a huge
Ay,
chance that
rewind pala eh.
GNR might
Rewind mo,
have done that
rewind.
already because we're not seeing a lot of
Nice.
numbers earlier from Four Kings, but ADMT, we are now getting more of that
Tatlo pa,
action
no, diba?
in them. But the trouble for ADMT is they're in the middle of Poison Ivy and GNR, and there's, like if you want to position yourself between the team, these are not the two teams that you want to
Kulona.
be pinch hit.
Busy once again looking for the number 1 spot. Already 51 points. They picked past 3
Maglalog,
games,
maglalog.
and now they're looking to contend for the number 1 spot up against GNR Esports Legacy. Both of them very close to the players on the side of Four
Oo,
Kings.
labanan ng ano
And
to,
what's
ninja to
surprising
guys,
is
pag ganitong ano,
with the
bahay-bahay,
breakdown
ninja
of
to, bro.
Rigid TS teams that are trailing Four
Pakalingan
Kings
na
right
lang to,
now
Stellar
are
or
all
Luki,
the
sino mas
players
matangkad,
from the
sino
side
mas
of Rigid
botchog?
TSG
Let's
who have
go.
split up into the other squads, Neptune.
Well, that's the
Down
thing. I
sila
mean,
eh.
if you
Ngayon,
break
alam
it
nila
down,
kung
you
nasa
still
si
have strong
Luki.
players, so it only shows how well they are. But Poison
Matindi
Ivy,
ata si Dre.
well, Trey right now goes in for a takedown. One of the players, final players of OK. Now, will he be okay
Ayun!
to just
Ayun lang, mas botchog si
try and
Luki, boy.
snake his way through this
Mas
fight because
botchog si
he's going
Luki.
solo right now on the 3-team battle. And Luki, I don't know if Ray has already spotted him. Probably just waiting for him. Footsteps has been heard, but not so much of angle to take, especially if you want to take that shot.
Sekre and Lay from
Tago, Dre.
Rigid TSG currently in Poison Ivy Gizzy.
Ah!
Stella in GNR Esports Legacy, Slash and Leap Unbound. And all those 3 teams are looking to catch up.
Parang
But Dre all alone now.
Tulungan mo,
What can he
Luki.
do?
Ayun.
Being inside
Sabi ko,
a
tulungan mo,
ball,
Luki.
he
Anong
gets
ginawa
annihilated
mo?
by Luki, who spots out his tail. So, unfortunate in the situation. The skin just does not give him any bit of extra advantage.
Para makaklash
Waving at
ba
the
to ni
opponent
Loki?
saying, hey, it's me.
Baka lang siya ata ito ni Loki.
Exactly. Well, let's see now. It's a 1v3 situation. Though Luki has managed to get that one elimination still away, but Adamantium Esports Pyrite right now, the man advantage would be a matter of
Hindi
time
makakot si Loki to.
before they will be
Huwag kasi kayo
forced
lumabas,
to
pre!
take on
Lugi kayo
Lugi,
dyan!
especially on that
Antayin niyo yung
top.
zone!
But Lugi's not
Ayan.
making it easy for them. When the zone's closing in, this will be it. And
Antayin yung zone,
another
Lugi.
team
Diba?
will be taking that victory in the fourth
Gusto
game
pa rin ang
of the
tutukan,
day.
pre, gagi.
What a play! Adamantium Esports Pyrite this time rising to the occasion, pulling away the number 1 spot
Ata
for
sila ba talaga
themselves.
to?
Tons of placement points available for them. But how high up the
Hindi ko na alam
leaderboard
eh.
do they
Hindi
get
ko
to
na alam
climb? This is the first match where we
Okay,
see
sila
a little
yan.
bit of
Sila yan.
a better performance from the squad. But the attention is still going to be on the teams that were already on the top 3. GNR, as usual,
wait na.
performing
Isa,
with
boy.
consistency. Very impressive this time in game number 4.
Pwede ba yun?
Yeah, you
Pwede
did
ba yun?
mention that a
Nakakap?
lot of players from the champions, previous champions of Season 1 has been split up, part of those, and this is what they played
wala naman
out.
kasi ibang
If you have that
team.
knowledge, especially on the rotation
Meron
as
baliw
well,
sila
what to take,
Leech.
even on a solo mission, then that would be crucial in this kind of fight. So, well, congratulations to Adamantium Esports Pyrite as they grab that victory, and we're looking forward to how high it will
Lamang
bring
na
them
atang
into
Ivy, guys.
leaderboard. It might be the same as what
Lamang
happened to
na ata
Elite
Ivy
Unbound
na.
because they are in the middle.
Please,
not
pakitawag
even
si Madam
close
Jo.
to
Madam Jo, kung
both,
nasaan ka man, Madam
GNR and 4Kings, and then later
Yeah.
on, after getting that victory, they just move up quickly.
Absolutely, man. Adamantium Esports Pyrite NA. They've got a long name. But they have also got a long journey to the top because they were in the 13th spot the last time we checked them out with only 10 points in hand. So this was a crucial victory that they needed because remember, before this game started, we were at our halfway point, which means teams still had 3 games to go. And Adamantium Pyrite made the best of their final 3 opportunities, making sure they got to that final circle and they pulled away the number 1 spot here for themselves as well. Now their big question is going to be, can they keep up this momentum on their side? Because 4 games in, 4 different winners we've got, and that's exactly what we want to see from the grand finals. Not flat out domination from any one team, and that's just going to keep the competition exciting all the way down to the end net.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, there's a lot that has been happening. Flip of the table, and even final moment we're in. The previous winners is not given an opportunity. And imagine that. Like, there's a few teams that we are, a few teams in the
Si Ate
top.
Bai lagi
that we're
nawawala
seeing
pagkatapos
that
yung round. What's the commotion
now,
all about?
I couldn't say
Awit
it's
kay Ate
easy,
Bai.
but they are
Hindi
being
na ikaw yung
taken
best
down a
moderator
little
ko,
bit
Ate Bai.
early
Nawawala ka
in
lagi.
these fights, not really taking that final circle.
Parang
And that
4K
would
to.
take
Ang
a
malakas
hit.
kasi sa
That would
4K guys, yung
take
ano,
a
comeback
toll
mentality
when
nila.
it comes to the overall standings.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, at the end of the day, when you look at a
Nagubad si Jeff,
lobby like this,
Kita
you
nyo?
have to play it very
Bago siya
careful.
namatay, hinubad
And that's
niya yung
exactly
ano eh.
what Adamantium Pyrite
Hinubad niya eh.
has been doing from the start of the day. They've been playing it very careful. They've been, you know, on a very slow approach to a lot of these battles. And
Let's
after
go,
game 3,
let's
I think they
go.
made up their mind saying that, look, maybe the slow approach is not working out for us. Maybe we need to get a little bit more aggressive. Maybe we
Guys,
need to start
Lara.
looking for these elimination points. And that was the best decision that they've made here so far. Of course, again, goes back to the question,
Yeah,
can they
nakikita
keep
mo.
up this momentum on their side, make it into a
Kumbaga,
back-to-back
fingers
victory for
gives
themselves?
no?
Can they work off of this adrenaline to
Sabi
pull
mo kay
away
Lugi,
more of these
tulungan niya.
eliminations?
Kasi
Because
tatlo pa
God knows
ADMT.
they need a lot of
Tulungan
those.
niya si
Yeah,
Dre.
exactly. I mean,
Yun
there's a
na
lot
si
of
Dre.
catching up to do right now. There's a lot of teams who are taking the top of the board, and I'm really excited to see how well
Kaya pa niyang
teams
pitasan
did
ni Dre
manage
yung
to
dalawa
pull
dun
it
eh,
off
tas
this
patayin
time.
niya
There's
si
only
Dre,
a
di ba?
few who really made that statement.
Whoa.
But despite of that victory by Adamantium Pyrite, it's still Poison Ivy
Consistent ang
Gizzy
legacy,
who's
guys,
making us all dizzy because of the number of elimination they're bringing in and the position that they're always
Unbound
taking
natin, tsaka
always
main.
ends up with what 3 to 5 elimination in
Yeah.
a three-team squabble.
Look, this was a survival play for Adamantium Esports Pyrite. It was not a all-out, let's go aggressive sort of a thing. They understand that that is where they are weak at. They focus on their placement points, and that has gotten them to the top of the leaderboard in that match
Pero
ranking.
dikit-dikit,
But in the
ano nga gusto
overall
kong
grand scheme of
panood,
things,
man?
they have taken a leap from the
Dikit-dikit
13th
lang,
spot now to
bro.
the 8th spot. But 4Kings still
Parang human
maintaining the
centipede
number 1
lang,
spot.
man.
What
Human
in the
centipede lang,
holy
man. Let's
hell,
go.
4Kings? This is crazy. And you can definitely thank Super Jeff for that
Oh, yeah.
extra extra bit of survival play that he did, just making sure they've got the advantage.
Gusto ko,
Poison
man,
Ivy,
human
guys, he's right
centipede
behind.
lang,
GNR
bro.
Esports Legacy, the battle between them is definitely looking to be a tad bit more heated now, with Leap Unbound catching up as well with that match victory earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited on how that's turning up right now because, like, JNR Esports
Mamaya,
as well as
mamaya,
Poison
pasok na
Ivy.
tayo.
I'm not including
Palitan
4 Kings
natin
because they
ng
didn't put it out
Ivy.
that much. They even Poison Ivy
Maganda na naman
managed to
palabas
catch
naman.
up to them. But
Yun nga lang, pag
this time,
natamba
the
ka ng
top
4K
3
ng
is
last
pulling
ng
away
ano,
from the rest of the squad.
next
Even
round,
Leap
wala na.
Unbound is far away. Probably a better run might be able to
Alam niyo
take
bakit?
them to
Pag
the
lumamang
top
ang
3.
4K,
But
guys,
after that game,
sobrang galing
we're
nilang
going to go
placing.
for a quick break.
Sobrang
When we
galing
return,
nilang-
more
Di mo na
of this
magparamdam.
the Gladiators will happen. So don't go away.
ilang
We'll
round?
be
6
right back.
total. Bihirang-bihirang ma-early ang ano guys eh. Ang 4K, yun na napapansin ko eh. Kanina kung di lang namatay si Gedo, namatay kagad si Ge eh, tas wala na palang dog tag. Sayang. Kano price? $4,000. Dalawang rounds na lang natitira guys, dalawang round. Eh then, 4K ang leteng main. 4K men. Aggressive talaga si Tom. Actually, mas maganda nga kay Tom yung aggressive. Nandun yung momentum, nandun yung best lineup. Enigma. DY. Ninja ko sa depende. Ako na naman! Lagi ako nasa lineup. At ako na naman. Kahit sino man ang nasa Team PH. Let's go. Dito na magkakaalaman guys sa round 5. Bawi na lang lip sa stream. Grabe naman kayo sa lip. But suspended gift. Kasi nag-watch party tayo. Ayaw nung TikTok yun. Apil natin. Ano, last 2 rounds. Kay TikTok ayaw mo. Ikaw ang paldo, Daddy Caldero. Okay, guys, baka nakakalimutan yung mag-follow tsaka mag-repost. Okay? Sabi mag-follow lang kayo para kung gusto yung round 7, pwede ko sabihan si Garena. Naka-partner tayo kay Garena ngayon. Anong balita? Money Loons? Wala, ulit lahat ng rounds. Kasi nagkamali nung ano. Malag nung mga tour na. Mga live. Ba't kila Dada Ims? Pwede mag-gift. Hindi, lumabas na sa TikTok yung akin. Sa ano, watch party, Mami Loons. Ganyan ako pag nag-watch party, ayoko nung pinasabi ko kay TikTok. Pag nag-watch party ako TikTok, i-restrict mo yung gift para walang gatas. Kasi gusto ko lang talagang sumuporta sa mga ano, Pilipino. Walang halong gatas, tapat lang ako sa suporta. Kaya gusto ko. Makita ko lang masaya sila, masaya. Parang pag-wit na. Parang pag-wit. W. Yun na naman yung gusto ko na. Diba? Gusto ko lang mapakita sa inyo na nanonood tayo, diba? Walang talk sa comment. Yun na yung gusto ko, man. Mga gatas-gatas yan, bibitawan ko lahat yan. Let's go, ID na Ate Shai. Gusto ko lang masaya. Ba't ganyan yung ads? Hindi naman yung nakalabas ngayong baril. Kanaano ko mga GC, mga dati yung ka-team Z. G Asaso follow. Milky Man is here? No. Ayaw ko na. Takal naman mag-start. 10-15 seconds pa. Uy, ayun na. Nag-sit na si Anubis. Gumagana na. Hindi na ako restricted. Mga bata ko, no? Round na. Pang 5th na to, May. 5th round. Get ready for the next battle. Bilin ko kaya ni Daddy ano to time zone. Ano niya yan? Tawag doon? Cosplay.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the Community Gladiators. You guys know what it all is about. It's the Ascension. It is a tournament set up to see exactly who can climb to the top. And the four kings, surprisingly, have proven that they can climb to the top without even winning a single lobby. How about that? Everybody else hustling behind them have already managed to get to the very end on each and every single one of the four lobbies that we have played in here so far. 2 more games to go. My name is AJ. I'm the Mustache down here with my brother Neptune, the gentleman Garcia. We are your casters for the day. And my goodness me, what an exciting day it has been so far.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, from some of the teams right here, catching up is much easier, especially for those who are trailing behind 4 kings. And that's one thing, though. If you're not really getting that victory, they manage to pull it off after what, 4 rounds? But if you're not getting that victory, if you're not really surviving towards the end, then it will not bring you higher unless you pull off what they did in round number 2, wherein they got 25 elimination. But after that, it didn't happen again for the 4 kings.
Yeah, so this is just playoffs day 2. This is the Battle Royale Grand Finals. Tomorrow and the day after, we also have got games lined up for you guys. So make sure you are there to check it out as well. We have got our BR solos as well as our MP squads remaining for the championship. And for the BR squads, this is how we broke things down, right? 121 squads for the qualifiers, and we had to kick out 101 teams. On the group stage, we had a total of 20 squads, and we took the top 8 from each of the groups that we broke them down into, giving you guys the final 16 teams. And what they're playing for, not just CP, not COD points this time, they're playing for some good, whole hard cash on the table. For BR squads alone, we have got a total of 4,000 USD for the taken.
Yeah, really. I mean, there's a few teams out here who might have secured that already based on the scores that they have, but we've seen how well some of the teams are catching up. And catching up is what they really need to do fast because, as you called it, we only have 2 matches, 2 rounds remaining out here. And if they sleep, if they snooze, if they blink, they might be losing out of that prize pool.
Absolutely. And obviously, you want to get to the top 3. That's the main goal here. And if you're already capable of being a part of the top 3, you want to aim for that number 1 spot where every single team member gets to walk away with $500 US in their pocket. How crazy is that? If you get the 3rd spot, your whole team walks away with 800. But if you get the number 1 spot, everybody in your team gets to walk away with a solid 500. And I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to put that to a lot of good use. Today's matches, though, 4 games have ended. And in all 4 games, we've got unique winners. Nobody has been able to dominate that number 1 spot in each and every single one of the lobbies. But surprisingly, 4 kings who have not gotten to the number 1 spot in any one of the 4 games are number 1 on the overall leaderboard, Neptune.
Yeah, and I agree. But, well, they need to hustle because Poison Ivy GC is just 4 points away from them. And even in our esports legacy is only 6 points away. And we've seen how well they pull off those numbers. Like in most cases, they do have double digits and only elimination. So what more in the place to point? But once again, as we go back into isolated, another problem that needs to be dealt with by the squad is the skewed flight path. So it's already on the southern part of the area. And again, the northern part where most of those snowboards will be available would be far away from them. So hopefully they know exactly where vehicles are spawning and they can use that to make that rotation.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Now, as we gear up for this game, let's see exactly where this will lead us into, right? Because this time, we will bring the battle back to Isolated, where 4 kings have been able to bring quite a decent
Feeling
number
ko
of
GNR
eliminations.
champ.
They're
Malaki kasi
currently
chance ng
averaging around
GNR.
12
Kasi
eliminations
pwede
per
nang gulatin
isolated
eh.
lobby. And
Gulatin
I
ng
think
munggo.
that it's going to be good enough to keep them
Gulatin
on that
ng
number
munggo.
one spot. But the other teams who are looking to catch up with them definitely
Malayo
need
na
to pull
naman ang
away
guys, ang
many,
4K.
many more than just the 12
Ang
points. But at
gagawin ng
least
4K,
now
diyan kukuha
they've
sila
got a little bit of a marker.
sasakyan.
They have a rough idea as to how many eliminations minimum they need off of
Ayun
these lobbies.
diba?
Well, let's see now. I mean, looking at some of the drop spot,
Ayun
sanitary
na po
is one
magkalaban
of those
tong
that
Build
might
tsaka
have an
KM2.
early engagement. And
Yeah.
look at the shift, the circle, dead smack in the center of the southern part.
Alam na
of our
maganda
map.
sa
I
delay
know-
ng
I
4K
know that-
ngayon
that
guys.
is
Kahit ma-delay
confusing,
sila
but
men,
I was looking at some of that
makaka-double
teams in the southern part, and they were
arsenal
just in the
sila.
middle
That's
of that
good.
spot.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
Uy!
Now, I also did spot out the players on the side of Four Kings earlier, out
Sasali sila, oh.
scattered, almost pressured,
Kasi
but
di abot
they
sa
have managed to
frigid
get
guys
away
eh.
to safety.
3
But
squad
who's
sila ngayon.
not in
Round 5
safety
na to.
is the ones who are getting lit up on the
Hindi na
battlefield
tayo
right
need ng
now. GNR,
IB.
on the other
Kaya
hand,
mo na tayo ban.
Licht is in here, and he is looking for a couple of shots out of the chopper. Very
3K
ambitious.
agad ang
I
ADMP,
don't
oh.
think
Saan-
he'll be able to
pangilan
get
bang
much from
ADMP?
this, but the man
ADMP
is
main,
not
where
afraid
are
to
you?
try.
Where are you? Ay,
Four
aray
Kings, on
ko!
the other hand, rolling around. They've got the antelope to
What
deal a
happened,
little bit of
ADMT
extra
main?
damage off of the
Pang
railgun
14 sila.
mounted onto the top. But Conan, sliver of health, about to get sprayed down, and that's exactly what happens. And
Hindi kaya
two
mga
teams
bowling ng 2
out
rounds
super
yan.
early in this lobby.
Yeah, exactly. Only a few minutes, and they have been eliminated.
Layo,
Now,
layo
it
nila,
is
man.
ADMT right now.
Ano
This
sila?
is the main
Dikit-dikit
team
sila sa ano.
that is
Simula
making
top
it work
13
for
to
them with
16,
4
11
eliminations.
points.
But as we look into GNR, well, not so much of engagement.
Pang
Really,
fifth round na to,
but as I
Santa,
say
fifth round.
that, they step into the crosshairs of HRA. It's a good thing that Sachi managed to outwit and outwalk Turna, and now they might be able to capitalize on this. They have position of their opponents as well, and hopefully they have time to loot up, similar to what we're seeing to some of the players of GNR.
Yeah, GNR Esports Eternal
GNR.
as well as Legacy, both looking to make the climb, but Legacy doing so much better than Eternal at this point of time. And it's looking like it's going to be impossible for
Itong
Eternal to catch
HNR,
up to the top 3 teams if they don't
nakikita
make a
kong
big
masakit to
difference
eh.
in this lobby.
Pero hindi ko alam kung siya pa rin yung mga
Checking out
players.
the players on the side of HRA Omura as
Alam ko lang
well.
HRA eh. yung
Wild
pangalan
shots
niya.
from up top. They spot out the players
Pero yung mismong
on the
player
side of
na hindi
GNR
ko tanda.
Esports Eternal. And they want to light them up on the battlefield, but
Baka
just
mag-leading
not
pa
able to
tong
find
IB.
those right
Depende
angles
sa
yet.
sausawan bro
Buster's
eh.
gonna get tossed
Minsan
in.
mas maganda na yung late drop
Does
ka
Lick
eh.
get lit up there on the battlefield? Apparently, barely
Para
a scratch on
pagsasawsaw
him as
kayo,
he
kayo
quickly
yung
repossessions.
pinakahuli.
Let's see now, Sachi. Great angle on high ground.
Lalamang ang
though, but
IB kapag
with that
nakasawsaw
ship,
sila
that
tapos di sila
mothership
nagabawasan.
in there, but you being used as a
Ups, don't
cover
forget
by
Suwegway
HRA,
palaan. Sorry,
I guess they
nakalimutan
can
ko.
back
Huwag niyo kalimutan
away,
mag-follow
but
guys.
I think
Mag-follow na muna
with
kayo
this, a little too
habang
quick
wala
now,
pang laban.
and also a little
Para
bit too
reload
aggressive.
muna
Despite
kayo.
of
Follow
not
muna kayo.
having a graded skill, he does have that rewind class that can give him that
So unahin natin
opportunity
mamaya.
to pull away.
Unahin ko agad
Sachi,
siguro ano.
let's see if he'll be able to spot out
Si
one of the
Slash.
players of HRA.
Nakapalo mo.
Probably
Nice
is
one,
where
nice one.
HRA will be falling down once more.
GNR Eternal still sticking to their positioning here.
Ay, nasi
And
Glad
now,
Dizzy.
the players who jump into this battle is going to be from
Glad,
Leap
bigay
Main.
mo na yung dalaw.
Now, Leap
Isang
Main
round.
are not doing
Isang
too
round
well
kay
in the
JM.
competition,
Glad.
which means this is a great fight here
Diba,
for
Glad?
HRA as well as GNR to take on.
Kasi sila yung
Perhaps easy
nagkakasama eh.
points
Sila
Leap
yung
Main
nag-grind
might
ng
become in
chemistry.
this
Glad
battle,
eh.
but they've got the high ground advantage. They
Diba?
get that one shot on connection. Tom has been tagged up already, and here comes Leap leaping into battle. This might be a rough decision they make here, but Expressy from up top lights him up right after he gets a knock, and he's going to get taken out of the equation as well. Leap in a big
Tahimik
mistake by the looks of it.
Unbound
Yeah, I mean, he is on a high ground.
Pero
He had that
naka-top 4 pa rin
opportunity,
sila,
but the
kaya
timing
pa yan.
was just wrong. And
Kaya pa
probably
ng 2
didn't
rounds yan,
expect
man.
GNR to be waiting on the other side.
Hindi
And again,
pwedeng-
there's no gunshots being triggered by GNR.
Hindi
They were just
pwedeng
watching
matahimik yung
all
nasa
of
top
those
3, kundi kaya silang
unfold.
nagpasa.
And let's see if they can be able, if they will be able to recover out of this, because Leap, though they lost one, GNR still
Si
has
Lian
aggressive.
ba? Si
Sachi,
ano to? Si-
despite of trying his best,
Dugo?
he has
Ano
been
naglalaro?
tagged up and knocked down.
Ilang rounds
So
na.
far,
Pang
so
fifth
good
na
here
to,
from
diba
Leap
eh?
Main. Managing to get themselves a double
Si Dugo
knock,
na,
and
si Dugo.
GNR actually choosing to back
hindi na
away
siya M?
from that battle. Ashy, once again, going to get tagged up here. Lian looking for the shutdown, but needs to be really careful. The plates need to be used, or else Ashley's going to be able to turn the situation around.
What up,
And as I
Severus?
say
What
that,
up, bro?
back up to 150.
Ooh.
Ashley in a lot of trouble. By the
Ooh.
corner, Lian. Drop shot gets the perfect knockdown. That's
Pwede ba
exactly
yun?
what you
Pwede
want
ba
to
yun?
see out of Leap Main if
Hindi
you are a
naman
fan.
maano
Yeah,
sila
I do
dugo,
agree. I
no?
mean, I love the timing that Leon did in there. He knows that there
Okay,
might be a
that's
trap
good.
being pulled in.
Pakak, si
and,
Kuya
and
Nico
now
nandito na,
that
ah.
he have already spotted
Hello, Kupal.
that
Hello, bro.
player, he only has to go in for a perfect timing on
Nakakahilo
that
yung
drop.
kanina, buti
Well, let's see if
naayos
the
na.
timing will be perfect on Aspect as well. After being revived, doesn't have that
Ilang taon na
sniper
si
that he
Dugo?
used earlier.
Baka mga
Does have
14 or
SMRs. I think a couple of SMRs being pulled in by Leap Main.
Depende
but
kung
not
naka-follow
so
kayo
much to
ngayon,
play
guys,
with
okay?
Because
Don't
even
forget to
she
follow, guys.
was able to pull away the speed, and Leap Main will be left dumbfounded
Ay,
in the
nagagalit
fight.
si Glad, oh.
Yeah, I
Ano,
mean,
sabi
beautiful
sino
defender
magpapasab?
play,
Sino
but the
magpapasab,
follow-up
Indra?
is solid.
Sorry, Glad.
Gladzilla,
Sorry.
like a Godzilla, dropping
Sorry, baby
into
Glad.
that play there to get another extra point for the squad. Expect Z from up top. SMRS looking
Kay
for the
Mamma Mia.
knockdown, but Lian will give him a big hand with 1 HP. Aspect C manages to stay alive. Thank goodness for that backup. The teamwork looking good
Idol,
from
wala ka
Leap
na po
Main
ba
now.
lang ng
Yeah,
konti?
exactly. I
Depende pa,
mean,
bro, eh.
I'm really loving that kind of
Depende pa, bro.
improvement, I would say, out
Yeah.
of Leap Main because they were very
Siguro
low
kung
on the
magko-compare ako,
leaderboard
focus pa rin
last
ako
time we
dapat
saw
sa
it. Now, we have M12
content
scene, and we've
creation.
seen them not really survive
So,
that
mas
long
lamang
in
dapat,
most of the cases.
mas gusto ko
They are
mas lamang
getting
na
a few-
streaming
a
ko
few
kaysa
points,
compete.
but we didn't see so much of
Sulit lang, boss,
squad
Dora.
fight from those engagements. But GNR back in play against Elite
Medyo
Main,
maalat
and
yung mga
Thirst
baby
right
boys sa
now,
atin,
despite
boss
a
Dora.
rewind, might be taken down, but needs to reload. Aspect just
And
drop
extra
the
ear, eh,
ball
no?
in there for the
Touch mo kay
elimination.
Ivy Carl.
Yeah, absolutely. This
Sino Ivy Carl?
is a little bit of a pinch here. Poison Ivy, Gizzy stepping on in. Leap Main has been having fun so far, farming this
ikaw
compound.
lunch
6
pad. Ay,
eliminations
lunch
in
pad.
hand. But I think this is
LMK
gonna
Carl.
be over if they do not get the heck out of there.
Ay, Ivy pa lang daw.
MLK on the other hand,
Pwede.
this is Umbra Mortis. I'm hoping rigor mortis does not set in because
Pwede.
yeah,
Yun nga lang,
walking
sa mga
around like
gusto talaga
zombies out there
ano,
so far, looking for the bigger
mahirap kasi
points.
sumali sa team
But
na
I have
ano
to
eh.
say,
Nasab ka
as
lang.
good as you are, this
Maganda
is
sana kung
not an
nakakalaro ka
easy
pa rin.
lobby to dominate at all.
Dati
Looking at
kasi
the
guys,
number of
uso yung
kings
sub.
that we have in here,
Kasi
all of these
meron
squads
talaga
looking like
silang
kings.
lalaruan.
You know,
Like,
the four kings just
sa isang araw,
hippity-coppity at
kailangan
the very
maglaro
top.
sila. Ngayon
No
kasi pag
eliminations
sub ka
just
lang,
yet in this
maghihintay
lobby.
ka lang
This is a
kung
tad
ano
bit
eh.
surprising as I say
Kailangan mo
that.
maglaro
Get
eh.
finding himself. Flashed in the face, looking for the reposition.
Gagi, pag
Will be able to get
nakuryente kami,
that, and the
mahuhulog ka sa
follow-up
sasakyan.
shot. Absolutely deadly.
Sa creators
Four
launch pad sa
kings.
besh.
Just
Elite.
not one to be messed around with. No eliminations to 3, just like that.
Dati kasi
And
guys,
I'm
kahit
just
sub kayo,
surprised on what kind of communication
meron kayong ano, ba,
these
kunyari, 6,
players
may laro ng
has to
6.
be able to
Pag sub kayo,
spot
kailangan
out those
maglalaro ka rin ng
opponents
8.
and then instantly
Tas
go for a
balik ulit
bait
sila.
and switch.
Ano,
I would say
naro-rotate.
that has been
Ngayon kasi
switched
hindi na
because
uso
if, like,
rotation.
one player has proven to be a distraction.
Hindi na
and
uso
the rest of the
rotation
squad
ngayon, guys.
is just
Kung sino
going
yung main
for
player,
those
sila na talaga yung main
knockdowns.
player.
Now, as we look at that, this is more
Yung kasi
of
nagiging mabisa,
what
guys,
we
kasi
should
yung
expect
chemistry na yung
out
hinahalo.
of out of Four Kings, but the squad being forced in, and GNR right now needs
Ubusan naman
to
ba, ano,
deal with
ADMT?
a couple
Apat ba
of
sila
a few
naubos?
players from LK.
Man, Cavs out for the shots already. GNR
Streaming, thank you,
looking
Ate
for the big one
Erica.
here.
Hindi
GNR
na kami
Esports
nakapag-round
Legacy
three. Ano ba
already
yun?
in the top 3. Looking to catch up with Poison Ivy, Geezy as well
O,
as
saka lang
Four Kings.
papasok
Can
isa
they
pag
do it?
busy.
Can they
Dati
make
kasi
this
hindi
game to
ganun.
be the one? 2 eliminations in hand already.
Rotation talaga,
Kevs
naro-rotate
looking to see from the
yung
opposite end.
team.
And I think the players on the side of Leap will be able to put on a
Malubog
lot of
kasi
pressure
si
on
Chie,
them.
no?
They take the vehicle out of the equation first as they
Si
look
Nero,
to
ngayon
quickly
kasi
reposition.
Sa lip yun eh, malaki ang lip eh.
Get that
Malaki ang
position
lip
really
community.
is their advantage. versus
Buhay pa
squad
IBS.
right now. Just making sure
Ay,
that
ano na
they
second,
are
ayoko na
safe.
yan. Pakuya na,
and
mainit na ano.
in.
Ano sinasabi nyo ha? Sinasabi nyong...
On
Ayan na, uy!
Ivy, high ground always being taken, but
Ganda
rewind
na.
being used and
Rewind ba?
rewind used
Rewind.
against them. And what a good trade back in terms of tactics. But Leap, they be able to pull this
suspended
off.
yung
Get
gift ko.
another
Kasi naka-watch
threat
party ako.
to them
Doon ako
moving
lagi
up
nadadali sa,
would
ano, sa watch
be
party.
to Poison Ivy getting more points because they are
Uy!
the ones above them, but not so much.
Down
Virus
two!
Gizzy down. And Leap has jumped into the battle, and I think the boys are going to be in a tad bit of trouble here. Hasbu with the pressure. Dre pushed back.
May
Poison Ivy
kamukha
Gizzy
kasi.
in a lot of trouble
Alam ko
now.
na yun, Ate Erica, si Joshua
Players on the side
Garcia
of
ba?
Leap go in for the chase. Dre on pressure, looking
Si
for
Joshua
the
Garcia
shutdown,
ba?
and ZH Conqueror. It's a team that we have barely talked about. They've barely been allowed to play in these lobbies because of how dominant the other teams have been. But Sekre,
na naman.
as well as
Guys,
Drake,
malapit na
will
mag-50
be on a
hours.
big
Baka
mission
naman
now
live
to
na. Okay, so follow
recover
mo si Zeus.
those dog tags and bring their team members
Kala
back
ko
in after
naman.
such an aggressive start.
Bago yung mababanggit. Ay, si Boko.
Unfortunately, versus Squad, I believe, is already turned his dog tag.
Kakauwi mo
And
na, diba?
CH Conqueror, I don't know if it, I don't know. I don't want to bring it into you, but like the moment you mentioned them, they're trying to survive. They're doing
Busi yung
quite
Ivy para
well
4K
in
lead.
bed.
Eh, mahirap din
Or
kasi
out.
uso
But
bantayan.
that's the thing, though. At this point, they
Ayun, tagal ng
still
biyahe
think
mo,
that
ah.
they can revive themselves out of the zone.
Bantayan
recover
yan,
that quickly
bantayan. Lalo na
out
pag
of the
konti
zone.
yung teams.
But it's getting tougher and tougher right now, especially with one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
update that we have all throughout these years. And that was just great.
Gusto ko yun, ah. Gusto ko yung galaw-galaw. Uy! Parang ako lang mag-commentate, ah.
Glep TZ who forced GNR on the engagement that
Ubus
area
Legacy.
platform right now
Hindi
still
pa,
being
hindi pa
used
yun pa, si
as
Kebs.
their I would say looting spot and waiting point.
Wala kasi akong
Now
ano
Triple
eh.
A Alpha up against GNR Legacy.
Wala kasi akong ano.
GNR looking for the number one
Rolex.
spot.
Kung may
But if
Rolex
Triple A
siguro
takes
ako,
the fight up to them
kamukha
now
ko si
and
Joshua
snuff them
Garcia.
out,
Tingnan nyo,
maybe
guys.
Four Kings will get a big assistance here off of Triple A's
Na?
big play. But
Yun lang,
can
yun lang
they
siguro
shut down
kinulang
a
ko.
team as aggressive as GNR Legacy? Red is all alone. Amidus
Parang
looking for the
Gila.
backstab. Little by
Joseph
little, they're
na lang
closing
ako.
in
Ano ba
on this
yun?
position. Grenade's going to
Joshua
be
Mangilog,
dropped.
ano ba yan?
Finds no
Chaklo
tags on
yun eh.
either players. And Amidus
Si Paring G na lang, pogi na lang si
slowly but
Paring G.
slowly.
Hindi
Travis,
kasamang
defender
basal.
blinds him and Amidus has to
Ay, no.
back away. Tags in his partner
ano nyo nga,
instead. And now both of
pinpost
them
nyo nga si
pressured back
Korama.
with those grenades
Oo,
off
yeah.
of the GNR players.
Diba?
Beautiful defense played by GNR
Parang
Legacy.
connect sa
And Triple
mukha
A
ba
just
yun,
can't take a
An?
straightforward fight up against them.
Ganda
as
ka
they
ng
wanted
laban,
to.
guys! Don't
Oh,
forget to follow.
Red
Don't forget to
down.
follow Ainra.
Rinka right now made it work, and it's
Oh
just
my
unfortunately the
Joshua
rest of the
Luma
squad
from
has
Temu.
been taken out. That was a great play to take down one
mini pa-
player,
bakit
but this is what I'm
mini
talking
parang
about:
G?
trading 1 against 3. That is
Grabe
not
naman,
looking good for the other
grabe
squads.
naman.
Only the giants of this competition.
Grabe
is
naman, parang
showing up.
leading
But
na
Four Kings
ata ang
right now,
GNR, guys.
those
Leading
on the
na
high
ata ang
ground.
GNR.
And let's see if they can pull away, because that's not a
Paring
safe spot
gatas
for them
pala
to
yung
stay.
paring G. Ah,
Now,
guy
speaking
ko.
of Giants, Leap Unbound almost caught Four Kings with their pants down. And you know, that would
Parang
be a
kailangan
tad bit
natin,
embarrassing.
parang di na
Jeff now
mabubuhay si
quickly
Virus, tsaka
positioned,
si ano,
backing away,
si Lei.
grenades being tossed out. The SMRs on their
Dresek
side as well,
lang
perhaps to
natitira.
look to play
Paring
the
gatas
pressure,
pala yun.
scare away the players on the side of GNR Legacy so that they can get away. And they're going to quickly reposition. That was a dangerous position for
Nabuhay
Four
pa
Kings to
sila,
hang on
ano?
to. But you see their capability to read the situation, to read the room and quickly back away is a good reason why they're one of the more aggressive squads out there. Leap
Si Rinka,
Unbound,
no? Lakas nga niya ni Rinka.
definitely
Jay.
one of the top clans in the Philippines. Number one spot at
Kamukha pa
Garena
naman
Elite Philippines
si
Battle
Paring
Royale
G talaga
Division,
eh,
and
no?
they're
Ayaw mo
looking for the
talaga si
big one
Joshua
here as
Garcia,
well.
Ate Jazz.
But ADMT
Konting,
just
konting
spotting out the
pihit pa.
TNT play from Nerosa, who continues to pick up these big points.
Oh, definitely.
ADMT right to,
there's a
naki-open
lot
lang
of
ako ng
knockdowns
load.
that happen in that
Pa-load
fight.
cam
SMR's
ako,
gameplay,
big.
especially like when you are steadily in
Ay,
one
si
area,
Rinka, guys,
another
ay, si
one
ano,
on the other
si
side.
Rai,
from
naglalaro
Travis
yan.
right
Kailangan niya
now,
ng data up,
and it's
guys,
not
please.
getting easy. We are
Pa rin man si
seeing a lot
Biruskal
of
sa
engagement
BBN,
in edge
yes.
of circle. They are trying to play it safe, but no
Si
one is
Mustacho,
safe
yes.
in this
Sabi
hungry
ba tayo, medyo
lobby.
kaya pa nila, medyo kaya pa
Everyone is
nila.
chasing for those numbers because of how close the top 3 is.
Pero iba laro ng
Leap
GNR,
Unbound.
guys, ha?
They need to catch up with the
Parang-
rest of the competition.
parang sila na talaga
GNR
yung
putting on big
magkakaano eh.
points just means
Actually,
that
ganyan
Leap
laro
Unbound
nila
is
dati,
going to
Palo.
be a tad bit more pressured here.
Pero syempre, stellar na yun, guys.
Up
Susubukan nila
against
yun, syempre,
Cavs
diba?
will not survive that mighty spray.
Ang tanong,
Had bullets for days there. Didn't even need to
Papayag ba
pray.
si
Just
Stellar?
went in there for the spray
Maging
and his
sub.
mighty accuracy to get another point for the squad.
Kaya ba ng
And
BBN,
speaking
hindi ito.
of a team that needs to leap into the main scene, it's Leap. Main this time around, who almost ran away with a good game in the previous matchup.
Yeah, well, let's see though. I mean, Leap Main, we see them trying to head in onto the next phase of the
feeling ko,
circle.
hindi papayag si
ADMT,
Stellar.
Pyrite,
Hindi papayag
and they
si
did get
Stellar.
a victory earlier, but they might be dealing with a full squad.
Oh.
Now, let's see if they will be okay at that
Sinong
point.
susubok
But
pa kay
on the other
Stella,
side,
di ba?
ADMT, another squad out of Adamantium brand, is being taken down.
Pwede siya sa lip,
Let's
eh, no?
see if they can recover, if they can survive, or probably just play it safe because of lessened numbers that they have
Pwede rin
right
siya
now.
sa
Adamantium Pyrite Anna thinks that she has found herself a good parking spot, but
Orky.
I don't know if anyone told her that's not her garage. And Leanne,
Medyo busy na ng system, may work na
losing
si
just a
Stella,
tad
eh.
bit of those shields,
Sa Ivy,
getting hit from afar, and will be able to back
Ivy,
away
balik
into
na.
a safe compound here with the rest of the Leap
Wala na
squad.
4K. Ayun
This is Leap
lang.
main. And Leap main is quite
bigyan
far
ng
away
40
from
kills
catching
yung
up with the
ay-
top
yung
three,
ano.
but they're not giving up just yet. Look at that circle. Look at the
Ba't
number
tumatawa
of
si Ate
dogs
Shai?
we have in here. We've got too many players for such a tight spot.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of compounds though to hide out with, but it's only a matter
Parang
of time
ano
until
nga
they
talaga
meet
si
up
Stella,
against
rala
each
sa
other.
Ivy na.
And
Tumatawa si
JNR
Ate Shai, eh.
maybe thirsty for blood right now, but
Boy,
no,
pag
I
siya
think he
nakakanya
is
ako,
full.
eh.
He is pulling away, probably
Parang
planning for
ginugulo
bait and
niyo yung
switch,
ano ko,
but it's
wala na
not
akong sariling
working.
ano.
Right
Wala na
now,
akong
a little bit of
sariling
cluster,
emosyon.
almost hitting Dre, but they're just hunting. No one is being found.
Oo, na Boss Gab.
Lucky
Buti
has
ka
the
pa,
Tempest,
Boss
but
Gab.
Super
No,
Jeff
may...
still on
Baka
a
kanina palalunan mo
roll
ng
here.
Boss Gab.
Has gotten to
Pinapasok ka
manage
dito, eh.
a
Short
knockdown onto
champion
the
si
lead
Boss
player.
Gab.
On the side
May
of
airdrop
Poison
sa
Ivy,
Lantur
Gizzy
na
on the
guys,
other
ang
hand.
daya. Naka-Arsenal.
They are challenged. No eliminations in the
Nasa
game so
Arsenal.
far. And they are looking to shut down GNR. This is a big
Ganda,
play.
ang ganda ng play na to, guys. Don't forget to
legacy
follow
up against
Ainra,
Poison Ivy,
okay?
Gizzy. Both teams looking to catch up with
Uh-huh,
Forkings, but if they
okay,
take each other out too early, Forkings will be able to run away with the championship for sure. Can they do it? Will they do it?
Yeah, I mean, that's
Gaganda
one of
ng
the
pwesto.
few
Aroy mo!
missing
Si
things.
Luki, binamba si Virus. Kuya-kuya niya yun, eh, si Virus.
Ivy slowly dwindling. GNR right
Segue
now trying
na
to play it back.
Hindi
And again,
naman.
I do agree with you at that point, AJ.
Man.
Once they go against each
Oh, what a
other,
jump.
and they might be able to go in and take each other out. Red, great follow-up with that cluster grenade after distraction by Cabs. And that brings GNR to only
GNR
3.
is doing it!
Man, GNR. I mean, that was a big fight, but they had no choice. All the big teams now in such a tight little zone. 20 players left alive and
Walang
kicking through 7
Kill
squads.
sila, kasi nabantayan ka
And you
agad
have
sila.
to be a little bit more careful, and that's exactly what
Mahirapan
Leap
sila,
is
eh.
thinking.
Sila
I
na
want
naman
to stay
natira.
out of
Sila
this
na
for
naman
as long
natira.
as
Si Dre
possible.
tsaka si Sek.
Leap Unbound, one of the big names, looking to catch up with the top 3. And they're spread out
GNR is
quite well.
Kompleto
And
pa
they
yung
should
4K,
have a
guys.
great
Niloloko niyo naman
vantage
ako,
point
eh.
up against the Four Kings. If and only if they step out of this defense. Now Tom Pips looking to quickly reposition. This is going to put them
Aha,
a little bit of a
Gladzilla.
disadvantage. But
Ayun
Leap Unbound
lang.
doesn't take advantage of that situation. But as I say that, Aspu
Nabog.
lights up Tom Pips in the vehicle.
Nasasabog.
Well, that's about it. It's getting troublesome
Si
for
Tonki is
Forkings
back.
right now. And they do have 8 elimination already. The
Pero
rest of
hindi
the
kasi
squad
pwede maging
really
kampante
made
pag
it
buhay pa
work.
sige, eh.
Now, we only have 7 teams remaining, but we've seen that a lot of
Pag sige ang
those
buhay, hindi ka
have
pwedeng
less
kampante, boy.
numbers on their roster. And with
Pag
right
sige
now,
ang
Tom
buhay,
GNR, I'm not sure if he'll be able
kay
to pull this
Ainra
off because he
magpa-follow.
does have,
Mag-follow na kayo, guys.
an SMG on his
Don't
hand,
forget.
but it's a Tempest on the other to deal with the distance.
Yeah.
So if he can move quick, probably he can pull off a surprise.
Nagkit tutok ni Game,
Oh man, big names here. Four Kings and Leap just beside each other. In
Nasingit
fact,
pa, no?
sandwich
Nasingit pa,
between
no?
two Leap squads is the Four Kings.
Oh.
And barely a
Shit,
sliver
ang
of
dami
health
dyan.
left here on
Shit.
the
Shit,
side
ano
of
nangyari?
Super Jeff, so he has to be
Uy,
really
grabe,
careful with his
kasyang-kasya,
next
parang
positioning.
apat na
The
secret.
players on the side of Leap Unbound, on the other
Ganda
hand,
ng
looking
pwesto
for
pala
a
nito
big
ni
number.
Togi.
Hasbu
Linagyan pa
taken
ng ano,
down.
bintana.
Recovery is not going to be impossible here.
Uy,
And Leap
Jack,
Unbound quickly picking up their players down off the ground.
Sniper
Super Jeff's
Jack,
going to
Jack.
get taken out. But Narosa get the back-to-back on the nades and the follow-up. Pushing Leap right behind the ledge. And Gat going in for the finisher. Up against all the players. And that's the mighty smasher from the one and only Wonder Kid Gat.
Solo cleanup squad from the
Damn.
Wonder Kid. But that is also the cause of Super Jeff being taken down. Tom Peeps is already out of the picture. And here comes the pickup.
Don't forget to
They're
follow,
still
guys.
3 man strong, 12 elimination to boot, with 5 teams
Kika.
in this final map, final circle. They have to deal with OK, and I don't think they are. Team OK, fine, why not?
Sa-
Will be
hindi
making
pa
it
siya
easy
tapos,
for them
boy.
because some have tried, but because of the compound that they're taking, they are going down. But speaking of going down, even they and GNR is being beat by the zone and those damages.
Absolutely, man. And it looks like the Four Kings are going to be able to run away with
Grabe
this one.
naman.
Finally, is this going to be the lobby victory that we are looking for out of the Four Kings? Narosa burns
kanila
down
na to, pre,
third,
sa kanila
and
na
it
to.
looks like this just might be the moment outside the circle. Narosa's going to stay in, so mighty big disadvantage here for Clemsy. Super Jeff down on the ground, but Narosa still alive and kicking will get the first lobby victory.
Don't
for the
forget to
Four
follow,
Kings.
guys. Ang ganda
And
nun.
finally, after 4 matches, they bring that victory to
Sila ba to?
their
Sila ba to, guys?
side.
Sila ba
And
to?
well, this might secure their #1 spot because it was getting tight. It was getting close. And now,
Si baka iba na naman
they have
ipakita eh.
managed to pull it off.
Hindi,
But
sila.
still, haven't seen the elimination coming from Poison Ivy, Gizzy, as well as GNR Esports.
Sabi ko sa inyo, guys,
who was
Rilo lang
close
kulang eh.
in that journey,
Diba, kamukha
in
ni
that
Joshua
top three.
Garcia si Kuya Nerosa.
Brilliant play here by the Four
Lala.
Kings this time round. And Super Get, man, it's not Super Jeff anymore. It's Super Get, all right? This guy, solo mission wipeout. Leap stood no chance in that situation, looking for the recovery.
Ganda ng ano,
And you know Super Jeff had
Ay,
already
kaya
gotten
pala
the
may
initial bit of
letter G
damage.
dun sa
And it's
shield.
just
Si
about
Ge
the
pala yun.
positional awareness of the players on the side of Four Kings. And he understood in that situation, the team stood a big chance. He needed to take a risk, ran at the 4 players, and managed to walk away with those solid points towards the end.
Kung
And of
magbabalik
course,
ako
that
sa tour
number
na,
one
kailangan ko na rin
spot
ng
will
magandang
definitely
posing.
continue to be on the side of the Four Kings after this brilliant victory from the squad.
Well, that's the thing though. I mean, they managed to pull off the
Sige,
highest
maganda.
elimination in one lobby.
Bigyan
They
nyo nga
managed to
magandang
pull off
posing, magandang
a
posing.
great victory.
Wala kasi
in
ako
there,
magandang
especially
posing,
in that
Soft Boy
1v2
Chris,
situation
kaya hindi ko
where
na ano.
Rosa doesn't have to do anything. Even Super Jeff just risk
Kailangan
trying
ng
to
magandang
find the
posing.
final opponent just to make sure as well that they have one additional
Wala.
point for
Dali
their
pa ang
side.
Ivy dun,
But the catch-up game hasn't stopped just yet because we've seen GNR Esports Legacy, we've seen Poison Ivy take position, even Leap
Yeah.
and Bound. The gap between them and
Basta
Poison
ka-duck
Ivy,
face, no?
or
Diba
GNR
yung
Esports Legacy
sasalihan
might
natin
have
tour na,
been,
barilan, tas yung
reduced already,
posing mo.
and everyone else is being left in the dust, and this is deadly for those
Pwede,
who are
no?
on top already because if
Bakbakan
there's
no?
a huge gap, then there's
Sipin niyo,
little
mananalo tayo
risk
sa
of
Garena.
losing out.
Papakita yung picture.
It's not
unang
over
round.
till it's
Tsaka,
over.
panalang team.
That's what Four
Ah,
Kings
ganun.
says in game number 5. After teasing the lobby potential victory,
Pwede, no?
4 games, multiple times they got
May ka ba? May
close
ka ba?
enough towards the final
May ka ba,
circle, but
boy?
just could not wrap it up. They didn't have the numbers.
Alala, Ivy
Even this
palabog
time,
na
they didn't
gantong
have the
team pag
numbers, but
disband.
what was
Uy,
the difference
tatap
maker?
naman
The
yan,
difference
Boss
maker
Jess. Hindi
was
naman
the
pwede
fact
yun, man.
that they had
Still.
just a little bit more aggression
Lala
on their
mo,
side. They took the fight to
Ate
their opponents. And I think the final circle
Ayun yung
also
sinasabi
favored
ko
them in
nga,
a
di ba?
very big way.
Maganda,
They did have
di
a
ba?
little
Kahit
bit of
delay
extra
yung 4K.
defense in here,
At least
but
pag pumasok
even if it
sila,
wasn't
men,
the case, I think
sila yung huling
the team
papasok.
was looking to be the better one in that final
Kumbaga, hindi
circle
man
for
ikaw
sure.
nakuuna,
It's unfortunate
ikaw
that
naman
Leaf just could
nakahuli.
not walk away with
Tama?
a round victory here after
Tama?
finally waking up with a big round for themselves.
I mean, it's getting
Grabe
tougher and
ginawa ni
tougher
Gay dito,
now.
pre,
A
oh.
lot of teams
Yeah.
are already catching up. And I guess from what
Talagang
we've seen,
tinake niya yung opportunity eh. Na nadadown sila ng ibang team.
Poison Ivy, Gizzy, as well as GNR Esports Legacy. It's calculated. The number of elimination they have, yes, there's
Last
potential
round na
of
next.
luck involved as well if they can clear entire squad. But the pacing that they have is part of the plan. You don't have to be that aggressive,
Parang
especially when everyone's
Parang
already being
trenda eh.
familiarized.
Don't forget to
on
follow.
what the
Thanks,
other team's
guys.
rotation
Oh,
is.
mag-follow na
And
kayo.
Also, everyone was getting that motivation as well to go in
Parang
and
kryptonite ng lips
just
yan,
go
no? Sige.
head straight into those
Kryptonite.
gunfights. So it's getting harder and harder right now, and also difficult to catch up because we only have one more round to go.
Did you guys think this was gonna happen? Did you guys already have it figured out that the
Paano
Four Kings
kaya
were
to,
gonna
no?
do this,
Paano
man?
kaya to,
Because
no?
bloody hell, I'm very sure the other teams are not liking how this is going right now. The dominance is undeniable. The capability to absolutely whoop everybody in shape is undeniable. I feel like Four Kings, they definitely have the
Ay,
love
sinasabi
from
ko,
such a
pag-
huge segment of the community
pag
for a
sige
good
ang
reason,
kumana.
right? But
Hindi na ba
we
sa
have
score?
got
Hindi
one
pa.
more game, Neptune, and
Pero
we
siguro
have seen
lamang
so
siguro
many
4K
competitions
mga
in
nasa
our
ano.
lives so far as a shoutcaster to tell you that it
20
ain't
points,
over
no?
till we play
Grabe,
the
layo
final
nung-
match. Four Kings,
Ay,
as
wala pa,
mighty
wala
as they are, they can still get knocked
Oh,
off of that main spot
sino nang
there.
babash kay Glad?
But GNR Legacy,
21
I
yung
believe this
total
time
kills
just
at
falling
21
behind a
total
tad bit
points nila,
more.
oh.
And Leap
Ano?
Main
Leap
finally
Main, let's go.
with a good round for themselves after struggling in the past 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, a good
Ah,
run
let's
being
go,
done
let's
by
go.
Leap Main right now, but it might be a little too late because even
Habol
Leap
Leap Main
Inbound
dito,
is
pre, baka
having
pang second
trouble.
to.
And though it's a main team and inbound team, but more of better
Habol Leap
performances
Main
coming
dito,
from
boy.
the inbound team. But where is the other squad that is very close to
Ako ba?
Four Kings earlier? Poison Ivy
Yeah.
Busy. Only one placement point.
La,
Zero.
ilang price
not
ito?
a zilch
$2K
on
sa
elimination.
champion.
And that would push them down really hard.
Yeah, and this is where you
Uy,
really
kanina
get
pa
to see
naglalaro si
exactly
Dugo,
who's
pre.
got that winner spirit, who's got that consistency, and game after game, we've seen Poison
Naka-answer
Ivy guys,
Ivy.
Gizzy, just really
Dali
putting in
sila,
the
no?
points,
Sila
but
pa
this
yung,
time, it was
nakauna,
just way too soon of an elimination from the lobby. GNR Esports Legacy did manage to get quite far, though, in the overall grand scheme of things. They do keep the pressure on Four Kings, 10 points behind them, and that's why I say, Neptune, it ain't over till
Let's
it's
go.
over. GNR Esports Legacy can perhaps solidify their legacy if they can take down Four Kings a little bit earlier in this
Di sila
next
pwede
game. But
makampante.
look at
Ito
Leap
nga pwede
Unbound.
gumulat sa
They
kanila, pre,
are the
GNR.
reigning champions of what we saw of
Uy, di ko
Garena Elite
pinapalabas si
Philippines,
Glad.
but
Si Glad ang
here,
nagpa-champion sa
story is a
kanila.
little bit different. The rise of the other squads just cannot be denied.
I do agree. I mean, it's really tough right now. They will need to bring a lot of elimination as well as get that victory to probably be able to take a #1 spot. But I'm not taking everyone out. It's because of how close the top one and
Makakanaka
two
yan
is
ng
between
Poison
4Kings and
Ivy,
GNR Esports Legacy
GZ.
because those teams are mentioned a lot. It's much easier
Yan
for
kay
them
greatest
to pull it
comeback
off.
kaya
But
nila, men.
Poison Ivy, Gizzy, if they can eliminate
Tingin
both
nyo,
of those
tingin
in the
nyo.
top two, then that would
Don't
be
forget
a
to
great
follow, guys,
run
para
for
maabangan
them
natin kung
because
sinong
even the ones
mananalo.
below them, that's Leap and Bound. It's not so much of points, but if they can pull off that number to get the #1 spot,
Thought ko bakit
then
di nila
Poison
malabas,
Ivy
di
Gizzy
malabas ang Ivy
might
galaw
secure
nila.
it
Yun,
as
di
a-
ko rin alam.
as a clutch.
Pre, legit, di ko alam.
Absolutely, and it's so amazing to see, right?
Either
Poison
nasa
Ivy,
slump sila
two players
ngayon,
from
like,
the former
pag natatalo kayo,
CG
minsan kasi pag
2026
natatalo kayo,
champions
men,
have transferred to this
sunod-sunod
team,
kayo
Sekwe as
natatalo,
well as
men.
Lay, and they have been doing very well for
At
a
the same
team
time, pag
that
nagka-champion
is
kayo,
kind
sunod-sunod kayo
of new in
nagka-champion.
terms of chemistry. They are not too
Ay,
bad
yung
at all. So
AAA.
this is definitely
Ano,
a team we have to look
HE,
out
mga
for
dating
in the
HE.
future. And I say the future because I think maybe with this one final game, it's out of their hands.
Yeah.
I don't know if or not they're going to pull off some
Parang
sort
sa
of a
4K,
miracle,
guys,
but,
tuloy-tuloy
to see
yung
such a miracle, we'll
pagkaka-champion
need them
nila,
to get,
tuloy-tuloy yung
20,
momentum
30
nila.
eliminations and get that #1 spot as well.
Diba?
I think that's definitely asking for a lot.
So,
but
same
it's
thought sa
definitely
Ivy.
a
Pag
possibility here. If
tuloy-tuloy
you
yung
look at Blackout
pagkakatalo
being
nyo.
the final map, if you do allow a couple of,
Doon di naman sila
extra
laging
survivors
talo, eh.
out there and
Dalawang
you
beses
allow
sila
them to get their
nag-top
dog
2
tags, can
sa
bring back their
Ferg.
team members and continue to farm.
Ngayon, nasa top 8 pa rin
Maybe,
sila.
but who can pull off such a crazy
Pero iba rin
gameplay,
talaga,
man? I
eh.
mean,
Last
as
round na to,
good as
last
you
round na
are,
to.
as good as Poison Ivy is with their squad members, I think it's going to be a big challenge for them as well.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, we've seen the
Oh,
highest
laki
amount of
talaga.
elimination
Yun yung laking tulong sa
in
player, man.
Blackout
Yung
being
momentum.
pulled off by the Four Kings in
Wag
that
nasab, wag
specific
nasab ban,
map.
no?
But that was
Leading
earlier
4K,
in round
bro.
#2. So they managed to get 31 points,
Ba't wala nang ano?
25 elimination, and
Mga logo.
only
Yun!
6 on the placement point. Force on second place,
Yun!
and that gave them 31 points. If in case they got that victory, that's additional 4 points, but still short to what
Tapos
they're
yata
aiming
walang
for.
picture. Bakit nga wala siya dun, eh, no?
The Four Kings finally putting their logo here
Lamang ang 4K, bro.
on today's matches board as they get their first round victory, but it is not the victory
masyado kasing
that they
gigil
were
Ivy, eh.
focusing
Kaya
on. The victory that they were
nadadali
focusing
sila
on
sa
was
placing
to
points.
dominate that
Abangay,
#1
pag
spot. And
placing
for
points, no,
multiple
doon sila
rounds
na,
now,
ano.
they've been on that #1
Yun nga
spot.
lang, actually
But
okay lang yung gigil ka,
it
kaso
does not get
lagi
them
na sila
out
napipitas
of
to kahit
danger
nagigigil
just
sila,
yet.
men.
Like what we saw on the overall leaderboard earlier on, GNR
Yun lang.
Esports
Baka nga
Legacy
nasa solo kasi
is
si Yato,
hot
kaya hindi
on
siya
their
pwede
tails,
na
Neptune.
nakapicture
They've already
dyan,
got
pre.
one round victory here
Bawal
already.
yun.
I'm sure they're going to be looking for another round. And if GNR Esports Legacy can pull away
Bawal
the
yun.
final blackout round from away from the Four Kings,
Top
get
1
more
4K.
eliminations, then
Guys,
obviously
mag-tap
that's
tap
going to
kayo.
guarantee them. But
Pa
of course, a
100k
little
na
bit
pala
of
tayo.
extra
Kahit di ko kayo
pressure because
pinapatap tap
Four Kings
kanina.
are 10
Thank you so
points
much,
ahead of
guys.
them.
Yeah, I do
What up,
agree.
JC?
I mean, it's also a huge difference in terms of
Pre,
rush
mga hindi pa
they're
naka-follow,
getting
yung
out of this
kalimutan.
final match.
Mag-follow.
So, let's see though. let's see if they will be able to pull it off. Let's see if they will be able to flip the script, though there's no script. It's more of what
Kami
everyone is writing on the battlefield right now. But I am excited to see how everyone
Sumingit
is
na lang.
going
Sorry,
to play
sorry.
this
Di pa kasi
final
start, di
bracket
pa kasi
now.
start.
Because I don't think there's
Nakasuspend yung gift ko, guys, kasi
any
ayokong
holding back,
gumagatas
especially
eh.
for those
Gusto ko lang nagpa-follow lang kayo.
below the top 5 of the competition.
Yung pera nyo, sa inyo na yan, men. Sa
They
inyo na
might
yan.
be close, they might be far from the
Sa
number
inyo
1
yan,
spot,
para sa inyo
but
yan.
the top 3 is
Leading
still
ay
part
4K,
of
bro.
that picture, still part of that
Sa inyo,
storyline for
money
them,
na yan
and
sa inyo.
also part of the prize pool.
Ate ba eh.
Yeah, man. Obviously, this is not going to be an easy run for anyone
Ang
out
mahalaga
there.
sa akin,
But
naka-follow
teams like
kayo.
Four Kings as well as GNR Esports Legacy have
Nanonood
done their
kayo sa
best.
akin. Yun lang, yun lang.
Poison Ivy
Mag-gift,
GZ,
ayoko niyan.
unfortunately, if they had not
Ay,
failed
binilas,
in this
Ate
round, I
Chewy.
think the
Let's
run
go.
would still be a very big possibility
si
for
Madam
them
Jo,
to
ba't di
compete
nanonood,
for
Ate
the
Chewy?
number 1 spot. But now they are at risk. What are they at risk of? They're at risk of losing their
Kaya
third
diba?
spot
Paano
to
naman?
Leap
Yun ang
Unbound.
gusto ko,
Leap
man. Yun
Unbound
lang naman
has
ang gusto ko.
woken up in the competition and they
Makita ko yung
slowly
magsayang
scratched and
nanonood.
clawed their way up the leaderboard.
Mapapakita ko yung
And they are
kung
now
sino
just a
ako.
few points behind Poison
Yung pera
Ivy
nyo sa inyo
GZ.
na, sa inyo.
If Poison
Galaxy,
Ivy fails again,
TikTok
if Leap
universe
Unbound
pa yan,
gets to
kahit
their final
tatlong
circle,
TikTok
they won't
universe
be
pa
able
yan.
to get their hands
Sa inyo na
on
yan.
our prize pool, Neptune.
Let's see now as a flight is coming from the east to the
Kailangan
west right now.
magsalita ni
Northern
Madam
part
Jo para
now is reachable
lumakas yung
compared to what
IB.
we've seen earlier
Sa atin
in
na
this
to.
map. But again, a lot of
Tsaka
a fight
mag-tap-tap na
might
din,
be
di ba? Yun
happening.
ang naman gusto ko.
Hydram will be meeting 2 teams. Even
Ganyan pag
those,
restricted.
even
Yung hindi,
Factions
ganyan
will
talaga-
be
ganyan
having
talaga
2 teams.
ako.
I think Ghost Town does have
Ayun,
another
bakbakan
hot
talaga
trap
dito sa Ghost Town. Kaya pala Ghost Town ang tawag dito.
It's up to who's going
Ang daming
to win
namamatay.
this fight. And Ghost Town is
Yeah.
one
Ano,
of
Ghost Town
those
kasi walang
wherein
tao.
they took a lot of time before they go and eliminate each other
So-
until I think it was GNR who introduced himself, if not Poison Ivy, Gizzy, and that's where they capitalized
Nami-miss ko na yung
on the
Jollibee ni
numbers.
Mami Jo. Please, Mami Jo, kung nasan ka man.
Is in a little bit of trouble here. I think they
I miss you,
managed
Mami
to get
Jo.
themselves in a little bit of a pickle
Palo
with
na,
a hot
restrict
drop.
eh.
But if you look at M12 Sin Main, they haven't committed a lot of sin today.
Para siya si ano dito,
But,
Spider-Man.
you need to sin in a battle royale lobby. You need to farm some lives, unfortunately.
Marami na, paring G.
Definitely. I mean, at that point, it's a
Pasok na
given.
sana tayo, Ban, no?
See, if one thing that they can avoid.
What if last
is the
round
sin
pumasok si
of
Stellar
greed,
GNR,
because they have
tas
to be
nag-champion.
cautious. They need not to be greedy and try to get everything at once. They need
Paring
to be
E.
patient enough to
Eh.
spot them one at a time. And there
M12 ba yan sa
goes
LAN? Hindi ko rin sure, pre. Hindi ko memorize yung name nila eh.
Managed to pull away, but Conan right now, great follow-up.
Tapos
Just
na
to make sure
early.
no one from their team will be going down.
Absolutely.
Kahit mag-30k,
Oh,
mahirapan pa
high
rin sa
ground.
Marvel Force kung
Sing.
tama.
Well, unfortunately,
Kahit mag-30k sila
be
doon. Pero
able
maganda, may
to
10 points
get
na pag
into
nanalo
position,
sila.
but
40k.
he's gonna have the rest of his team members clap his opponent as well. Back
Nakapatay
and
si
forth
Glad,
we
guys.
go.
So, sino
Payne
sabing wag ano,
has got a big opportunity
magpasab si
here,
Glad. Oh,
and
dalawa yung
one
down ni
by
Glad,
one,
oh.
They absolutely torture the
Ay,
opponent.
kaya nga pinalaro si Glad, guys. Kasi
And those knocks will
siya
come
yung
on through. Payne
ano,
will get laid down on
siya
the
yung
ground,
puso
but
ng lip
it does not
main.
seem to be a situation they cannot control.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, no one can control
Diba?
this. And we have just witnessed
Saludo sa'yo,
one
Boss
team
Glad.
being eliminated right here. Now, for Leap,
Saludo sa'yo,
they have
Boss
a couple
Glad.
of players remaining, and they're meeting against players
Dahil
from
sa'yo,
Eric
Boss Glad, meron ka
HRA.
sa aking
Now,
isang posing.
Gladzilla? Well, I don't think
Panis.
he's glad at the moment right now because he is going solo, so I could call him
Oo,
glad
kita
solo.
mo.
But
Kita mo.
the rest of the squad
Oh.
is now
May
going
squad
in
wipe
for
to.
revive. Tom!
Ay!
Perfect
Sayang!
timing. He's the one who will be taken down, but Gladzilla will be eliminated. Leon might be late, but
Sayang,
not
Papi
yet
Glad.
in the save.
Ay, talo to.
Absolutely. Lian, oh man.
Nice
He
one,
was on the
Glad.
field, but
Sino
has
sabi?
got
Sino
enough
sabi?
MP
Sino
to
sabi?
himself
Paring
in
Glad.
play here as Gladzilla backs him up in that battle. Leap on the other
Tatawagin
hand.
bang Gladzilla yan, pre?
Dog tags in hand. Lian
Baga,
will be able
tatawagin
to
bang
bring
Gladzilla
back
yan,
Godzilla
man?
as well as Express Z.
Sino
That's
leading?
what you
4K,
need to
bro.
do if you are Leap. Just keep the pressure on the rest of these teams here by staying alive in the competition.
napuwetan
Pick
tuloy
up
si
as
Glad,
many
no?
points as
Nalala.
possible to climb up the leaderboard.
Ano yun, guys?
Yan
Namimiss
is
ko yung
gonna be
4K
dropping
overload.
down
Dito
here
yung drop
on
point
the side
nila
of MLK Umbra Mortis. Oop. Game 2 on the other hand, just quickly
Pero
trying to
trivia
cut
lang.
the distance down.
Dito rin
And this
drop
high
point
ground could
na
just give
BBB
them
main
a decent
doon.
advantage against MLK.
Let's see daw, Bunso. Ready on the ground, being
10
taken
lamang
down, and
nila
why not
from
trying
GNR.
to trade on those elimination.
Kailan ako
Dog
babalik
tag
sa kompe?
now. Going for a
Depende
scan.
ba bro
LJ
eh.
is also on his way back. Now, will he be able to wait enough to
Depende pa, papi,
let them regroup, let them
Tsaka
wait?
kaya,
But
saan
who's
pwede
knocking the
mag-kompe?
door?
Bigyan
Who
niyo ako ng
inserted the
teams kung
coin?
pwedeng
Who's
pagsalihan
up
sa
for the
kompe.
challenge? It's
Ayun na,
Poison
Tony.
Ivy Gizzy, and it's not looking good for Why Not.
This is, I mean, why not take a risk,
Si,
right?
sige.
He definitely went in there for the risky play, got punished for it, but at least they have got one more survivor to depend on. Ivy, on the other hand, we did talk about how they have slipped a
Gagi,
tad
may
bit here,
nag-chat sa
so
akin si
they have to
Nero.
go all out to farm this lobby as much as possible. If you
Napuwetan
look at
daw
them
si
just
Nero, guys.
catching
Tama
up
ba?
with Hawkins, they need
Legit
26
ba?
points more than Hawkins, and that is a tall
Pacheck nga
order.
yung
So
live niya.
maybe getting to the number one
Napuwetan ba
spot
si Nero?
might be out
Napuwetan?
of the equation here for Poison Ivy, guys. I hope I'm not writing them off too early.
Chat sa akin, Kuya A, napuwetan
But
ako.
keeping their hands on the prize pool still needs to be a
Grabe,
play here. They
kawawa
cannot
naman.
get taken out too early in this lobby because you see Leap Unbound right behind them. And Leap
Naubos
Unbound
4K,
has
men.
definitely
Legit
woken up in the
ba?
competition. They are dangerously looking for more points.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Poison
Comment
Ivy,
kayo dun,
I would
comment
say
kayo
it's
dun.
achievable
Nero,
if
napuwetan ka daw. Sabi mo kay, chat mo kay Kuya A.
Esports Legacy doesn't get a point. But you've seen how
Yeah.
well he positioned
Ubus
himself.
Ivy. Ang dami, ubus. Teka,
Ivy
manonood
trying
nga ako.
To at least guess
Pupitan
if
ko
not
kayo
the,
eh.
the
Oh.
lowest
Oh.
placement. But
Nani?
Hasbro almost takedown showing
Sabi ako nung sabi ng puwet, bawal pala yun sa TikTok, ah.
And Rinka will be backing away. And this is one thing that they need to
Ang daming ubos, ang
prioritize,
daming
taking
ubos, ah.
cover, because from earlier,
Ang daming
they
ubos,
tried to
ah.
pull it off, but they failed.
Yeah.
Turbo
Sid
kayo
is
sa akin.
Slashed down here by MJ on the side of Leap. It's a problem here when you play the rewind from the caster's perspective on a desert. It looks like
Tignan
you
mo, puwet
rewound
ni
to the
Nero.
exact same spot, but it was a different stone. So unfortunate that situation definitely turned out in his favor here with that high ground advantage. Now they're going to quickly back away from this engagement so that they can play a little bit of recovery. And if you look at the potential of Leap Unbound climbing the leaderboard, there's definitely a good chance here.
Grabe
They need to
si,
get
ano?
more eliminations from the opposite
Bernard.
window. Naro trying to go in for the
Bernard.
backup, but it will not be needed as Showman gets shut down by Hasbu. Again, Leap just putting in the numbers early. 3 eliminations in hand, and they need way more than that.
Oh, let's see. I mean, there's still a lot of potential targets. They still can target the 12 teams out in this
Si Nard is si
contention,
Void.
But speaking of out of contention,
Ubus 4-3
MLK,
ito. Ang dami na
almost
ubos.
out
Ay
of
na, sige.
contention. If the final player
Kalaban
will be
si
eliminated.
JNR
Right now,
Aishi.
together with the rest of Poison Ivy. Haven't spotted anyone just yet. They have been hanging in there for the
Naku.
longest time. After they
Hindi
introduced
pwede
themselves,
tumambay dyan. Kailangan
if I'm mistaken,
umubos,
against Team W as
sumugod,
well as
sumugod.
OK, or Team OK fine,
Wala eh,
why
kung
not?
talagang
But,
goal is top
well,
1.
They still have plenty of time
Mauubos
to
yung
work
mga
with, and
teams
that's
eh.
when they can go for the pounds.
Di ba?
The play for recovery is solid. But
Diba,
M12
guys?
looking for those big numbers this time round. I feel like there's
Pabuhay
just
nyo,
a lot
pabuhay
of
nyo muna
pressure
yan.
on them to perform as best as possible. But you look at where they sit on the overall leaderboard, and obviously it's going to be
Yung ipag-team up,
very
BB at
tough for them
BB.
to get up into the top 3. But I love the fact that they're not giving up. They have got a lot of a statement here to make because
Sayang,
the whole
4K
world
naubos.
of
Wala
Overall
namang
Mobile is tuning in to
kalaban.
see if or not you're
Wala
one of those
namang
that they have to look out for
kalaban.
in the future. And I feel like
Ubus
M12 has
4K.
definitely stepped up their gameplay from the start of the day, but they need a few more eliminations. 6 eliminations in this game alone shows us that they are
Grabe, uy, uy, uy! Ah!
great.
Iba talaga,
And
pag
this
maliit,
is
pre,
Poison Ivy
naiwasan yung
Gizzy
SMRs, boy.
showing up at the wrong time.
Iba
if you
talaga,
are
man.
It's getting tough right
Naiwasan
now.
niya kasi 4
for
pit lang siya eh.
M12, and as you called it, like they have great numbers already,
Ganda
but
nun.
Yeah.
it needs a team like Poison Ivy to
Nagamit
humble
niya yung
them.
height niya
And
dun, bro.
Pain might be feeling the pain right now. 4 players, and I can only imagine.
Anong class yung parang
what Pain
fireworks?
is
Ano siya?
feeling.
Toxic
Like,
overload.
Yeah.
The beating of the heart in that situation.
Iniba yung pass ban, no?
Yeah, his heart is paining.
His heart is fading.
Kailangan
Heart is
mga
paining.
30 kills ang
Healthy.
ano dito,
pain is
men.
Because he needs to.
The pain is aching.
Kailangan
The
silang
pain-
mga
the pain
30
is
kills
aching,
dito,
yes.
guys.
Is to pull in the rest
Hindi
of his
hindi
team
sila
members.
pwede
Has
magbantay ng tag.
not managed to get to those dog tags just yet.
Follow mo na intense eh,
MLK
no?
on the way
Thank you,
back
Ann.
in
Thank
here
you,
as
Ann.
well.
Medyo masyado ng
You
intense,
check
guys.
out
Pag mag-follow mo
on
na kayo para
Leap
kalmado
Unbound.
lang. Parang
Trying to
kape
get
lang
into
yan.
the
Parang
top
kape.
3. Problem for them is Poison Ivy Gizzy is picking up those solid points as well.
Naku, patay yata si Bernard doon. Yun lang, di siya
And,
binaril habang
Well, they're
nag-ano.
not giving up just yet. Lee was
Nagbo-bolt.
bound. They will pick up the 7th elimination to equalize the number of eliminations
Ubusan
that has
naman
already
4K,
been
ang
picked
dami
up by
naman
Poison
4K
Ivy
nakasali.
Gizzy. So they are kind of keeping up in their own way. They
7
just
points,
have to
kailangan
make
nila
sure
maka
they don't drop the
40
ball
points
and just
dito.
stay on this
30 kills
momentum.
plus ano,
See
placing
now,
points.
Poison
8
Ivy
kills na
on
to.
a roam around. I'm seeing this.
Ito na. Ito
from
na yung kailangan
4Kings
natin
earlier,
Poison
using
Ivy
people just to
next.
find and hunt opponents. But one risky, or I would say one flaw to this plan
Ito
is
na,
with the vehicle,
talo
you will
Portugal.
be hurt. You might be
Hindi kasi nag-Brazilian
like,
dance.
not seeing any of those
Busa naman ng
squads
4K,
that you're
ang dami
trying
naman.
to hunt. But speaking of Hunt Pain, the guy who was hunted earlier
Wala si Stellar dyan,
is
kakain ka.
now in
Kaya
play.
pala,
Probably
ikaw
can
pala,
get back
hindi
versus
nagpapasok
squad,
kay
and
Stellar,
probably give the
Bosora.
chance for the squad to get more points in placement.
Absolutely. And see if
Ubus
Poison Ivy
Lakers,
will
na-
be able to make away with
Paano
more.
naubos yung
9,
Lakers?
make
Hindi
it
naman
10.
patayin yung laro
10
nun.
solid eliminations here for Poison Ivy. And they are not pulling a pause on
Ang
their
lala.
strats just yet. Going all out. We'll be able to find the 11th elimination now. Poison Ivy on a roll. And this
Ubus
is
ang
how you
minuto.
sing if you want to get
Ubus
to
ang
the
minuto.
top. We talked about how it was going to be impossible for them to catch
Kinansela
up with the Four
G-
Kings.
Team
If they keep
2.
this up, they're going to get that.
Legit ba?
Exactly.
Hindi
I
ko
mean, it's
makita
getting
eh.
close. It's getting tight. And I think what they're doing right now is really not hunting even final
Pero
players.
tingin
Because
nyo,
that gives
goods
them
ba
more
yung ganun?
opportunity to take advantage
Kasi
of the
naganyan,
fraud that will be
ganyan
happening
kami
later
dati guys
on.
eh. Like,
But that
leading
is-
kami,
there's a little
tapos
bit of risk
kinancer kami
to
ng
that as well,
parang
because they're
team
also
nila.
inviting some
Team
other
2 ganun.
teams to meet them
Other
in that
team.
specific area. If in case they
Baka
see
kasama sa
those
gameplay, hindi naman tayo
players going
pwedeng
for those
umiyak
shoots.
na
And now, let's
bakit
see now
ganun?
if
Bakit
they can
ganyan, ba?
change the
Uh-oh.
pace. A little bit of a trap being triggered in light. GNR because he spotted. He
Boom.
will be taken down from afar.
Yeah, good trap here.
Ito yung
by
GNR
Leap
na isa
and
guys,
the
sinunoko
follow-up as
niyo ko
well.
eh.
But GNR,
Kasi
the rest of
4K.
the players do have a little bit of a high ground to work a little bit of those shots off of. So GNR Eternal taking the fight up against Leap. But it looks like they're not going to put
Wala
on
ba
that
talagang 4K?
continuous pressure because of the distance between them and the squad. Oh, FHJ in hand. Just a little bit of a distance
Kati ng
issue.
puwet ko guys.
And he's not going to find a connection with
Ano
the
tama
shot.
yun? Kinamot ko yung puwet
And
ko.
it's time to lock in the speed that's being used by the squad right now. And also using nature as cover to get away from that lock. Now,
Yeah.
Pyrite or Adamantium Pyrite right now. After
Puwet lang
getting
naman,
their
yung
first
pisngi lang, hindi naman yung butas.
for, victory, they are not showing that much of elimination.
Pa-turn
in
off,
this
Ate
fight.
Bae, ba't mo
They
tinurn
can
off?
still make it pressure.
Yeah. So we haven't seen Four Kings in a little bit, and I feel like they've been very quiet in this
Uy,
game.
down one.
And if you're Four Kings, you definitely want to do that, right? You want to make sure you stay
Down
out of trouble for
one,
as long as
man.
possible. Be one of those final few teams that make it into the circle and then run away with the game, run away
Aroy!
with those numbers.
Aroy!
And
May pwede pala mag-rewind pag
that's
ganon?
exactly what they are looking to do here in this situation. Let's see if or not they can pull away a great one by the end of things. As Anna gets
Ito,
the
okay din-
SMR
malakas
knockdown
ditong
onto
team na to,
Carl.
eh, no?
M12
Ano,
not having a
Pirate.
great run here after starting off pretty
Ay,
decent.
Captain!
Let's see now. All right. I guess
Di
this
pa
is part
second
of
team ng
the plan.
GNR,
The
sila
reason why we're
thirst.
not seeing all those eliminations is because they're just playing it safe.
Joke na naman
waiting for
ata, May, na,
opportunity
hindi,
to
hindi
enter
magti-choke
circle,
yun, guys.
whilst the other is not
Hindi magti-choke yung
expecting them
ganyan.
to be there.
Alam nyong-
This is something that we didn't expect as well.
Nasa
They're
zone
playing-
pag ganyan na,
Well,
man.
5 eliminations
Ano round na,
already.
last round na to?
Dog tag being picked up.
Ay, Pirate
Probably
pala, hindi pala
recovery
Pirate.
chance for them. Still have 10 teams remaining.
Sino magsabi
And
Pirate?
seems
Ano,
like
Lyceum?
This game, I was expecting it to be
Papi, ayun na,
going
pa-suggest
all
nga
out,
ng
but it
IME
has been
earphones
dragged
compatible
down
sa
to the
iOS
longest game
Type-C.
ever for today.
Ano ulit yung
Yeah, but you
IME?
called it, man.
Nakalimutan ko.
It's blackout, baby. And you've
Ayan
got
si
a
Ate
huge,
Jam.
huge
Ano
map
na?
here to play around with. Nani? Dog tags? Everybody? About to be turned into a
Magpa-Mr.
dog tag
Kebab ka na.
by the
Wired.
resumption
Yun,
of
yun.
our
Yung
OB here.
wired earphones.
And the players on the side of Leap just
Yung akin kasi ang
quickly
ginagamit ko
finding a
tol
little bit
sa
of a
mismong
safer
Apple
space
Store.
to play with, trying to make the rotation round
Wala
with
akong
just
4K.
the snowball.
Ayun ang
is
4K
looking
guys,
at
puro
cutting
kayo
for the squad.
tapos
And we
na,
talked about
ubus na,
not
ubus
spotting
na.
out the Four Kings, and we get a quick
Puro
peek
kayo
to them,
ubus
and
na,
they
oh.
only have a single elimination in their hands so far. They're allowing the other teams to catch up, and I don't know if or not that's a great idea. But here is GNR, Luki and Gang. They need to pick up those big numbers. So
They
they might just
actually
turn
hinihintay
around
lang
on the
ata ng 4K
situation and
maubos
take
yung
out
GNR.
Elementi.
Let's see if they can pull it off because I think they're trying to run away and they are
Oh, man.
being
Parang
hunted. So
maubos
there's
nga ang
little chance
GNR.
of the base switch. But at a mind
Oh,
time,
Travis,
Pyrite! Not really looking good for GNR. That's Kebs being taken down. So Legacy though
Man.
is being eliminated one at a time.
GNR Legacy expected the big fight with Four Kings,
May
but
stereo
instead
pa
is
left
getting
and
snuffed
right.
out before they get
Paano
halfway
stereo?
there. Adamantium Esports, Pyrite, taking the fights to them, and I think that was the smoke bomb play there that got them a big
So,
advantage.
ilang points ang ano, GNR?
NJ, looking for the
Wala si second dyan?
rewind. Go in and make sure the dog tags safely secured on their side. They bring back the rest of their team members.
Zero pa sila,
And
nakapoint
Leap
sila.
should be right back in here for the play.
Dahil dyan, don't forget to
See
follow
now.
guys. Don't forget to
So far,
follow. Ito na ang
engagement
ano.
happening between
Ito
Leap
na yung
and
ano eh.
Poison Ivy. And
Last
there's
round eh.
still
Last round na to
lives
eh.
won right there.
Tapos,
Even on
climax
the elimination
na.
feed, they're not showing up. So I think
Wala silang points.
they are
Aray.
pulling up the final page of the plan. And finally, we see them in the horizon. Leap right now might be meeting up with the
Mahahabol kaya ng Ivy to?
Now, will they be able to
26
pull this
na lang
off?
na
Because
tao.
Slash and the rest of the
Tapos
squad
apat pa doon sila.
might
So,
have a little bit of
20
surprise, and Unbound can't
Two.
be
Galing ko mag-math,
taken
boy. Ang
down
bilis.
because there's still a threat of Poison Ivy in here.
Mabilis ko
The
mag-bat
chat
eh, no?
thinks that the
Tingin nyo.
observer does not like Four Kings. That's why we're not seeing them. But the Four Kings is
Parang
not
ang
doing
bilis ko
anything,
mag-bat.
guys. They're not shooting anyone. They're just playing it very safe, very slow. So obviously you don't want to just watch us seeing them rotate around the battlefield. We want to see some action out here as well, and the rest of the
Parang
battlefield
human
is
chat
lit up
ako
with
doon,
action.
boy, di ba?
Four Kings
Naku,
are gonna
naka-open si
stay out
Sekre.
of trouble for as long as possible so that they can play
Ay!
the maximum advantage with the placement points, which I think is
I do agree. I mean, if they can capitalize on that, make sure that they end
Oh,
up on the
wow.
final circle, get a few of those elimination.
Congratulations,
little here and
4K!
there. That's where they can get more onto numbers. But speaking of numbers,
Oh, yeah.
we have a lead.
Congratulations,
on down. We
4K. At
thought
least
that they
Filipino ang
might
champion,
be
guys. Yun ang
targeted,
mahalaga,
but
Filipino
this
ang
time,
champion.
Here comes the Four Kings together with ADMT Pyrite. It's a
Filipino ang
3-1
champion.
battle
Let's
that's
go!
Waiting to be unfolded.
Man, that was way
Bow
too
down
close.
to the
I
Kings,
thought
man.
Four Kings were about to get stabbed in the back in that
Mystic pa
situation.
4K.
Right beside
Pangalawang
Leap
panalo
here.
nila ngayon. Ulit.
Leap and Bound up against
Wala
the
naman
players
nag-ibang
of
bansa.
Four Kings,
Yeah,
but
no?
Like you said,
Isang na lang
AMT
pala
in the
dapat,
vicinity
no,
as
pre?
well to distract the players on the side of Leap.
Buhay pa si
Tom
Kibbs.
Pibbs is
Patay
trying to
ulit.
catch up with the rest of his team members, and they get to play the game of numbers advantage here.
Naputol sila sa
AMT is going to
ADMT,
get
bro.
taken out by Hasbu. The distraction of Leap might just give Four Kings a big advantage if they choose to get aggressive now.
Well, let's see, in aggression does work for them.
Binati ko si
Not
Kibbs.
for AAA Alpha. Pickup needs to be done in Rinka. Now,
Naka-Honda Civic na rin si Tomas neto,
no
guys.
sniper for him, just an SMRS.
Feeling ko Land Cruiser dapat kay Tomas para ano, one hit matamaan, no?
Against a Leap
Tingin nyo,
Unbound,
guys.
but doesn't have the elevation to work with this. And Leap Unbound is just playing it safe, just using that ridge or that high ground as a hiding spot
Grabe
because
na yung
it's the
Leap
Four
main,
Kings who
pre.
stay in the ridge. So
Pumanga na
think of
Leap
heaven and
main.
heaven and earth action
Kasi kanina,
right there.
akala
But
nila hindi pa
Club
start
TC
eh.
goes in for a
Kumanga
takedown
sila
against
round
the
5,
Showman.
round 6 eh. Akala nila round 1, round 2 pa lang eh.
Messy here for Four Kings because they haven't really secured a lot of points for themselves.
Parang BB playstyle
And
nila
they're trying
ngayon,
to
boy.
play the
Legit,
safer route
legit.
towards the final circle. They've managed to avoid a lot of the initial bit of engagements, and as you can see, far, far away from the heat of battle.
Uy, napita si ano.
And Leap on
Kuya
the other
Laro.
hand.
Ayun,
they know that
naubos
they
na
wanna
si-
leapfrog their
napatay
way
si
into the
Loki.
top three. Hasbro
Nice,
finds the Narosa. That's a
G.
big play. Four Kings in a little bit of trouble here.
Nice,
If they
G.
don't pick Narosa
Panalo
up,
ang
and it
ano,
looks like
Pilipinas.
Gas
Let's
down
go.
as
Congrats,
well.
4K.
Leap drops the God nade. Four Kings
Congrats,
being pressured
4K.
from both sides.
Well, the moment that they tried to engage, or probably forced to engage, they are being brought down. Only 2 elimination, and Super Jeff What a
There you go.
turnaround! Now, will
Agay.
he be able
Agay.
to keep himself
Agay.
safe? Because
Agay.
even Tom Peeps needs a
Agay,
little bit of
ngayon
helping.
ipapakita ni
But
Super
they
Jeff
haven't pulled
kung
in
bakit
a
siya hindi
lot,
dapat
and
ang
Tom
sub.
Peeps will be out. Super Jeff once again trying to make this work on a solo, but Nard
Ay,
knocks him
ay.
down. Now, will this be the
Parang
end?
dikit-dikit,
for
may
the
kilang
4
GNR
Kings?
eh.
Man,
Oh,
very,
MG.
very safe play.
Parang
from the
nag-team
side of
up yung
Hawkins.
dalawang
Gets them
leap.
eliminated from the lobby way too early. But they did
Siguro
get a
sabi ni
massive
Papi
number
dun,
of
mag-team up
placement
kayo,
points.
mag-team
So
up
either
kayo.
way, mad
Bigyan nyo sa
respect
leap,
to their
ano,
strategy.
unbound.
But Leap will be able to leapfrog their way to the top. Leap Unbound with yet another
Awit kay
victory
Papi dun, ah.
on our grand finals day. But how much have they
Parang
managed to
laglag
secure
sa
here
top
for
3 ang
themselves? The
Poison
top
Ivy
3,
natin
I
ay...
think, should be guaranteed based on what they have pulled off.
Sila ba yan?
As
Sila ba
GNR
yan,
did not
guys?
get very far. Leap Unbound. Two-time
Sila ba yan?
victory
Sila ba yan?
on our grand finals. Should be more than enough for a little bit of money on the
sila.
table.
Yes.
Parang ang
it
laki ni
is. And I'm a
Hasbro.
little bit worried because you did call a grade
Prop,
point in
parang ang
there,
laki mo, Prop.
wherein, like,
Parang
Four
Titan si
Kings
Hasbro
was
dyan.
not really that, I would say, performing in this
Alam mo
game.
bakit iba kulay ni
Last time
Slash?
we saw them, they
Kasi
was
hindi
just
naman...
forced in the corner.
Ano yun, jersey ng ano
I
yun
was
eh.
expecting them
Pinatong
to
lang
pull
eh.
off a little
Guys,
bit of
yung
surprise
kalimutan
hit
mag-follow
once
para
again,
makita natin kung
but
sinong
there's
champion.
still a lot of squad, and I'm not talking about like
Si Prop parang
a lot of
Titan
squad
nun eh, no?
at the mid part of our leaderboard. A lot of squad coming from the top of the leaderboard. That made it difficult for even the 4 Kings to get so much of the
Don't
points.
forget to follow, guys. Shoutout sa
I'm very surprised the
$1,800,000
Hawkins chose
viewers.
to take a very passive play this time round. Our audience were
800
pissed off. They
viewers,
kept saying that, hey, you know, the cameraman is biased. The cameraman doesn't want to show
Walang
Hawkins. But
gatas
no,
to. 800
Hawkins were
viewers,
not
walang
attacking.
issue.
Hawkins were not shooting. Hawkins were
OMG.
just trying to be very safe, very
Don't forget to
quiet.
follow, guys.
And that quietness
Huwag yung
might
push.
have backfired big
Ayan,
time,
oh.
Neptune.
Yeah.
Now, we
Huwag
don't know
tutok sa
what the
yung
points
camera.
are because although
Tawagin
the
mo naman,
Hawkins
boss,
were
mga
very
si
quiet
Joshua
on the
Garcia kahit di
eliminations, they were
naka-Rolex.
definitely making some
tutok?
noise with the
Ano
placement
tutok
points.
sa
They got
camera,
far
man?
into
Tutok
this
sa camera,
lobby,
man.
and they stayed alive, I think, long enough to pick up
So yung
enough
leading,
placement
titignan
points
natin, men.
to
Titignan
still
natin.
maybe
Kasi
keep
may
them
points
in
daw ang GNR,
contention
kaso
for
hindi
the
kasi
number one
napakita
spot.
kung
But we'll
ilan
have
eh.
to wait and see what the results
Top
of
four
the
pa
lobby
nga ang
are in a
IP
little
ata.
bit.
Yeah, if
Top
I'm
four
mistaken,
pa
they did take the 3rd spot or the 3rd place in there. And I'm just trying to recap here. So 10 is a victory.
Kasi
They go
for sure,
down 6,
matatanggal ng
5,
lip.
plus the 2 that they have in elimination.
Si
Unless there's a
Ivy.
few elimination that I wasn't able to count. So
Pinoy ang
let's see
ano,
that
champion.
7
Let's go, Sir
points that
Dave.
They have from that game.
Guys, huwag niyo
Is that
kalimutan
enough
mag-follow.
to pull
Ano?
away from those who
Nood,
are
gusto.
very close
Chismis,
to them,
gusto.
which
Follow,
is
ayaw.
GNR Esports Legacy. Because I think
Yeah.
GNR Esports Legacy
Dali
was
ang
very
pumupogi, boss,
proactive in these games.
Kaya na naman
Yeah,
eh.
GNR Legacy, I
Kahit
think, very
mahaba
proactive.
naman dami nagchat-chat dyan,
Even
nababasa
Poison
ko
Ivy
yan.
Gizzy as well, you did see a
Ano?
little bit of
Lalo
a
kang
extra
pumapogi,
pressure from
boss.
them onto the rest
Kanina,
of the team.
Joshua
But
Garcia,
unfortunately,
ngayon,
I don't
Daniel
think they
Padilla
got
na may
as far
pagka-Alden
as they intended
Richards.
to in this lobby.
Dami naman,
Leap,
grabe naman
on the
bola
other
mo,
hand,
boss.
I mean,
Ano?
I just say big round of applause to both Leap Main as well as Leap Unbound.
Yeah.
Both getting into the final circle. Both becoming the top number 1 and number 2 teams in terms of placement
Hangin mo,
points.
boss,
And a
uy.
massive number of eliminations here on the side of
Uy.
Leap Unbound as well, as they secure 2 out of the 6 lobbies
Wala
available
namang comment,
for the
hindi nyo
day
nabasa?
here in our grand finals. A huge congratulations to the brand, to
Ba't
the
kami
team
yun?
as a
Ba't
whole.
ganun? Ba't
Obviously,
ganun,
winning out
guys?
Garena Elite Philippines was a massive achievement
Puro
for Leap
lip, oh,
Unbound.
dalawang
But
lip.
here on the grand finals
Kinulang
of
lang sila
season
sa
2
kill
of
points,
our community gladiators, the question is,
Ba't
were
sa
they
part na
the
pumupogi yan,
gladiators that managed to
nakakapansin
survive to the very end in terms
ng
of our
comment.
overall
Oh,
leaderboard?
yeah.
Leap Unbound
Napapansin ko
putting on
agad
the
yan,
numbers
Olive.
here big time. Poison Ivy Geyzy with a total of 17 points, Neptune. But 4 Kings down at the bottom with just 8
Hala,
on
champion
their side.
Unbound.
I think they might have been able to pull this off, but the numbers would be very, very close.
Well, let's see though. I mean, I'm
Champion
looking at
Unbound,
GNR
guys.
Esports Legacy right now. Only 4 points out of them, and they're the ones
Grabe,
that chase
clutch.
the 4 Kings. And probably one reason.
Kaya nga,
even the
pansin
4
ko,
Kings are
pogi ka
not
talaga
showing
yan.
up.
Uy.
Like, what? Whoever's chasing
Grabe,
us
champion
has already been
Unbound, guys.
eliminated.
Congratulations.
There's really no point for
Oy,
us
si
to
Apollo,
gather
guys.
all those. Just
Top
let's play
3.
for placement points.
Congrats,
Let's
Apollo.
hide. Let's play that hide and seek. and they managed to pull it off.
Nice
But
one.
I
Nakuha lahat
was
ng
wrong
Pinoy,
in
yung top-
numbers. They did
top
get
3 guys. Let's
eliminations,
go.
So that's one against my calculation. But
Nakuha
I
lahat
want
ng
to
Pinoy,
see
man.
if they
Nakakatuwa.
still got number 1 spot, AJ.
Oh, I think they might have been able to hold on to it. GNR Legacy Esports got taken out of the equation too
Man,
early. And
hindi
Four Kings with
nalaglag
the
ang
survival
IB.
play are your champions.
Hindi
for
nalaglag
season
ang
2 of
IB,
our Community
guys.
Gladiators Battle Royale squads. Just with one single lobby victory on the
ganda
game
nun.
number 5. And just the survival plays this time.
Tapos
with a
from
little
top
bit of luck,
15,
because
top
bloody hell,
40 ng
the
Leap Main,
GNR
nasa
Esports
top 5
Legacy
ngayon.
had managed to survive and
Yeah.
play as good as maybe
Solid,
Lehman Bound
solid.
or Poison Ivy Gazy.
Nakuha lahat
I think
ng
the
Pinoy
story
ang
would have
top
been
16.
very, very different. But of course, this time round, they managed to climb
Nakuha ng
up
Pinoy,
and
men,
pull
top
a
16.
fantastic positioning for
Ano ka
themselves
ngayon, mga global?
to stay alive and kicking in the top 3. 91
Guys, don't
points,
forget to
but Leap
follow.
Unbound got so close to taking them out of it.
Mas gawa mo kasi,
Exactly.
oy,
I mean,
ako,
very,
gusto ko si Glad
very
maglaro,
close.
men.
Leap
Makatawagin ba siyang
Unbound,
Gladzilla?
It's just unfortunate. I mean, I think at that point, after like recovery run
Grabe
with
ang
them,
4K,
they're just aiming for the
750K,
third
isang
spot.
linggo.
But look at how close they are on Poison Ivy Gazy as well as GNR Esports Legacy.
Wala pa dyan yung ano nila,
few more
sponsors
nudge,
nila sa...
a few more of
Kung ano
those
naman sila sa
elimination
sponsors,
being
sa gift
stolen.
nila.
They
Oh
could
my
have
God.
taken it already, but unfortunately, they only take the 4th spot.
I suggest
In terms of
drug
prize pool,
test
they will be
kay
getting
Ge.
nothing.
Finals na to,
Man,
finals na to. pre.
I am just so surprised.
Prize
that
pool neto,
Leap
$2K
Main
sa
recovered
champion.
big time
Oh, yeah.
in terms of positioning on the leaderboard. But of course, in terms
May
of
dalawang
catching
layong
up with the top
pa.
3 teams, it was going to be
Diyos ko po,
a
deserve
long
deserve
journey.
nila.
And the Four Kings,
Deserve nila.
with all
Kailangan
of
ako
their
din.
fans all around their world, the kingdom of the Four Kings, I think they can celebrate because
Pwede, no?
disappointment was just
Lahat sila
looming
maangas, eh, no?
above them, Neptune. But they made sure with their survival plays that it was
Sabi
just
niyo, ang aangas ng
enough
posing nila,
to
sabay
stay ahead of
gaganon.
the competition.
Yeah, they are not just playing Battle Royale at this
Oh, wag niyo ka
point.
muna
They
mag-ano,
are
mag-follow,
playing
guys.
chess with
Wag
others.
kang mag-follow.
are playing
Hello, shoutout sa
checkers because
1,137
it seems like everything is
viewers.
calculated. Everything was on point. The full
Champion
roster,
tayo,
not only
guys.
the ones
Champion
being
tayo, mga
shown right now, we have
Pilipino.
Get, Super Jeff,
Let's
Tom Peeps,
go.
Nerosa, as well as Kitana. Four Kings Main. Congratulations for being the
Ganito
champions
reaction
of
ng
this
ano,
season's Community
champion yung team mo.
Gladiators.
POV champion yung team mo.
Do you work hard or do you work smart? Four Kings, they chose to work smart. They chose to not go
Grabe
all
siya, Ino.
out
Ramdam
and
na
mess
ramdam
up their
yung
opportunity because you never know.
pagka-champion,
And I love the fact that the Four Kings have got no ego, right? They understand that this lobby, Neptune, could kick them out if they make one small mistake. And their solution for it, don't make any mistakes, bro. Just stay surviving, play those placement
Congrats,
points,
guys.
walk away with some eliminations, and that's going to be more than enough. But like I said, GNR could have
Grabe,
been that
Solaso.
threat to the Four Kings. If GNR
Bow down.
Legacy had managed to pull away some decent
Iba.
points here, stay
Naiyak ako,
alive
naiyak
long
ako.
enough, and get a massive number of
Tagal ko na
eliminations,
sinusuportahan
I think they
yung
could have
4
pulled
Kings,
off
guys.
one of the biggest upsets, which is why I hope GNR Legacy, they don't give up. They've walked away with some decent money in their hands here off of their fantastic play. They get the second
ba,
spot for
Ivy
themselves.
Goy?
Of course, they wanted to become champions. It wasn't possible because they got outsmarted by the Four Kings, but
They
they got
once,
close
man,
enough.
they
And maybe
once.
the next time, they will be able to overtake the Four Kings.
Let's see
Ganyan pala,
how,
sige, sinusuportahan ko na,
as we
sige.
end this day, as we see who is the champion of the Battle Royale Community Gladiators
Grabe,
right
man.
here. I would like not only to congratulate the full roster that I mentioned earlier, but also the kingdom
Sinusubaybayan ko,
of the
man.
Four Kings.
Saan ka ba
Because so
talaga?
far, even at the beginning
Por-
of the
porque
show,
yun.
the support coming from those in this group, in the Four Kings roster
May balato kay
of
Ge,
content
ah.
creators as well as Squad has
Balato
been
kay
phenomenal.
Ge.
Again, big
Grabe,
shout out.
man.
Going to go for the first half, AJ. Just follow
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Sinusubaybayan ko yung team
That's
na
a
yun,
lot.
dati pa.
So, again, Synth, Oops, sorry,
Sige
Holy
nun,
Father,
dati,
Tokyo,
Onabs.
Remy, Yato,
Tapos naging NRX
Negi, and
420.
Renzu.
Yep, you got
Mas naging
Agasa,
4K.
Bright Winter, Instinct, Vanta, Bulate Gaming,
Si Kuya
Osis,
Nerosa.
Big Zone,
Naging
Sharks,
ano,
Pedro,
AMB.
Doxy, Elora out there as well.
Naging
You guys are crazy.
Riley.
And I love all of you, not just Imzone, man.
Naging
Everybody on the
NRX
side of 4Kings.
420.
You know, because to get the community to
4K,
where it is
Apex
today,
ba?
to grow the community in such a
Ano
way,
talaga
I
ako
mean, it's
dyan,
just so
man.
impressive what this clan has been able
Team
to
ni
do.
Gay sa
And I hope
Firelight,
they continue to do
Black
it. And I
Par.
hope they
Hindi ko
continue to
natanda, iba yung
inspire
team
the
dun eh.
rest of the clans out there as well.
Tapos si
to not
Tomas,
just do it
naging
with aggression,
escal-
but to
ano,
do it with a
hindi mo
lot
siya
of
escalate.
love and a lot of
Existence.
focus. I wish the best to the team of
Naging
4Kings, but mainly
AMB.
to the rest of the
Naging
clans
13.
out there who tried
Naging
their
escal,
best
naging
today.
support.
Neptune, we
Lahat.
cannot forget what TNR
Lahat.
did out there. We cannot forget exactly what
Si
Leap
Jeff, naging
did
ano,
out there with both Leap Unbound as well as
4K.
Leap Main, really putting
Naging
in the
BBB.
maximum efforts for
Grabe.
the day. But just walking away without the #1 spot
Talagang
obviously
ano,
would
no?
break their heart without jumping into the top 3. But of course,
Ba't
they
di
have
na naman
shown
ako
us
na-mention?
exactly what a little bit of grit and determination can get you. From the
Si
bottom
Yato.
to the top, they climbed up
Burger
quite quickly
King.
in the day.
Well, exactly.
Mang Inasal.
Well, as we get
Jollibee.
in closer to the end
Diba?
of this tournament,
Diba?
once again, that was just the end
Oh,
of
nag-AMB
day
din si Sek,
number
nag-AMB
2
din si Sek.
of Community Gladiators 2026
Ikaw na walang
Season 2
bitaw, ako.
Ascension. And we have more that will be happening all throughout this weekend. On Saturday and Sunday, we
May
have
balato
2
kaya si Dras
more
sa pa-
modes that everyone
nga.
will love to see.
Dat binaban si
don't
Dras,
forget,
guys. Taging
6
ano eh.
p.m. tomorrow as well as the day after. We still have
Lugi
got
lima
more
sila.
community
Naka-AP sila eh.
gladiators action here.
Prime A na
And
pa rin,
a
man.
lot of money for the taking.
Prime A na pa rin,
$10,000
bro.
US in totality for community gladiators.
super sub,
and
ngayon,
your
super
4
chunk
Kings
na,
just walked
grabe.
away with $2,000 USD. That's
Nagano
a
ba si
lot
Stellar?
in
Hindi,
pesos.
bro.
And of course, the second spot
May
with
nagkukom si
1,200.
Drask
The third
eh.
spot with a total of 800. We have got
ano na
VR
siya,
solos
Ria.
coming up for you guys.
Yung mga
as well
solo,
as the MP,
mga MP,
squad
yan na.
play on the final day of our community gladiators. You guys don't want to miss that. It has
Garena,
definitely
champ,
been
resume na
an
si mga
awesome party
minero.
here today, Neptune.
Yeah,
Vegetables!
exactly. And with that, after a comeback,
Nakakayak,
after
man, nakakayak,
a
Paldo.
while of not being in this,
Salamat
we
po.
have to bid goodbye and
Welcome,
good night.
Ria.
Once again, I'm Neptune
Guys,
Jennifer
don't forget to
Garcia,
follow,
together with
guys. Don't
brother
forget to
Sasha
follow.
AJ. We
Baka
is
nakakalimutan niyo
a
mag-follow,
pleasure
don't forget.
to be casting this game.
Hey.
We'll see you again
Hep,
next
hep.
time.
Okay, mag-end live na ako, guys.
Absolutely.
Ipapasok ko pa to sa ano eh. Yung ganito, ipapasok ko pa to eh. GG's. Bye-bye. Magre-relive na lang ako. Saan live yan? Meron sa Garena, meron sa YouTube, meron sa TikTok. Hindi ako pinapansin ni Mustacho eh, no? GG's, guys. Sa lubong. Titignan ako magre-relive ako, Ate Jazz. GG's. Mama.